Yeah, I'm good.
We are live, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check to make sure it didn't accidentally go to Twitch instead. No, it did not. You're good.
All right,
Hello,
I'm
hello.
waiting to see if it pops up on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm actually just gonna refresh and see if that. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so you have to refresh. That's good to
Yeah.
know.
We'll
I'm
go
sure I
here.
said that last time when we did the Game Awards one, but
Well, we haven't done it, in like 2 months, so it's fair. But all
we
right.
live. Refresh. Stay fresh. Subway.
Yep, yep. Eat fresh. Eat
Stay fresh.
fresh. Ticketmaster. Yes. That's it. Is tickets for the subway. Okay. So yeah, Devin, what are we doing today?
I heard, according to our Twitter, that we're doing Sonic 2006 speed runs. Is that
What?
true?
I
Wow.
guess.
Well, wait, no, so I should say we're watching. We're not doing
Oh yeah, that's
Sonic
fair.
should actually rephrase that. We're watching Sonic 2006 speedruns. We will never be, I wouldn't say never, but highly unlikely that we will ever do Sonic 2006 speedruns. I don't want to
I
do
don't really
that.
feel like I'll ever play the game again. So, yeah, that would be a prerequisite, playing the game at least once, if not multiple times, to prep for a speed run. But yeah, so I have prepped for us today 3 individual Sonic 2006 speed runs. These are each from Games Done Quick. We have, I believe, a Summer Games Done Quick from 2016, followed by an Awesome Games Done Quick from 2020, pre-COVID, because it's in January, and then a 2021 Awesome Games Done Quick as well. Each of these is a different Hedgehog story run, so it's not like we're seeing
Mm,
duplicate things.
that'll
Otherwise,
be
we would have just done
interesting.
one. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll just hop over to this. You and I are just
Before
gonna
we
have
start,
to.
though,
Okay.
before we start, I think we should have like a loose competition of just like what are your predictions of what we'll see? Like what
Um,
like I guess I should preface this. I know you said I think you probably skimmed a little bit of this to make sure.
I did not
Uh
skim any of this. No.
oh you did so you have no idea. Okay. I was gonna ask, is this with glitches? Because I know that's like a thing that some are no glitch
Oh,
runs, some aren't. Some people do glitches. So that's the first thing is like, will we see some crazy like, uh, going through walls shit? Will there be a point where there's like one level that's just completely done in like under 3 seconds? Like that's the kind of shit that I'm
right.
curious
So I actually don't
about.
know what the categories are. I thought I had read what they were, but maybe they'll pop up.
Let me
They will
see if
obviously.
the
We'll see it in there. But each game has its own category set of categories that the community that speedruns that game does. So some will be, obviously every game is going to have an any percent, which is just you beat the game by any means necessary as fast as possible. Now, some
Mhm.
games people have predetermined like what does start and stop mean. Generally, it's like as soon as you can do anything. So if there's credits and there's nothing to do after the credits, then you stop it before you hit credits. But in some cases, it might end early or begin or late or something, depending on what the community decides. But I don't know what the categories are for Sonic 2006. I will say this first one says it's done in an hour and 1 minute and 5 seconds. So it clearly is not a just wrong warp. You walk through a loading screen somehow and end up in the final boss that you do see in some games.
I
So
want to see. I know like in like some Dark Souls speedruns that I've seen that like you have to like quick save and then go back to the start, restart your save, and that like helps with some sort of like RNG
yeah,
or spawn points. I'm like, that's the kind of shit. I don't think we'll see that, but like I'm kind of hoping we do that. He's like, oh nope, I already know that based off this robot here that
yep, we fucked
this is
up.
not going to be. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we fucked up. But from what I played of Sonic 2006, I died a lot. That I feel like all the bots for the most part and all the enemies in general just sit in the same spawn points. I don't think there's any like
yeah. No
a different
variation, right?
period. Yeah, there's no variation. So we'll see. I mean, at the very least, I know by the end of this, I'm gonna feel really shitty because it means I could have saved myself a lot of time and just beat the game in under an
Probably.
hour.
What I want to see is instances where we're playing a level and they are running outside the bounds of the level. and you're just
Yeah,
sitting
that'd be
over a
cool.
void.
Yeah.
And they just know if I have to, because these games will often have like death pains, when you fall off the edge and you die at some point, they'll just be those invisible pains. And these people just know, all right, just angle to the left, you just passed the death pane. And like, I don't see nothing, but they know, because if they were right over to the right, they would have died. I hope we see some of that stuff, but I would not be upset, and I would be a little bit impressed if this was just a clean run and they were just fucking fast at it. I would also be.
I mean, but an hour though, like even at the levels that I feel like I got decent at, you're still talking like 5-6 minutes. Like some of the last levels are 13, 14 minutes, like on average. So yeah, they have to be, I think, glitching or like finding some crazy like momentum boosts. I don't know, we'll see, but
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see how they did it in under an hour, really.
So you and I are basically have this 2 separate windows. So we're going to be hitting play at the exact same time. Folks at home are going to see my perspective, but if we time it correctly, it won't matter. We are starting the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Sonic Story speedrun at the 2 minutes and 36 second mark. You can see the YouTube headline here if you wanted to look this up later.
By Triple Agent.
Yes.
By the way, it's from 2016. This first one,
right.
And it's August 11th. So this is before we knew Hillary didn't win.
Right. I mean, it's summer, so
this is for a lot of people their 9/11. So
wow. All right.
By the way, we hate Trump, but I wanted to make that joke. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Ready?
We're gonna do, because we always do our clap thing. So instead of clapping, you're just gonna hit play. All right. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
Sonic is the series that got me into gaming. What a great cause to donate for. Good luck to all the runners, and here's to everyone getting good RNG. Save the animals.
I think I'm going to lower the volume of this a little bit. Halfway.
And looks like we're just about ready for Sonic 06.
So who's Triple Agent?
And
the guy probably sitting in front holding the controller.
MSG.
Yeah. We got 3 people in the background. I just like watching
Triple Agent has a Kmart fit, by the way.
Countdown?
You know what I mean? Like when we worked at Kmart, we had that fit. The khakis, the shirt, and then he has the lanyard.
Yeah.
I respect it. But everyone's outfits, by the way, do look mid 2010s. I love it.
Okay.
They agree.
I'll go and go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. Clean run.
Interesting. They're good so far. This is perfect.
Is he on PS3? Did they say what he's on? He's on Xbox.
No, it says Xbox 360. I mean,
so maybe it'll run a little better.
This is Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, the undisputed best Sonic game to have ever been made.
No one's laughing at that joke.
Jericho, my Dex,
they must all believe that.
And I'm Triple Agent.
They believe that, yeah.
We're all very happy to be here today. This is the
half the speedrun is if you get a good loading screen.
Arguably the
all right, so somehow he's already.
You saw riders. You saw.
God, okay. This is gonna show how bad the game is.
What a fair way to finish off the Sonic block.
I forget that there's loading.
To address the elephant in the room, though, yes, this game is bad casually, but as a speedrun, surprisingly very consistent. No RNG, really, really cool tricks, and yeah, a lot of the problems that this game has casually disappear in a speedrun setting because all of the problems that this game has is more like telling you where to go and having you fall through the floor at random spots. But if you know where those random spots are in advance,
they're not so random.
Yeah, it turns out they're very consistently random spots.
Okay, so we're gonna get some
interesting
cool shit.
Yeah, it's very consistent once you know.
I wish they did play the PS3 version just
so
because
the first 2.5 minutes
bad.
are just straight like loading screens, and then we're gonna jump through rings because this game starts you right into the action.
I wonder how much time is saved by if they pause for each loading screen.
Bothered people.
You know what I mean? If like after this whole video is done, they count the frames of each loading screen.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh god, this is gonna make me. Yeah, I'm already mad that you can do this.
What we actually have to do is we press the X button to have Sonic do a spin kick. And then you can jump. You can actually cancel the spin kick into a jump.
How do you do
it doesn't look like anything's happening. You can actually kind of hear it. We just do it fast enough to where that animation cancels itself and it doesn't come out. So it looks like.
Yeah, I already like Triple Agent. He's my favorite speedrunner.
Okay.
Exactly. It's another one
I've
of
never heard of him before.
Situations where this game is bad casually because I can't jump.
Because he knows it's bad. That's the
it's very bizarre.
first thing he said.
So that was the first mission. This guy went to
But if anything, this is probably like a casual speed run because of how many loading screens there's. Like you don't have to stress about like your hands cramping or something like that. You know,
I've been watching a guy named Dan Reichart try his best to speedrun the original Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the NES, and he's currently 57th in the world, which is pretty cool. But that's a game where the community has decided that you only count the time the fights take place in. So in between, when you have it just says press start, you're able to sit there and actually like take a breather. So they consider that. So
since what we're going to be doing,
you know, I'm just surprised that they count the loading screens.
The physics of the loop.
Yeah,
because
it is relying a little bit on your system. And on the PS3, I feel like it was definitely longer than this.
For
sure.
Oh yeah, he has a light speed dash.
Oh my!
So it's not actually light speed, but no, we are legitimately going to go light speed across the map, and we'll explain a little bit.
He's in the light speed across the map. Are you kidding me?
All right, let's try this.
Yeah, this is one of the coolest things.
Who figures this? Every time I'm like, who figures this shit out?
Darkside Sonic, the god that he is, he has a setup that I use. If you want
to
just
skip the whole whale section, which is a little buggy too.
There are a number
so
of ways that can happen.
Yeah.
When he actually goes towards the wall, he can either, if he gets it perfect, he can hit right above the cave and fall into it. That was pretty good though. He was a little bit off to the right, so he sort of fell in the sand. Right. If you're too far up or down,
whale
you
section.
fall straight into the water, or you just fly elsewhere in the map. You basically go until you collide with something. And the way it essentially works is that we kind of line ourselves up on the loop, and we do a 1-frame pause buffer to set up the homing attack. And for some reason, that it keeps the homing attack from being able to stick to the loop.
Who figures this shit out?
If Sonic homing attacks something and you cannot collide with the thing that he's predestined to collide with, he just goes into space infinitely. There's actually a glitch that can happen on one of the boss fights where you will fly up into space and just, I don't know, he ends up in another galaxy or something, and the game ends.
All right, so right here, you're supposed to hit a switch that will trigger Sonic's whale cutscene, and then he'll throw you over this gate.
But if you
it's
go
actually
through the
not a
gate,
cutscene
it
trigger,
doesn't
it's just a
matter.
placement, so you can just fly there with tails and you're good.
Wow. That's not even a
They just left it in
glitch.
there.
That's just something you can just do.
The best part
God
about that
damn
too
it.
is that
I wanted to
makes me
say-
so mad.
I don't know if it's the 360 version or if this is somehow a modded version, but the frame rate seems very consistent for the most part, and it did not happen
maybe
like
they
that for us.
Maybe they like the.
I guess when they were making the game,
They have a
like,
patch
I think
or
what they
something
could have
that
done to, some sort of
it's a
patch
cracked
or-
version of the game. I will notice,
Activity's
so
a pretty easy
the
one, so I
category
think
for the
is one really
speedrun is
hard
over
one.
there
This
on
one's
the
probably
right-hand
the
side
easiest
underneath
one.
the name. It's a
But
Sonic
there is a lot of
Story,
actual
no
optimization to
MSG.
it. So whenever
So
you come
MSG to
to
me
certain
sounds
paths
like
of
it's
rings,
probably the name
there's
of
going
some
to be
sort of
light speed
glitch
dashing
or
and as long as you're not
something,
holding a
and
direction,
they
Sonic
are
will
saying
maintain a higher,
you can't use it.
velocity. And so the moment he starts moving,
We'll have to maybe look that one
Or
up
it's a
later.
sodium
so it's
thing.
sort of trying to manipulate that. And paths that are
No
off
one's
the
salty
left
playing
and
this,
try not to
actually.
collide with
Rare,
Is
a
he gonna
rare
go
thing
up
in
the
the
thing or
Sonic.
to the left? Okay, he's going to the right.
a piece of the bridge there on purpose to lose rings.
This is where I died
In
a
this game,
lot.
you can get S
Same.
ranks, but the problem is that when you get an S rank, you get an additional medal after the mission is over, and that takes about what, like 7.3
that's a
seconds,
lot
something
of
like that.
So they're
and you just wait for a
skipping
jump
getting
right there.
perfect
If you time a
runs.
jump, so I have to mash the button
On
in an awkward way.
purpose.
Wow,
Time a jump
that
right
is
there,
great.
and it saves a few seconds.
How long was that?
But it still says over 2 minutes, which is
Yeah.
crazy if they skip half the level and it still says it's 2 minutes.
Like the game gives you such a small time bonus and such a massive ring bonus that you can most always skip an S rank, which would save you that second medal. You saw the first medal we got for completing the stage, but the second medal we would have gotten for S ranking, and that was 7 seconds, like you said.
Right.
I will say
Now
I
we're gonna go back to
like
Soul
the
Calibur,
loading
and
thing
we're
at the
going to
bottom.
skip
I've
the
always
power
liked the blur
and
effect
later
that
we're
they
gonna grab
do
it
on
back
it.
'cause it's
I
faster
don't know,
anyway,
it's
but we're
dumb.
gonna skip it
Like
for
when
now.
the things
It's
dash across
definitely
the
reminds me of like that time frame, that time period of games, just like
Yeah.
having the cool like loading screens. Now it's just like the logo flipping or
Yeah, in like the
fading
bottom
in and
right
out.
corner.
Yeah.
There's a pretty easy, consistent lineup for it.
Or
So
just
that's not really the hard
spores.
part, It's more of the actual homing attack. So yeah, just has to get the frame that he lands.
What?
Like
That's
that.
one.
Oh, so he
he's
just
gonna hit
clips
this,
through it.
this
Yeah.
warp gate, and it's not going to trigger yet. It's not actually supposed to, but it's going to, I think, cut down a loading screen later on. We're going to go straight to it instead of having to go through a loading screen, walk over to that, activate it, and then go to it.
Right. So normally you're supposed to have the anti-grav to go through there, but if you clip through the buildings, then you
Yeah.
don't need it.
And the nice thing is that we don't need that power up in this coming up stage or this fight at all. So we actually just get it later. Egg servers.
I like how the guy behind him is like,
Egg
I don't know if he's supposed to be his
service
coach, but he's
Well,
also
it's true, yeah.
explaining it.
Thankfully,
Like, I
a
just
lot
find
of
that
this really
interesting.
good
Like,
stuff is
he's like,
early
yeah,
on.
this guy,
Yeah.
this is,
He has several
I'm teaching
patterns
him,
in this,
guy
so you
does.
can kinda get
But I
him
think
up to
because
it.
I've watched a bunch of games done
He's
quick
staying
stuff.
still, so that's
Sometimes,
the
like
pattern.
when you're the
Sometimes he'll
speedrunner,
immediately
you
crouch
can't,
and then
you don't
run
have time to
in case.
explain.
Sometimes
You
he'll
have
turn
to
around, which
focus.
you
Yeah.
can't get
So
a
they always
ball,
have
it's
someone on the
cool,
couch
it's
behind
okay.
him that can
Um,
back them
Literally
up
one of
and
the only
Yeah,
commentate.
I figure it's just kind of
Right.
There really is
but
very little,
in my
randomness.
in my
So
my
right there, he
canon
hit one of the
is that
statues,
he's the
takes
coach.
double
He's like,
damage.
yeah, you
He's
know,
gonna make him
he
turn
could have done
around
better
and
on that
then
run.
try to lock
Like,
himself up.
he could have clipped that
Controlling
better.
his
He's like,
reflexes is
he's been
Yep.
working on it.
And
You know,
so
my
there you go. So
headcanon
you got
is
the
those
power
are his
side
three
really good.
dads.
Very
27.
nice.
27 is actually really good.
They're very supportive. They got the
Very
whole family
supportive of their
behind them. There's
son.
another
Also
couch
in
with
Shadow
his
Story, but it's a
brothers.
lot worse 'cause you don't
You
have the
know,
statues, you have to
Yeah.
get
in the
for
back.
it.
Exactly. And also
Yeah,
Shadow
oh yeah,
Story,
those are all his
like,
brothers
homing
back
on the
there.
rails for some
And further
reason. I don't know
back,
if bigger
that's the
box,
extended
real-
fam. You know.
Yeah, cousins.
So he looks like he just did the boss fight just
And
correctly.
you have Rouge that follows you around and
And just
you
very
talk to her all the
fast.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
sure.
So the
glitches.
stage after this is Dusty Desert, which is the first stage where we're going to be holding Elise the entire time, and that gives you the power of the shield, which makes you walk on water and sand, but also it means you can't spin dash, which kind of sucks because that's our best way of movement. So
Holding
I'm gonna be
girls.
mashing
I just
sucks.
realized the one dude's
my
wearing
surfaces
a
as fast as I can.
Sanic
That's
shirt
just
too,
barely
which is
any time, but I mean,
once again peak
why not?
2016.
Keeps your fingers busy. You gotta do something.
Exactly,
these stages
exactly.
are-
I never understood why her
I'm
legs
gonna
were
go
bright
for a
orange.
Kind of a swag strat.
I thought-
similar
I
to the
assumed
Wave
it was
Ocean Wing
leggings
trick.
type
It
of
doesn't really
thing,
save any time, but
Yeah.
it's
But
cool
their
to see.
legs are just bright orange.
So homing, attacking, mashing on sloped surfaces, as long as you end on an upward slope surface, it's usually faster.
Oh, he
but it's
just
very limited.
barely
This
got
is
there
really the
too.
only spot that you really mash homing attacks a lot.
Yeah, so you have to, you have
we
to.
go.
Oh yeah, so quick they did.
What?
That was really good.
That was nice.
That is very similar to the one that's used in Wave Ocean. So kind of like same principle there again just that the surface trying to magnetize Sonic to it and giving him a predestined place to homing attack to, and we just say no, we're not going to do that.
Great.
You'll notice the
1000.
shield too also works off this little meter in the bottom right. That meter works for the shield, whereas when the meter empties, the shield runs out and you'll just fall if you're in sand or water. But that meter doesn't exactly work at all later. As you'll
These
see.
platforms
it's a
are
full
definitely
item that,
something that I
are
found in the
not
final level, and I
used
played that
well.
over and over again.
I just now
Understand the stage?
I just realized that this is that level
Yeah.
because we play it once with Sonic and then you just forget about it early
A
in
while
the
ago,
game.
before we had
Right.
that swag loop strat, the world record for this was like a very high 100. So that was the IO world record.
Just casually did the world record.
Damn.
All right, and then we have the best boss in the game, the one that everyone thinks is terrible casually, Silver the Hedgehog.
So
Yeah, this,
It's no
I
use.
mean he sucks,
of
but he
no
sucks
use.
more when you're as
I had to
Shadow
drop
later
that
on.
one.
I'm sure
Take
everyone
this.
here has seen videos of this. I'm sure everyone by now has watched the infamous Game Grumps video. And all
It's
that
no
kind of
use.
stuff. You know
Yep.
how horrible this can be. Well, here's a fun little. If you ever have to play this game for whatever.
See, I like the
reason,
reverse when you're
use the
Silver and you just throw all the
just
chairs at
follow
Sonic and he
these easy,
dies.
these easy little steps.
Yeah, so if Silver is in the air, he can't actually grab you, and it's no use you.
It's no
Just
use.
home attack away. Wait for him to jump in the air. Hit him. So yeah, typical speedrun.
Get looped
Boss
on.
that's terrible casually, beaten. No! No!
That's it.
That's it.
Your move, Game Grumps.
I don't think Game Grumps exists
You get
anymore.
25 seconds
I think they
Damn,
still do.
another.
But one,
do
but
they?
one of
Like,
them
just bad,
was
bad
like
memories from years
a
ago.
really
Just
shitty
like, just wanna
person
load that
with
game
shitty
up and
political
just get some
opinions.
revenge, there you go.
So
That's it.
like
That's
Right.
that guy's
Oh.
gone. So I think it's just two of them
So
now,
coming up, we
not
have a
three or
stretch of
something.
3 town missions.
I just haven't heard their name in a
Stages.
minute,
They're
so
fantastic. Before we get to actually have fun, and the first.
I love
mission
the
is,
the
who's
the
captain?
placement tape
And
for the couch.
If you know anything
As
about
if the
06,
couch
you know
moves.
this mission, but I have
Maybe it
actually a great
does, maybe they
story.
moves a
moved it
lot.
around.
It gets crazy, man. They be falling out of it.
Technically, it gives you a time at the end, which means there's leaderboards.
Getting too
online
excited when they
that
fall
actually
off.
do the mission. So
The stage.
Sonic 06 runners have been competing to get the fastest Who's the Captain time for years, and one of
Who's
the
the
very old
captain?
runners of 06, Paraxade, was quoted as saying the only optimized level in 06 was Who's the Captain. And I mean, as true as that might be, Who's the
Oh,
Captain
figure
was
out which one of the
at a
guards is the captain.
0.799 time for the longest time, and we actually counted the frames out, and we figured out that that was perfect. That was it. There was no way to go faster than 0.799, right? And then 6 months ago, in our little Skype group, Darkspine Sonic, who is another big runner, you may have seen him in previous GDQs, just said that he got a 0.774 time. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's not possible. But it turns out if you pause on the exact frame that you start talking to the captain, you skip to the last text box and thus skip that extra 2 frames. This is all the entire mission, by the way, right? So, right, you skip the last 2 frames.
Yes.
And he literally beat the unbeatable world record. So yeah, there you go.
What a god.
That story took
How
longer
how
than the
how do you even
IL
practice that? It's like it's so quick. I can't practice something
don't
at
wanna say-
0.7 second.
I don't want to say this to be mean, but why would you even practice this? There are
There
more fun games, I think, than this one. But
And they're just
it's a
making
morbid
fun.
curiosity, and then you find something kind of
Pretty,
funny
it's
on
pretty
it.
straightforward
And
overall.
I
It's gonna be
also,
going and getting
here's my
the,
fan theory.
next
When
ability
there's a
to
shitty
start
game that no
this,
one
gold
likes,
section
if you're
that you
speedrunning
open
it,
up.
you have less
And essentially
competition.
what's gonna do is that
you know?
normally
I guess, yeah, right.
you get a spin kick. If you're standing still and you hold it, you get the spin dash. If you're moving forward at a specific velocity and you hold it and then release it,
I'm really curious to
you
see what he
get
does
that.
against
And using that to take
the
off
last
enemies
boss
with
there,
power
where you're
as well.
throwing the
So
rocks.
it's
Because we remember
really
like
early on in the game,
Oh.
so
how
you
like
have your advantage to-
I YouTubed how to beat it, and then I realized I was just timing the big asteroid that he throws.
Spin dash, anti-grav, spin kick, talk to people.
Or no, that was with
everything's on
silver.
the same button.
I'm curious to see,
Yeah.
I guess, with silver that
Now, good
that
time for
fight.
donations.
Right after
I think
this-
it's the Sonic final boss
So
fight
this
that I
actually,
know that you can like
is
somehow
surprisingly
skip
difficult
it.
Because Sonic 06,
Um,
beating enemies in a fast way is actually one of the more difficult things to optimize. And a lot of these town missions, people put a lot of work into, seeing like here. So that blows up everyone but the back left one. Spin under this guy. Then we can anti-grav these guys and hit this guy into the box, which blows up the
I didn't even know you could slide into enemies this whole time.
I never realized that that's how you could do something like that. Also, that they call it anti-grav and not just the slide.
because anti-grav gives you all invincibility.
Or maybe that's
bonus
what
and
they
one
call it
kills
because it's
everything.
clearly not physically
Oh, no.
possible.
There's some big guys coming up that we can actually use the anti-grab on, so instead of having to repeatedly homie attack.
Oh
or
my
something like
god.
So it's much
I could have
faster.
saved so much time
Not
and
only
frames
that,
doing
but
that.
This is really wonky.
That's usually when that game would start lagging, is when you're trying to like
Right.
homing
Because
attack
they're
them
shooting
over and
all
over
these
again.
exploding things, and you know.
It goes like at least 6 FPS
Yeah, they just die. They just die.
at peak.
Good pattern here. They were nice to
Frame
me.
goes to 6, and
50's
then
fine.
you know.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of frames at the end of the day, which just based on their specific positions.
All right, you can read donations now.
All right, because we have
That
a
was
$25 donation
incredible.
from the Darkspine Sonic.
Oh, himself.
Oh, he donated. The guy who
Hey Trips, DSS here, wishing you good
got the
luck with
record.
the Sonic Story No MSG run. I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park. That being said, I'll throw in an extra 2,006 cents if you get a fast egg Genesis. Gotta go fast.
That's actually the hardest trick in the game. All right, I accept your challenge.
We have a $50 donation from G-Duck, which says, thanks to everyone behind the scenes. Great work.
I thought he was gonna say
We have a $50
$2,006.
donation from Anonymous, which says,
I'm like,
You know what I
that's
mean?
funny.
It said it's $20 bucks.
Very glad I did. Rip the animals.
I bought this game day one for full price, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we give him
no.
a round of applause. There we go.
Waited at overnight at GameStop to get Sonic 2006.
The launch day party.
We have a $20 donation from RTJL, which says, I thought I could handle this awful game, but it's no
Yeah, if I could go back in
use.
time
For the sake of the future,
and
you
change
can
one thing,
sweat.
it's
I'll throw
going
an
back in
extra
time to
$30
that day
do the
and telling
box.
him you can just go home. Trust me.
For sure.
Dude, I said this story, I think on the episode
If
where
you
we
know what the
reviewed
box
this
is,
game or like went over episode
for
150,
sure.
but this was one of the first 2 games I ever had on PS3 where I got this and Uncharted.
We have a $30 donation from Spotty.
One was more fun than the
What's
other.
better to break than an already broken game?
Uncharted. Like what did like a
Yeah.
night and day. God, I'm gonna do the sliding thing now.
Yeah, you're
Wait.
gonna boot this game up?
Yeah, I'm gonna boot this game.
So yeah, the game delays your winning of the level by like 5 some seconds, and that's actually I've grinded the IL for that for the world record. That's actually random, so you can lose some frames on IL record by just having things lag a little bit.
IL.
Anyway, so that's the end of our town mission excursion. Hope that was
In
fun. Hope you
level?
enjoyed that. let's back to actual.
Imagine this game had an actual mini map
So this next one
in
we're gonna
game.
be going into,
That'd be
White Acropolis,
great.
Which,
Right.
Trip, you know this better than anyone.
Because like I had to take a
Uh,
picture of the
this
map
is-
at one
okay,
point
this
to
is
be
the
like,
thing
where the
that-
fuck am I
that will
going?
sit there
Yeah,
for
it's so zoomed
basically
in that it's
6
useless.
hours stream.
And I didn't even realize
Okay.
that's what that was
Running this
until like
stupid
halfway
snow
through, and I'm like,
game.
oh, that's a map.
And I really
Instead of just like a
started
weird
questioning,
like
oh, I
blueprint. I
don't
thought it was like blueprints of like a
never
building or
get it.
something
I
that you
still
went in.
don't get it,
I
but I-
don't know
Well, I'm
what I
pretty
thought
sure
it was.
the manual
I got
makes
some
it
votes, I got
seem
But, yeah, there's
manual.
some really interesting
The verbiage in the
techniques. So there's
manual
a thing called
acts
a
as if you
recap portion.
can
What we're gonna be doing
use the mini
is,
map for
jumping at a
anything.
specific part of the ramp, and it's going to trick the
This
ramp
level could have
into
been so
taking
cool.
the momentum that it would have
Yeah.
given him when it launches
But then it
something
wasn't.
and store it, and basically just
This
store it
game
into
could
his
have been so
momentum.
cool.
Right
It
here.
wasn't.
So he's going to jump early, and it's going to pull him back down. And if you see here,
But man,
this
this just reminds me of SSX. I
It's
played
gonna go
the
for
shit
another
out of
one,
that
and that one's
on
really,
PS2.
really
That was like one of my
honestly
favorite. That's
tricky
I
to
put
play.
that game in like
Which one did
top
you play?
15
but he got
games of all
additional
time.
gap
The original
there,
one,
and so he's going
the
a lot
OG.
faster, and
Nice.
it is
Yeah, I know that
very difficult to
I
control-
was
to
listening to a
control this
podcast
sword.
and they were
We're not
talking.
going at this speed.
SSX was brought up briefly,
Yeah.
and I guess it's because SSX Tricky was on more than just the
Yeah,
PS2.
left it in
It
the
actually
box.
kind of looks
What's
worse
really nice
than the
about
original
it's,
because
Oh.
they had to
it's
pick
the
like
jump
one
plane.
rendering
Normally you
style
have
to
to
work
charge
on
it
all
up,
3
and
consoles.
the actual jump is really slow, but because we have that speed, you can just go straight over, and it saved. How much time did it
Damn.
save overall?
That's
without
He
the
did
cap?
not
Without
hit
the
anything.
cap, that seems like 25 seconds.
Yeah, that's really nice. It doesn't seem like
I think that
I think it's
helps
playing
in a
the same
speedrun.
game. This must be
Alright, so
this
the
must be a
second part of
cracked
this
version of the
stage is
game.
Even better than the first.
Yeah,
Must
that's
be,
at least
'cause, you
fixed
know.
to
Just go
30
around and then,
FPS
like,
or
hit down
something.
like
Yeah,
this, and switch
there's
the
no
cameras
way.
and, like,
Or
do all
the
this
360
stuff, and
version is
eventually
clearly
all the way back around
superior in
here.
ways that
You
like
can just clip right through these lasers and you're good.
Oh my
That was actually
God.
really good. That's first try.
it's really good.
That's actually quite difficult to do.
Oh my
It's
fucking
interesting because
god.
every laser has its individual hitbox, and you can actually it's kind of whatever timing that you really want.
the
Give me a
lasers have a
break.
hitbox. It's not just a
So
wall.
there's gaps between individual hitboxes. There's a gap between each individual one, and kind of
Why? Why do they have it? Why did they just make them
It
a
just
wall
seems
on
more
others?
complicated for them to make him that way.
homing attack, your hitbox shrinks a lot, and so you kind of miss certain pieces of collision or hitbox
Oh.
or anything like that, and you're just able to clip through it. Yeah, that's how that works.
I mean, I guess if you
That
just
stage
make
is supposed to
an
take 3
object
minutes.
have a
You
hitbox,
didn't go
I
for the
guess
full
it's
thing.
easier than making
Oh.
a second invisible object that's a hitbox
This
wall.
guy got it like 3 times. in a
Right?
row.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, no.
I told you that.
Right.
It's technically
This
you
is,
save
it
a little
just-
bit of time.
it just-
It's
it's just
advertising.
crazy.
It's like, yeah, have it extended, it's gonna be great.
Oh, Crisis City, I didn't
We're
like
not
Crisis
even
City.
20
Actually,
minutes in.
It gets in the way a lot more than we would like.
Oh, no, but it
it's
makes the
Damn,
box
really?
happen.
it does make the
So-
box happen.
This
okay.
is like you could speed run this entire
For a treat.
Sonic
just be
game
patient.
or the Sonic
So Crisis City,
stage
this is another,
stages
there's gonna be another example
by
of
the time the
that
first
coming up in a
episode
second.
of
This
Last
is
of Us
actually
ends.
legitimately really
or
good
before the
because
first
every time you see these
for
like
a
five
regular
bullets
on
pop
average
up,
episode of the Sonic movie
if you
show
collides with
ends.
one after you just do it, like
That's
you
what they
actually
should do.
go-
They
you
should have been
go
playing
not forward and die.
Yeah.
a
And
Sonic
you're
movie
like,
show
"Oh,
episode.
This was
so it's very
2016, they
important,
couldn't
yeah,
have.
like, the movement
Right.
is
If you
really
get hit on
important
any
here.
of
This
these
was before we
fire pillars,
existed.
you go at a right
Yeah,
angle and
you
die
just-
instantly.
you're
Yeah,
gone.
before we
You're
were
not
born.
supposed to have that much speed, so, like,
We were
fly
still in the
very
womb.
far and you get
He's
comboed
just
by a lot of
moving so
people.
fast.
Yeah. We actually call that speed up.
Yeah, because like there's definitely times I was moving quick
Sound
and then the
speed
frames
up.
would start
We call it
really
Yeah.
speed up. So.
slowing you down, and then you run into something.
And right there, there's a trigger.
Wow.
Right there, so don't worry, he's not
Hey,
dead. So
I was a little worried for a
Because
second.
it loads
like-
into
he
a
like-
separate thing.
You like run in and out. That was
but,
crazy.
Yeah, the soul's kind of
Yeah.
broken up into
Looks so
a
smooth.
bit of variety. Kind of going in more of a traditional level here. So that was snowboard, kind of.
I just noticed too on that building when he was doing down it,
We
they
had to
were
ride
doing
these
some
rails
sort
for
of
a long time,
reflection type of
so-
trick there
Oh no, wait, no, we don't.
that I would say probably took work. Yeah, I remember that
Oh
stuff.
my
That's
God.
classic Sonic Adventure 2 shit when you're in space.
Yeah.
Just being like, "All right, I'm just gonna fall on the thing.
Just standard fair platforming.
Pretty straightforward. There's a jump in here. It saves like well,
I do like the
Like
drum
a
beats
second,
in
but
the
it
song,
looks so much
the song
better
for
than
it
it
the
looks so
this
good.
level.
It's very scary. So
Really?
everyone across the thing.
I love like it's very like not late '90s like
That's-
drum and
it's quite
bass kind
difficult.
of.
I call that clench jump just because
Sound.
you always think you're gonna miss it every single time, but you never actually do. It's like deceptively easy.
I mean, unless you're me.
No, but you're the god. You can't miss it. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Really trying to follow it with my head.
Actually, Trip, you might know. Like sometimes, when
Tails'
you come
Chaos
into
Emerald is on that
sections, like,
platform.
there, sometimes
I
you won't collide.
right there. That's where I died
Sometimes
once.
you might
I
fall
like
and die.
somehow
It's
just
kinda
hit the
iffy.
wall
There's certain-
and I
And fell.
certain, like kind of automatic.
And I was so
land
mad. I was like,
how
what?
you really don't have control
Like,
of
what?
the
I've
fact
done
that
this like
it's
8 times. I'm
there's
like, how is
15
this
seconds,
one
and
other
if you
time I
respond,
didn't? Hit it
in
right, I don't know.
certain levels where there are giant loops.
Oh god.
that are
Hey, this
at
game
certain
looks pretty
angles.
fun.
If you run at a particular
When it's
side of
played
Right?
the
Like, if you
this.
saw this, you're like, oh wow.
going in
Yeah,
a very
looks neat.
straight
Sonic
fashion.
Adventure
It
3 is
doesn't
pretty
really-
dope.
It doesn't really angle, Sonic doesn't angle himself along with the loop.
Right.
And so there's a
Okay,
chance
yeah,
that
the
you'll
frame
actually
rate
fly off
dies
the side.
there.
Sonic
And it did a little
Sonic
bit.
is infamously bad at like
But,
scripted
like,
sections. Like
yeah.
where you're
when we
supposed
played,
to, you hit
it
the dash
died.
pad, right? And you go on the straight line and you do what the game tells you to do.
Is anyone saying? I'll look in the
Sonic 06, I'd
comments.
say like
See if anyone says.
70% of the time.
Didn't know you could
will
speed
die
run a
before
loading
you
screen.
get to 30.
Top comment.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
So again, right here, this is the third section. Very straightforward platforming. More of the optimization comes from.
I'd pay real world money
trying to
for a
use speed
podcast for that man to whisper in my ears about Sonic 06
attacks there.
strats.
In this case, because the terrain
Oh, the guy
is
is the guy who has the deep voice. He's talking right now. Yeah.
The jump out of spin.
Yeah, he definitely has a radio
That-
voice.
yeah, it
You can
helps
also
a lot.
homing attack this and walk right up it.
It's the voice I wish I had.
Found that out by accident.
It's the voice I pretend I have.
Some of the services are questionable, if anything.
Yep, and that's it.
Thank you for
So coming
watching
up
the
is
Sonic
actually
Movie
one
Show,
of
where
the hardest
you're on
sections
all
of
the
game.
podcast
Try to
platforms.
see
Make
my
sure.
speed. And the developers of this game pretty much said that they have this straight road, and in order to make it difficult, they're just going to throw all the random objects and have the Havoc's physics engine like do its thing. And
Yeah, the
have
Havoc's
everything fly
engine
everywhere,
is the
so
worst
you'll
enemy
see
in
what
this
I mean.
game.
When you go really fast, it's even worse.
So again, like we did with the first Mach Speed, he wants to kind of gun for these trail of rings, and try to not hold.
This is what I was
as
doing, by the
long as
way,
possible until you
For the
absolutely
longest time, then I felt like it was too hard, so I started
The
just
tricky thing about this is that once you
doing
hit
it
this,
sparingly. Or when I felt like I was about to die, then I would try
once
to
you get
go
hit
for the
once,
rings.
It's very hard to kind of get out of that range of a lot of the.
Right there, when the
Just
camera
knowing you
switches,
have, like,
it's
perfect
so
lights on
fucking
dash
hard.
move.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
there's just
you can be out of
so much
range,
shit on screen. I don't even know where I am.
But once you get hit once again, it's really tricky. So he's doing pretty okay now.
Pretty
He's in
much,
this last
yeah.
section, so it should be fine.
See what I mean? Like every single bit of each of these cars can hit you.
Yeah,
so
every single individual piece that flies around, which it's random. It's
Oh, so it is
very
random.
coordinated.
That's why, like, sometimes I feel like it got harder. Okay,
Every
that's good to
single
know.
piece has a hitbox, and I cannot tell you how many times I've
Game
shot
is
over
made
the
out of
clear,
paper
a little
mache and
wheel clips his
Q-tips.
heel,
Oh, yeah.
and he just dies.
Mhm. So early runners have a tough time with this one.
It's
but-
very difficult.
So I didn't avoid the S rank there because I didn't get hit near the end. It's kind of weird with Crisis City. Like you don't want to
Car
get hit at all.
car alarm going off. I'm making sure my car wasn't getting stolen.
Yep, I always have to do the
The
same.
thing with that is that you recover from your invincibility state so
So ready to
quickly. Again,
grab my baseball bat.
will come out of nowhere and possibly clip you, and then you have to redo the entire Mach Speed over.
I was about ready to no clips through the wall. And
A lot of the things like
Sonic
I said,
06
Just
and I'm
homing
sliding.
attack into the corner.
Speed game, if you watch
See,
it,
what they really
Let's
should have done
Play
was
for 8.5
speedrun the
minutes.
multiplayer
He's
in this
done
game
in
and
3
have
minutes,
it be
20
like
Option that's
use Silver to throw you through walls and
What's
stuff,
funny?
you know?
Poor souls.
Oh my god, no.
So
I'll
Flame
never
Core is
forget,
actually
like,
one of my favorite levels personally.
we were getting ready to record our
It's
episode
really
on this
nice if you
game
do
and
it
be like,
well.
I still need to
Really
check out the
punishing if you
multiplayer. Let me just try it a little bit.
So-
Right there,
And
you
I'm
just
like,
skipped a
I
bunch.
guarantee
We were supposed to do.
they didn't
There's no-
like
things
this
or-
is such slapdash put together. You can
This
throw
is
as
one of the
Silver,
most
throw
important
Sonic
levels,
through a wall,
personally, just
and
lots
yes, you
more
can
just-
pretty
good
easily. I
variety.
picked the very first corner I
Very precise jump
tried
here.
it and
Yeah,
it
got
worked.
it, very good.
You know what I mean?
It's quite difficult because you don't want to hug the wall
This is my
too
favorite.
hard.
This is my favorite way.
Yeah, there's a door. But
Oh.
You just walk right through it.
Uh,
You don't even have to spin dash. That's the only door you can do that to.
You could just
All
straight
the
up
other
run
doors
through
in
it.
Flame Core, you like spin dash through them, but no, you can just walk through that one.
there's a weird blend of that. You have some doors that you have to do this precise skip on. There's some doors that you can just walk through. Some doors that are just you cannot negotiate with at all. It's really odd.
How many lives he at? 9? Okay. He hasn't died, obviously, so I was like...
Right.
And he wasn't necessarily going for him, either.
Yeah, and all
Right.
3 characters have some external way to get through them, and
Yeah.
they all don't have to care.
We have many different things in our toolbox to clip through doors.
Yeah, so right here again, this door you cannot click through, so we actually do have to go ahead.
I wonder if no MSG means no messages. Like,
And we don't even
don't
have
read the
gems yet.
messages.
Gems can make
I don't
it
think
Yeah.
so. That'd be pretty
Well,
stupid.
Gems,
But
yeah, if anyone is interested in watching Isles for this game, we'll be getting into this later in the run, but there are these things that you get called gems.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it
And,
could
they
be.
make things very, very fun.
Multi-stage
Unbelievably broken.
glitch,
It's not even
maybe?
fair.
Something
Really
like that?
interesting.
We don't have to do anything as
yeah.
speedrunners. The game broke itself. It just handed itself to us.
This spot's a little interesting. All these meteors do have hitboxes. It's random. You can actually get hit kind of any time.
Even after
so,
this jump
yeah.
pad.
This right here, you can actually get sniped out of the air
It's
with
What?
a meteor
Yeah.
and
What?
die and lose a minute and a half. And it
Alright.
has happened to everyone but me. So
It's
it
never
did-
happened to me on Shadow, so.
But
Notice how he said it after.
yeah, right. I didn't want to say it before. I did not want to jinx it on this stage. No way. Yeah, the inside.
Yeah,
of
the
Flame Core is
asteroids are
really
bullshit,
interesting and I know,
too.
and it's
'Cause
also
They,
really
they feel
difficult
very, like,
when you just jump off
random
the
and, like, you can't really dodge them.
Go around, get up And then we're going to grab this invincibility, and we're going to go into this tunnel and clip through using the anti-grav so that we have enough time. Oh, try again.
There you
we
go. Good.
Just fall through.
And then land on
Hopefully I have
lava
enough
where
time
you
with
can.
invincibility to go in lava? Probably not. All right, I'll take safe strats.
The invincibility jingle for this game is also really good because it stops way before the actual invincibility does.
Like at least 10 seconds before.
It's really off.
I kind of have to look at more of the particles.
God damn! I'm like I said, I knew this was gonna get me mad. Actually, I would be like, I could have. I wish I was like good at
So knuckle skip.
games.
It's a skip. You go up this wall, right?
What?
Like, hey, I have this whole level. I know I want to
He's a torpedo there.
And so he's
Please
gonna
don't
go
tell
up
me he
to
just
this,
climbs
to
into the
this part
ceiling.
of the ceiling, right? Line himself up and jump through. He's going to glide in a certain way. That's
my
going to
God.
everything's going to light up, and that's going to keep keep himself from getting locked into that other part of the level. For some reason, when you're in flight there, if you hit that flame part, it launches you back down, and then you're in the end of the level.
Oh,
And
no.
you still have control too.
Yeah.
That's right. This is a
Oh, no, I'm
glitch.
dead.
There's no way
Oh,
to
crap.
finish a level
What
as
is fine?
Knuckles, but they put in the
The game
game
doesn't care.
end
he's
screen
tired,
stuff
he's
for
tired.
him that you
Sorry,
can
it
glitch
doesn't take
into.
what happened.
It's
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, there's actually, it's kind of weird. We're not really sure why you can move during the result screen because at other levels we finish with characters that you're not intended to and they get their result animation. And Knuckles has one because he finishes a mission in the town. So I think it's if you're flying, but I'm not sure.
No, I've ran into it on the ground, and then you can
Really?
still move.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
gotten on the ground with Rouge too.
Typical 06. There's a lot of things where you're not.
Yeah, I've
really sure.
also
We found
I
out
ran
on
into it on the
accident.
ground too.
Yeah, I mean,
So you can read donations now.
you know,
That's
I just fast forwarded the game
Yeah,
with
for
my
sure.
TV.
We have a
That's how I
$500
want it.
Yeah, I just watched it on YouTube.
Woo.
It says, I
It looks
spent
like they're raising
15
money for
hours completing
MSF.
This game. Now I'm crying. Have a great run.
Sonic is not
Oh,
supposed
see-
to go this fast.
Only 15.
I agree. He's supposed to go much slower than that.
I was like 50.
What's up, Not?
$50 donation from True Jukes.
It's not.
Says, question for the runner.
Oh.
How much shorter would the run be if you cut out the loading time?
I like how the one
we've timed
donation was
that.
like,
It
I
is-
wasted
it
15
is
hours playing
20
this game and
minutes
now I'm getting
shorter.
mad. See, I'm not the only one.
Even worse on PS3.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
So, you know, so hey, Microsoft, I know, you know, Xbox One backwards compatibility, maybe a
Make it
download
happen.
version.
PC.
This game is currently $5 on the Xbox 360 marketplace.
It's still not worth it. Sorry.
Goes on to say, good luck to all the runners. And he goes to TaskBot because I think he can break games more than this one.
Seem allergic to deals.
And speaking of donation incentives, we got quite a few coming up.
So he just damage boosts himself
there's
over there.
A bunch that
Just
haven't
takes
been
the
met.
damage grabber ring.
There's
Take the
Sing
damage
Part
grabber
of Your
ring.
World, for Little Mermaid Any Percent, which needs about $3,100 to be
I do like the
met.
cave.
And that's
Like,
coming up
I know it's like a
about
picture, you know what I
5
mean?
years from now, I believe.
That they
Oh,
use to
yeah.
like add the
Skybox.
depth. I just like
Which
that
is
shit.
difficult, which needs about $2,600.
No, they spent the entire time modeling out the entire thing. That's why
Yeah.
gaming.
No,
has
I
somebody.
just like that in like older games when that's all they can do. I just love that kind of look to it. Like even like old Mortal Kombat games were just like the moving pictures with like, you know, then they had the objects when you were closer. I've
Yeah.
always
It's
dug
supposed to
that.
take like twice as long. We're actually
You know,
skipping
David and I were
five
just watching
of
the Tekken World
scripting in this
Finals
fight. If I go
pools
up and
to
hit these
lead into the
purple
top
walls
8.
really early, we skip,
And
like,
some of the
entire
stages are
phase,
infinite
which is
stages,
just- it
you know, in
saddens
the
me
current
because
one,
that
but
means
some
that
of them have
this
walls and
fight, as
stuff.
long as it is,
Original 3 Tekken games and
we're
Tekken Tag
actually
Tournament were
skipping, like,
infinite
half of
stages,
these. They were intended you to
but
spend,
there
like,
was
5
stuff
minutes
around
standing
you
here waiting.
where the
This
ground
is
just
the
kept
best.
scrolling as they moved, but it did some cool parallax tricks. And in the original games,
I'm
like,
just used to it by now.
you watch the videos and you're like, damn, that looks so real and cool. And you're like, you can kind of tell what's going
It's very
on.
dull. There's not really much else. There isn't anything else to say about it, really.
It's okay, Not. You're sub now. That's all that matters. You know, you can't look back on your past and, you know,
Now, you better
Feel
be
so
listening to
sad.
our
Oh, well.
episodes every
Guess
week.
they had to draw a line in the sand
Every week,
somewhere,
yeah.
right? Here's hoping you don't get too heated on the lava stage.
You can't dwell on the past. You gotta look at the future, and you know,
So we actually have the Sonic Boom.
Kill the
innocent,
past.
Champion here.
kill it if you have.
Is
Wait,
Sonic Boom worse than Sonic 06?
I don't remember.
Officially, he runs both.
Star
I
Wars
can't-
is
I can't
dumb.
even call it a Sonic game, dude.
Star Wars is canceled.
We're halfway through this run.
But yes, it is.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, at this point, I was
in
like
terms
10
of a
hours in.
speed run, like, at least Sonic 06,
Same, probably.
Or felt like that.
fast if you
Yeah.
want to, but Sonic Boom, you just got to
Oh,
fight
Boom, you
stuff.
can go pretty fast. You just got to pause and wait a while.
Both games are pretty bad. But I'd say that honestly, both of them are really cool speedruns and have like a lot more merit as a speed game than as an actual.
That was my
game.
goal with Boom. I never had such little.
It's
fun
crazy. They don't even know
playing
Sonic
it.
Forces
I'm
exists yet,
serious.
or is gonna
Oh
be.
my,
I wanted to
that's
see
so
it.
true.
It's actually one of my absolute.
You have to watch a
They're like
Sonic
shitting on
Forces
this
speedrun.
game, and it's like, oh, you ain't ready. Wait until
We're gonna
you
head over
spend a
to
couple
Radical
more
Speed.
years.
First, we're gonna pick up
I
the
didn't.
bounce
I
bracelet,
don't
which,
think I remember
if you know
seeing
anything
because
about
Awesome
Sonic
Games Done
speedrunning,
Quick
the bounce bracelet is
2023
notoriously
just
broken
ended
in
like a few days
Sonic
ago.
06
I don't think there was a
is-
Sonic
Yeah.
Frontiers
I guess a little
speedrun.
bit of an
I would be
exception. It's a
interested to
little
see what
underwhelming. You'd
that game
expect
looks
Sonic
like as a
06 bounce
run.
bracelet to be like, oh, well, we just did that.
Yeah, because
Nowhere
you
near what you
it's
saw
so
in
wide
SLG,
open
but
that
still,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
could
still
be
pretty
Like
solid.
what's
interesting to see.
important,
Bounce
what's
bracelet
not
on the surface
important,
that's
and I can see different
revenue-reducing,
categories being
you know,
like
not normal,
finish
you'll
all the
bounce
levels
bracelet in
because
that
you don't need
direction.
to.
We use that
You know what I
nine levels a lot.
mean? You just need to get the keys. You know.
Like, I would love to see if
We're
like just
going
get the
to,
keys and like if
Radical
there's a way to
Speed. The whole,
just
idea of
get
this
them
game
in
is
like
that Eggman is,
10 minutes, you know?
driving and
Yeah.
steering through this whole section, and you're supposed to go through and flip these
This
switches
this
and
level
then
sucked
actually
too.
crash
I hated
and
this
get
Yep.
stuck
level.
on it.
Especially as
That's
Shadow.
not bombed on
Something
anything.
like
I would
that.
love
We're
to
supposed
see
say the news. You think at least is on?
a Sonic Forces
Why we're here?
speedrun.
You don't care. Oh my goodness.
Listen, she
That's
can
for a
set
future
up,
stream. We'll go through all our favorites.
So we're trying to outrun this train. It's the whole
All our
idea.
favorite
It's
Sonic
pretty-
games.
It's pretty straightforward. And you're just kind of flipping these switches along the way. Okay, yeah.
Okay, okay. This game is okay.
I don't think it's okay.
Right here, this is another infamous section. You can see how far he is to the left of the loop, and he hit the right of the dash pad. If you were in the middle or the left, anywhere else,
Listen, I
you
want to
would-
abolish
it's
prisons,
one of the most
but if we have to
Yeah,
keep
I forgot to
them,
mention the Wave Ocean Loop. If
the
you
way
go
to
on
get
the
out
right
of jail
path, that's all
shouldn't
in
be
the
like
back.
money
You
or
just missed the
time
dash pad.
served. It should just be you have to
Right there.
beat
He held the home
Sonic
attack, you kinda get a lot of
2006
height.
On
You
PS3.
hold it just right,
on
and you can
PS3.
climb upward, you can actually skip that.
The in the original PS3, you know, like the
Right.
Switch right here.
You know, in individual levels, you
Like it
actually
was
can
like,
pull the switches and you clip
like
through-
they
you can flip
intended.
through all these doors, right?
Yeah.
But in RTA, you know, if you clip through the door, the train crashes because you didn't hit the switch.
So I think that's more
It's
punishment to
$40
tell
to
people
destroy
not
the
to do
track.
crimes, you
But
know?
in ILs, if you clip through the door, hit the checkpoint, and then take a death, the train just assumes that you've hit the switch already and continues on. But we can clip through this final door because, you know, it's right at the end. Fun fact, if you pause and you start over the game right as you're about to end this section, you hard lock your Xbox.
What?
And right here.
You hard lock your Xbox.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh,
and,
no.
First Sonic did that in a marathon. I was like, oh.
So Sonic does actually
Christ.
kill consoles,
Wow.
literally.
Here's the third
If
model.
it,
It's not
if,
even a
honestly,
joke.
if it were to like
This
somehow
one's
brick
kinda
your
tough, but
Xbox,
This one, like,
because hard lock to
it
me
allows you
just
to see
suggests you can
exactly
turn it
how
off,
much
turn it back
faster we
on.
go when we do the light
But,
dash, not
like,
holding a direction thing.
If it somehow bricked your
And we're catching up
Xbox,
to
like I
the
feel like
train
it's a lawsuit.
because we actually catch pretty far up to the train.
But who's paying the lawsuit? Is it
Right up here.
Microsoft?
It would be
or is it
set- well,
Sega?
I
Be
would.
like, hey,
my
your
gut
system-
tells me
Even though
Sega,
the
but if the
terrain seems very scary,
He's going way too fast.
Being able to light speed dash on the rings makes it pretty forgiving. It kind of gives you a pretty consistent lineup in a lot of places, and you can abuse that for speed.
How is it?
And it's pretty nice.
How is it breaking? I don't even understand.
And we're supposed to hit these dash pads, but
Yeah.
you can just run into here.
Sonic's gonna explode. There you go.
Sonic's gonna explode. You can see the rings in the background, so it just instantly puts him
That's-
over
that's-
there
that's
for.
insane.
That's a good
My gemless
funny.
record for this
There was
is
literally
149.9,
fire in the background for the
that's like
longest couple seconds there.
almost done in the practice
The longest time. It's no use.
It's no
So
use.
we skip the S rank, so we only get one medal. Which is much faster.
No
Try to do
MSG.
that every chance we get.
I'm gonna Google.
It's
what
got to
that
be like
means.
multi-stage glitch or something. It's got to. Something like that.
Oh boy.
Sonic 06 speed run.
So this is the hardest trick in the game. It's pretty much the only trick I'd say is like
Categories.
kind of inconsistent.
It's more than kinda. The idea is that there are 4 phases normally to the fight, and we're gonna try to do 2 of them together. So there you go. Okay, got on it. That's that's the first part. So he manages to trigger the arm. He's gonna get 2 hits with the bounce bracelet, and then the 3rd hit would knock him away and script it. But he's gonna lock himself down with the missiles, get the 3rd hit, do the next 3 hits, and there you go. So that skips 2 phases. That's
Got it.
that's
Wow.
really good. That's
Wow.
actually really hard.
Damn.
So there's an
The
any
hardest
percent
part
that's
of this
done
mission,
in
right, is
like
that
8
first
minutes.
part. And the nice thing is that you know, if you don't get
Oh.
it, you can immediately start
8
over.
minutes.
You lose the time, but it's
It's
alright.
got to be. Yeah, you must be
The
skipping
idea is that
shit.
you just
There's
can't
no
lock
way.
Then there's
yourself up
no
with a certain
credits
section on left
warp,
or right, where
then
the
no
option is
major
split.
glitches. No major
And,
glitches is about
skip
an
the
hour,
lineup,
so that I can
and-
see
and
that.
it'll pull the arm up,
All
and then
gold
the hardest part
medals,
is trying to
which
line
is clearly
yourself
not what
up
they're
with
doing.
the arm and have it carry you
Yeah.
up.
Right,
Sometimes you
exactly.
can get locked inside of it, and you can actually clip back out, but a lot of times you'll just fall down. And then once you're up there, it's really not too bad. You just got to make sure that when you get that third hit, the missiles are coming down on you. So instead of being locked away and knocked back just like this, the missiles keep you down. And
If you get interrupted, you hit him 3 times and then you.
I thought he was up to like float up on
if
top.
one
I'm
of
like,
his
how
own
does he
rockets hits you
doing
while you're getting
that?
flung back, then yeah, you fall back down on him. Also, this happens if you just say. Just wait for it. Wait for it.
What?
Hey,
There you go.
Damn, that's funny.
No menu
I
select
don't think-
glitch.
It just occurred to me that
That's
I don't
what
think we've
it
explained
means.
what no MSG actually means.
Oh
we
my
have
God.
not. So okay, so no,
There's actually a credits warp in this game.
there is a credits warp.
After the first 2 stages, if you can store a mission and then complete
just
a mission,
Googled
within
this.
another mission in the town, and then it warps you to the credits. So no MSG is actually just completing the whole game from the start to the final boss. And stuff.
They literally like, oh, maybe someone's thinking this.
I actually
Just said
found
it.
the Games Done
Sonic
Quick
06
tweet
and
from
Sonic
probably
does not
the
have
same
credits
day saying what no MSG
06 is by
means.
far the more broken.
Sonic game having a credits warp. Right?
It's kind of bizarre.
All right, so
That's crazy
this
that
is
they
the
just said it
next
right
stage
after
where
you
we're
said
holding release,
it.
the last stage where we're holding release, and the back to the
You think
home
they would have said it in the
again.
beginning, but
In Tropical Jungle, so I always say Tropical Jungle is like one of my favorite stages. It's like, that's my stage, right? It's the only one I have IL record on still because, well, shout outs to Sharu, one of the first Japanese 06 runner, joined about 6 months ago and took every single IL record except this one. But yeah, and I always die on it though. So the other 06 runners call me out on it. They're like, yo, you say this is your stage, but you die on this all the time. Also, we don't have to go through this log. Just go on the outside.
Let's go down.
I keep forgetting that. I take this stuff for granted. Like, of course you don't have to go through the log, but you know.
what
So
the
it's
fuck?
a pretty easy stage. The vines are the worst part. So
Okay,
every-
yeah.
By far.
It's almost
Vines
like
are bad,
every
yeah.
vine. I don't know if this is 100% true, but it feels like it to me, and everyone else agrees with me. Every vine feels like it has its own individual
Oh,
timing.
yeah. Oh,
you
for
think,
sure.
You think
Yeah.
that, okay, like the moment it glows, the whole period of it glowing is when you hit A.
No.
No.
You'll be dead.
So you will die. So
Okay,
some
yeah, this
vines
is my
you
issue,
have to-
like,
you have to
especially
memorize
the
that
later
timing.
ones.
Some vines will have one where you wait till the glow
Yeah, the ones
starts
over here.
to disappear. Some vines you want to do it as soon as it starts to glow. It's very, very finicky. And the problem is that, especially in sections like these, I'm actually going to shut up for a second. Just let you do it.
No, it's fine. I never die here.
There you go. Okay. Well.
All right.
All right.
Well,
He's
I
good.
did-
Yeah,
I did
you're good.
die.
The problem is that if you're a little too late and if you come off of it, typically you can regain your air action. You can homing attack back onto it and save yourself. A lot of the time, if you're too early or just mistime it in general, you will just plummet to the ground and you will die and have to go back kind of far. And
Also,
it's a pain.
This is a pretty cool clip. So you're supposed to run down this log, but you can just anti-grav out here and fall all the way down. See that loop there? That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
There's no death
here's
pains
the
to prevent
speed
that
run.
from
It doesn't
happening.
seem
You
like
just
you'd be
fall all the way
skipping that
down.
much 'cause it's like, okay, just.
Oh my god,
You don't have enough
this is
speed.
blowing my mind, man.
You
This
have
is
no speed, so Sonic is he'll just casually walk
Yeah.
the whole way. It's very weird. So it saves quite a bit of time. It's very easy to do. A similar idea to the one in Flame Core.
All right, so in this section, there's a ton of slowdown, a ton of lag. So we're actually going to hold the camera down like GoldenEye the whole time. We got to make sure we don't fall in the water, except the game gave us a power that allows us to walk on water. So we can pretty much bypass the entire stage and just walk right
damn.
through
You have to
it
fucking
because,
memorize
you know, the only
exactly
parts that
where
we're
you're
doing are
going.
water, and we can walk on that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's
So they mentioned there's lag, so like, yeah, maybe the Xbox version is just better.
Better.
Really just kind of walk.
I mean, that doesn't surprise
We
me,
didn't have to
you
do
know,
anything.
Yeah.
but
There's
I'm a
some
little
stages like
upset
that.
how much better it seems.
I know, right?
Like, I was upset when I
There's
found
some
out that
stages
Sonic
like that,
Unleashed
good
can
example being
run
Micropolis, where
almost
the
at
whole
60
layout,
frames per
obviously,
second
the
on
level of
360 in
shadow
many
uses,
spots.
Right? It's obviously the
And
map
I was
in
playing
that
it like a
level,
good
they
solid
just kinda
20 the
erase
entire
Sonic and
game.
change a few things.
On PS3 when I was
which allows us to
platinuming that one.
Go around. Obviously, there's the barrier in between that, but they didn't even try this one. It's just, hey,
All the-
surely they wouldn't explore in this big open area.
So yeah, Sonic, Shadow, and Silver.
Just realized I was
if you
fucking
don't
leaning
already know,
down the chair.
share the exact same stage. So
okay.
all of Sonic's parts and all of Shadow's parts, they just go through the same stage.
The gamer
And
hunch was
there's-
kicking in,
Coming up
watching
in
the
the
speedruns.
last stage, we actually use one of Shadow's parts to skip a massive part of the stage because they just leave it in there. They're just not even. So now we're gonna do the exact same stage with Tails because you know.
That's right, this game makes you play
Tails
Wave
has,
Ocean,
a
I think,
couple interesting things
6
about him.
times.
So he has, I guess you can think of it as he has 2 parts to his flight. So he has the initial jump where you hold A and he starts to ascend. And then he has, you can actually press A again and that'll give him an extra kind of bit where he doesn't ascend, he just kind of moves horizontally. The thing about it is that if you hold A for too long, you will kind of hit the ceiling and immediately start going horizontal. And that kind of, it takes up that second flight slot, if you want to think of it that way. And you'll immediately just kind of plummet right after that. He's actually going to do a trick right here.
Oh,
manipulate
check this
that
out.
dash
This
pad,
is sick.
And then
What?
There you go. Yeah, very good. Very, that was very nice. So just kind of manipulates the dash pad and the terrain on the loop there to get over that section pretty quick.
God damn it, man.
This is just straight flying. So
Yeah.
you can read donations actually. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we got a 2006 cent donation.
There it is,
from
2006.
It says 2006 cents, super solid run.
Hey.
We actually got a $50 donation from Austin.
Yeah, if I was a speedrunner like him, though, I'd be more cocky. I'd be like, only solid run? Are you seeing what the fuck I'm doing right now?
Oh.
So excited.
Have
for
you
the
played this
DuckTales
game?
run, and I got to donate to see that good ending.
I'm not dead.
wanna
I'm assuming it will take more time to run, and the more DuckTales we see, the better. Big props to everyone behind the scenes and all the runners for a great SGDQ. And of course, shoutouts to DSStat.
Of course, you just have enough time to just get over there.
So with good flight manipulation, you
Yeah.
can get all the way over here. I didn't get capped, so that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a bit easier than the first one since you have since you have the time to get up to that hut.
There you go.
Hillary Clinton donates
So now coming up, we have
$5.
trials for
Pokemon
someone
go to the
not mistaken.
polls.
Yeah, Sonic Dash to the
Three
polls.
trials. There's supposed to be the trial of intelligence,
We got this.
the trial of courage, and the trial of love.
Oh, I
Now,
hated these trials.
If you pass all three trials, you get to go into Kingdom Valley and proceed to beat the game. But it's actually, we're going to pass the trial of intelligence by outsmarting the game. We're going to pass the trial of courage, like really, really quickly with a lot of courage. And then the trial of love, we're going to pick Elise. So, Elise is faster. Come on.
It's wrong, dude. It's right. They ain't right.
I swear,
yeah,
I
that's
remember
actually
the game
first
yelling
person
at
to
me
start
for
picking
picking
Elise in
Amy
runs, and because
back
Elise
in
is faster.
2007.
Actually,
I
grabbed
swear, or 2008
I
or 9
picked
when
Amy
played it.
because she's
That,
Great.
she's
and
a day
then-
one.
Anyway,
She's
so
been there
while
since
you're
day one,
reading
you
your
know?
first gyms,
Yeah.
This is where things start to get a little wonky.
Oh my
In
god.
this case, we start off with
Just
the
fly through that
legend
menu.
gym. You use the D-pad to select them. The
Wait,
red
did they
gym
just
will
select
kinda
in a
do mock
menu?
speed, pseudo-
I
yeah,
think
pseudo
this
mock
is
speed
no
to
menu
kind of
select.
control.
it slows everything down, but
yeah.
including the IL timer.
They're cheating.
We're talking about the red gym?
Yeah, the red gem. I thought. Oh, you were talking about blue. Never mind.
No, it's-
I'm sorry.
No, okay. Yeah, the blue gym will have you.
I'm
run
more
at
impressed that
certain
he's
mock
able to
speed,
talk and like
speed.
have
The
a
red gym will
you
slow
know
down everything. and yeah, it's
deeper,
really
not deeper
interesting.
conversation,
Yeah.
but just like thoughtful
And the
conversations,
green gym gives Sonic
I think it's
and
just
not
how-
just like yes or no.
And,
But he's just like it's so much muscle memory. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
And I bet just the vibe of the community for this particular game is this game sucks. Like, it's not like they're playing like Zelda or something that's like always this competitive, dedicated thing.
So this is the final spring of the level, and with a well-timed bounce raise. Yeah. there
Oh
we go.
my god.
And the goal ring's right here.
You know how long it took me to
So-
figure this fucking thing out? All I had to do is just hit the one spring.
So how many gems are there in the game?
6. Is that right?
6, maybe.
Yeah.
We only get 4 in this run.
do
and
any of them
in
do the
ILs,
last
we
level though?
sometimes
The
use
last
one.
level?
I don't think so if it's
The
just a
fourth one is
single.
the Sky Gem, which is
So we're not seeing that last level.
incredibly
That's the
broken.
really
Damn.
The fifth one is the Purple Gem, which is incredibly broken.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, we don't get them as early as now, so
Right.
we're stuck with the semi-broken blue and red gem. Also, the meter that's supposed to go down when you use
Yeah.
the gems on the bottom right corner never does, so you can use them infinitely.
Yeah, the purple one's probably most infamous for that because you can just jump infinitely. It kind of turns Sonic really small, and he just jumps at a fixed height, and you can just kind of jump across everything.
You're only supposed to jump like as far as the meter goes, but it never runs out, so you just jump infinitely. So this is actually really like a scary level for most people because you have 0 rings, and if you die, you lose like minutes because not only do you have to like feel the pain of you dying, you have to watch a loading
Which I did
screen,
a lot.
wait for the dude that gave you the mission to tell you that you died and you're terrible, go back to the main screen, accept the mission again, wait for a loading screen, wait for the dude to tell you about this mission, then wait for another loading screen, and then enter
Yeah.
the mission again. And so all of that time adds up to about 2 minutes, plus however far you were into the stage.
Oh my
It's-
god.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. For most of this mission, he's basically just gonna be holding the red gem for a lot of it. That's the tornado gem.
I've never
Moving
actually
on
seen the
ground
tornado
takes
jump.
A lot of time and will
Yeah,
cost
I
Sonic
didn't
to be
use
stuck
them
in the
until
same
after I
position.
beat the game, and I'm like,
way
it says
too
there's
long.
gems
And
in
so,
Sonic's
yeah, so
thing. I
yeah,
should
that-
probably
that's
check
the
those
same.
out.
But if you do the tornado gem in the air, he actually recovers very quickly, and the tornado will stay.
No, I was just homing attacking everything and
That's
hoping
actually
for the
the only
best.
time you see the tornado.
That was my strat.
I know you can just slowly slide in them all.
We pretty much routed every other usage,
Yeah.
but I keep it in just because menuing. And to change gems, you use the D-pad on the Xbox 360 controller instead of all the other buttons that weren't mapped to, like B or Y. But God forbid, the D-pad and then right trigger, which is fantastic. That's the greatest control scheme.
The 360
Just a
D-pad
reminder,
sucks.
Again, they spin that.
It's like this
I
weird
hate
like
this game. It sounds like, but
So why
they
enjoy
clearly
it?
spent a lot of time
They don't do
playing
anything.
it.
There's some more buttons there.
It's so pretty.
So here's the trial of love, and everyone's gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna pick Elise. I'm sorry.
You
Gotta go fast.
disgusting.
It's like the kill the animals versus save the animals thing. You gotta go fast. You gotta.
Damn, there must have been a speedrun before where they killed animals or
Well,
something.
not, I
Super
actually did
Metroid
run
is
this IL
probably,
for, like,
I would say, one of the most
7, 8
famous
hours,
speedrunning
and
games,
the
and
entire
there is
level just, like, aim
a
your Elise, no matter
secret
which one you pick,
room
you
that you
win,
can
you win
find
strength.
that has these
but this
friendly
gun
alien
level,
creatures.
just
As the whole
go
place
here,
is
right?
blowing up in your countdown
load.
timer, you can go out of your way to save the creatures that help you
That's it.
teach you something in the game.
And I
it's
grinded
not
that for
necessary
like hours for
to beat
individual
the
level
game.
record. And I have a really
So,
solid record in that.
One of the voting things, people donation
it's like
voting
really
things to save
optimized.
the animals or kill the animals for whatever the Super Metroid run is, because there's always a Super
Gotcha.
Metroid run.
I don't know what you're clapping for. I just talked to a guy.
That sounds absolutely insane, but the more that you get to know Triple, the more that you know
It
that
really
he
is.
spends so
I'm,
much
like, not even
ridiculous
kidding.
time.
All right. Time to go to Kingdom Valley, which is one of the harder stages in the run because there's
Really?
just
You
so
think?
much that you can die on over the.
Do,
4
do speedrunners
stages.
play like games normally?
So,
I'm sure for the
That's the
first
other question I
time.
have.
so we're gonna change to Blue Gem. On the way
Are they like
back.
immediately as soon as they get the
And
they're
Till's
booting
been
up the end,
hanging out
like,
here
okay,
the
I'm gonna
whole
look for all the
All right,
glitches.
you
know
jump
what I
into
mean?
that
Just
wall.
went up
I'll
there
jump
and
into this
watched
wall.
Sonic.
Yeah,
Just
right,
try
right.
to, yeah.
Break it, yeah.
So this is beginning section.
Can we do a Call of Duty
and,
speedrun?
yeah.
That
One of
might
these
actually
days.
be
So
fun.
Jump up,
Oh, yeah, this
jump,
is-
jump around. it.
Specifically, like the more goofier ones,
Like
like
I said, I forget, I just take these for granted.
Black
We're
Ops,
supposed to go
like where you
forward.
kill Fidel Castro
At
and
the
shit.
beginning, We can
Okay.
just jump off here.
Speed run to Reagan.
And there we
There
go.
you go.
Speedrun terrain.
Green ball. There we go. So the first checkpoint is up here.
There's a lot of collision surfaces that Sonic can kind of get hung up on, like
That's
that,
where I
like,
died a lot
the
right
middle
here.
of the town and a lot
Trying to
of
go
stuff.
quick because I've done it
That-
like
that's
500
one of the
times.
Shadow, like even just with movement and that kind of stuff and partners.
Didn't know
moving
about
around,
this
you
at
can-
all.
You can get stuck on
Yeah,
the anything.
I try to go that way more often. It's just
And right
really
here,
tough to
you might
do
think
it
that
because
Blue
you
Gem is probably a
like they
really
were
good
saying
gem
there's
to
so much
have because it
collision.
gives you like a burst of speed and you can use it infinitely. But it's surprisingly not as effective as Spin Dash because you're not invincible when you Blue Gem and you bonk on everything. Because the collision in this game is very generous, and so at any point, if you even graze any sort of surface whatsoever, you bonk.
Yeah.
So, sadly, we can't use the Blue Gem to as much as we would.
Yeah.
but-
It doesn't help that the left or right control is very. It's. If you guys have played this game before, you already know how tight the controls can be, and that just makes it even more
Right.
precise, just incredibly precise.
I think
Coming up
this
here
is the
actually
Blue
a
Gem
really big
automatically
skip,
put you
but it
into the
doesn't
Mach
look as big
hyper
as it is.
speed.
You can-
Yeah. So
I remember
right here,
correctly
I think
from when I
so.
did it,
supposed to play
so
silver because why would I want to play Sonic in Sonic Story? And so there's this section right here. He's gonna you can actually jump off the eagle at any point. He's gonna go along this wall, and yeah, so like down below him is where you would normally play silver, but we're just gonna be kind of conveniently going
Perfect.
across all of it.
And luckily, we can make all these jumps because these random bits of
Yeah, what's funny is I
Works out really well.
realized you could
Normally, like, in
skip
this section,
silver, and I did
silver,
try to do it, but I
drops
couldn't
down
get
to, like,
very
planes and
far.
all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff, but
Obviously,
have 'em
nowhere
in
close to
color.
this,
Just
but
jump
like
right here,
I was able to
and
get
it's
to like the
like
first
insert
platform, but then I
so,
just
like,
couldn't.
Yo, check it!
I
It's
see.
Sonic
He
over
is.
there. All right.
Oh, he saw
You
Sonic
saw
over
that
there.
really quick. I didn't know if I had enough time to show that, but like there was Sonic back there.
Yeah, you'll see the model kind of
So
standing.
because
over
we
there.
skipped silver, we took Sonic and we transferred him to Sonic over there. So then there's. Two
I know
Sonics.
I said this in the episode, but I
Sonic
accidentally
back there.
skipped
He, like, moved
a
bodies.
Rouge section as
That's
Shadow.
my original character.
I wonder if
Oh,
Shadow
yeah, I
would have
remember
been
that,
over
yeah.
there. Yeah. I'm sure we'll
This is
see
the next
that in
section,
the Shadow
pretty,
run.
pretty straightforward overall. This
Yeah.
This is one of the sections that you would see, or from a lot of runners.
Or maybe not. Maybe Rouge is just
You see this
faster
one
because she can
agent pretty
climb up
accurately
and
because
fly
there's
around.
That are kind of surrounded by enemies, and it's a good way to take a lot of them out.
Oh no, wait, we don't have to fight the
You
enemies
don't have
at
to
all.
do
I
that.
mean, you
So
know,
just, click
Rouge
through
is the best
click
character,
through
so
all
they
the
should
stuff
just
and
play
That was
as her the
actually
whole
a recent
time.
development. We
They
never
should.
realized you could
that-
just spin that,
uh-huh.
but-
Sonic Adventure
So
Rouge.
while,
That's
and
what
it's
they
something
should
similar
call
that
the
you
third
can see in
game.
Shadow, where
Rouge
if,
Adventure.
kind of like with the building clips that we did early on in the run, where if you homing attack just as you're landing and get that one frame, as you're running on the ground, you'll be able to clip through the wall. The problem is that because you have that speed momentum and it's so fast, you have to be able to jump immediately after, or else you're going to fall straight into the water. So the nice thing about that is that you don't have to really deal with that. It's a little bit slower, so you can react to it, and it's just a lot easier to control. So it's way safer.
And it's literally free.
It's very it's very easy.
That's nice, and it just feels fast,
Mhm.
like skipping all those enemies.
Yeah.
So. Also, we can do a cinematic camera angle here, so I'm gonna show you guys the nice view. Hey. Also, if you
Sick.
mash LT, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh. That's never happened before.
What?
That's the GDQ counter. Wow. Dude, nice.
Even
Holy
the
crap,
most
am I dead? Do I have to
glitchiest,
start over?
buggiest game of
What?
all time can still surprise people.
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
No way. All right.
I thought you were joking for a good
No,
20
no, I'm
seconds.
dead serious.
Oh,
At least we can
man.
just start from this
Dude.
section. We don't have to start the whole stage over, but
To think, this was a really good run until that. Man.
Damn, so they straight up found a new glitch.
Everyone gets one.
He's just stuck in a
called
homing
it
attack
so hard
animation
in
the whole
practice room,
time.
I said,
Yeah.
there's
They
always
thought
something
I like
that
how they're like,
happens with Sonic
oh,
06, right?
we thought you were fucking
Never
with
seen
us.
before, and it's
Like,
gonna happen on the big stage.
It was
I
legit.
could not have asked for something better than that. that has never. What?
I just thought you found something and didn't tell me.
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were
Like
just
I thought
messing
I
around.
was letting it rock
No,
for a
I was-
while.
Well, all right, sweet.
That was fantastic.
but now, like, how do you like remember how to
That's
replicate
what
that?
happens
You know what I
when you
mean?
get
Like,
someone
how
out
could
of
you even
angles,
find
they're
that?
just like, no, no, no.
If you're gonna lose time, that's a pretty swag way to do it. Let's be honest.
Honestly, yeah.
A little late to the party, but I'll say I didn't expect this. The 360 has more bugs than the PS3, so it makes sense. It has more surprises. I mean, yeah, they're playing the 360 version. Ethan and I both played the PlayStation 3
Yeah, I wanna
version,
find something
Yeah.
that
and
I
we'll,
haven't seen.
this
So
looks a lot
the
smoother
meme in the
to the
06
point where we
is that
believe that they
TSS has
cracked
been
it in
playing
some
this
way.
game for like 7 years since its release, and he's been glitching.
Or at
like,
least
you
fix
can
the
go on his
frames
YouTube
in
channel
some
and find videos of, like,
capacity.
Knuckle Skip from, like,
But he
2008.
keeps talking about how there's
It's
lag
like
and
first
stuff,
person.
so I don't know.
It's probably just the raw
So he is
360 version,
glitch hunted
but
so much into this game. Almost
we're
every
just
single
used to
trick is
having
found
the
by that
game
man,
run at
right?
6 frames a second.
And so whenever we think we found
And the game
something
just
new,
also
right?
being
like we found a
terrible.
new clip, we found a new glitch.
Doesn't help.
We asked Darkspine Sonic, we're like, hey, yo, have you seen this before? And he's like, oh, yeah, of course. And so we have never, I think, we have never found like a big glitch that he's never seen before. So
You're the
I
PS3
hope
version.
that was it.
God bless
I've never
you.
seen anything like that, but if we can stump the man himself. Also, there's a really cool clip behind here because everything is solid behind this wall. So let's see. There we go. Yeah. So you
God.
can-
Oh,
fucking
and just
damn
into
it,
the loading
Now we're
screen.
going to the third.
Fourth.
I'm sorry, fourth.
God damn it.
Mach speed
No, this
section.
knows that this
Yeah,
is
that'd be
clearly
good
the
one.
best way to play it. Someone
think
else
that there's-
plays it,
It's kinda
and they win
Yeah,
it.
you
They beat
watch
the
it,
game in an
yeah.
hour.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not too
And I get the
bad. Again,
full-
once again, just abusing the,
Fuck this
the
one.
control
This is the
range
one I
to
hated the
make
most.
it
I did this
like
first
that.
try, and I understand that's bullshit, but
And we're actually going to do.
I realized I was
just
jumping
go
too
ahead and
much
go around the
half
wall
the
and
time.
Save a little bit of time.
I swear, if this run would have been like a sub 1, and then I got that weird soft lock thing. What a good way to go out.
I mean, this run is what?
So yeah, even though Sonic dies in water in every other stage, you can
1 minute and
Almost
5
a
seconds
minute
over an
over,
hour,
yeah.
run
so
on water.
it would have been
Perpendicular to,
close. I don't think he lost a minute
Perpendicular
there.
gravity.
but-
The waterfall's going up. It's great.
Well, it's like, like
That's pretty much.
If
it.
you know, in track and
Once the
shit,
blocks go to the end,
sprinting, it's like
Kingdom Valley.
they obsess over like the points of seconds. You know what I mean? That like, oh, if I just stepped, if my form was just a little bit better at this point during my
You heard the
sprint,
music playing before. don't
I
know if
probably
it was,
would
like,
have
on the speakers, but there's, like,
done
the
0.03
pause music and,
seconds
like, the
better.
screens,
Right.
like,
You just
the-
obsess
the
over that
text will
shit.
ask me back, they're like, is this the music from the game?
And it's like
It's
half like the,
It's so out of place.
with this,
It's
they
so
probably,
weird.
it's all about repetition, knowing how to like be as consistent as possible.
Yep.
There's no way I would ever
Go
try
to
to
the
fucking
last stage of the
speedrun.
game,
No
we're
way.
already at the
I
end.
never
I'm
plan on
already
playing this game
aggravated.
again.
But first we have to redo those
I mean, just like I don't have the
bells,
patience to be like,
make the game
getting
move off the
consistent.
robotic base, so we're gonna do that. And
does
the way
anyone
to move around to hit the bells is you have
speedrun
to use the
Counter
bridge
Strike?
Or you don't have
Like
to
to global
it's fast.
elite? Like how
But
fast
the
do you have to
problem
play?
is you bonk
Oh,
on everything,
multiplayer?
like
I don't
said
think-
before.
That'd be
I
hard
honestly,
to
like,
replicate.
You make a fresh new account. You gotta win 10 games, and you have to like from there. I want to know like how good you have to be to get like highest rank possible after 10 wins,
Bonkless is a big goal.
and then you have to grind your way up to global elite. I want to see
Oh, well,
a speedrun of that.
So,
You know what I'm
thanks,
talking about?
jerk.
Definitely would take
Yeah, we gotta
days.
remember that.
It's still probably.
That's more or less the idea and stuff. I don't know.
Or is
exactly what the
CS:GO's
timing is for them.
matchmaking algorithm that good that they're like, yup, we know this guy's global elite.
But yeah, yeah, it's pretty easy to get to them in time. And then after the second one, Trip is going to go ahead and go by the Sky Gym. Now this gym is awesome.
Yes.
So
Can't
the
wait.
Sky,
Sky
Gym, 'cause they were
Gym?
like, let's give Sonic a, I guess like a magical grappling hook thing,
It's magical.
and
right?
and it's pretty magical. We're going to be breaking a lot of stuff. So this gym is.
Oh,
like,
Sky Gem. I
so
thought you
you're
meant
gonna
Sky
see it in the moment. He's
Gym.
gonna go up to the side.
Hi there.
What a jerk! He's gonna go up here and to this bell, He looked at you too. He knew.
He knew exactly
so
where he was.
He's gonna hold and charge this, throw this gym, and I think he threw.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was a little.
I'm
too
dead.
low.
That's
so-
what the Sky Gem does, if you're
That's
wondering.
what Sky Gym does. So the idea is that you sort
Oh.
of. Actually, do you have to do the bells again? Or no, you're
No,
fine.
I don't.
How did he not have a loading screen
I
there?
actually did this in World
When he
War II,
died.
sadly.
Oh.
I feel like he oh no, that's right. If you fall in the water, it teleports
So
you.
you
But
throw the
still,
gem,
like,
and wherever it lands, Sonic is kind of teleported to that.
And you
more
are
or less.
teleported very fast.
It's quite fast, and we're gonna be using that to like clip through doors and all sorts of stuff. So this whole level gets really.
This
nice.
is the most broken stage in the run,
Yeah.
and you will.
shocking.
So, this is the stage.
Shocking
where
as it seems that like as the game goes on, the more broken it becomes. It's almost like
How it was
they
developed.
couldn't finish. Yeah, they couldn't finish the other levels at a decent. Put the same effort,
Yeah, so
not
in-
effort, but
in
same amount of
this
time
stage,
into each one.
This is where a lot of like kind of the gym switching comes into play. Where
It's like when you have to write a really long
you're
essay,
trying
right?
to use these
Your
like
first
little
4
things
pages are
and
probably
it's
not
kinda-
too
it's a really
bad, and then
nice ending
starts
stage
to
both in the
trail
tutorial
off
as,
after
the techniques that you learn
at the
throughout
last couple
run, they all
pages.
come
You're
into
just trying to
use here while throwing
get it
this-
done.
this
Yeah.
big, hurdle of the Sky Gym and how you use that.
That's how my
to-
senior
it's-
thesis
Exactly.
was.
It tests your
My
gym
24-page
memory,
senior
unlike all the other
thesis in
stages.
college.
in
Just
general-
like
in general movement,
after
the
last 5
all,
pages
like,
are
all
just
these tunnels,
buffer
it's
to
very-
get to the
that
page
movement is very difficult.
requirement.
All those little things that are kind of jutting out between the two Sonic can collide on. You'll see, it's never really a clean move. It's always kind of like going left and right. It's kind of awkward to
All right,
control.
here's what the Sky Gem can do.
Yeah.
All right, now we out of bounds.
So we're in between
What
these
the
walls.
fuck?
We're gonna throw it over here.
And we teleport to. Now we're in Shadow
now we're in
section.
Shadow section.
All
so.
right. And then we can clip through this door because we can clip through literally every single door with the Sky Gem. Oh,
there
we go. And now we're in Tails' section, and this is the door that unlocks after you switch back to Sonic. Now we're in Sonic section.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It throws. Never mind.
Oh.
But yeah, this is
Oh.
the Sky Gem in a nutshell. There we go.
So pretty
Crazy.
convenient.
Crazy.
It's
So
a half.
we're gonna show off a little bit more of what the Sky Gem can do after the run, if we have time, and along with the box, which I hope you haven't forgot about.
The box.
The
And wall,
box.
do the wall too.
Yeah, that's the Sky Gem thing. But yeah, if you throw the Sky Gem right at a wall, you go right up. And if you throw it really high above you and you're directly under it, you go right up very fast. And I'm going to use that to my advantage later on when we have to climb lots of vertical distances. But pretty much every opportunity.
Yeah, he only has a
Sky
couple
Gem, you
minutes
should,
left
'cause
to
Right.
beat to get to the thing. So I'm like,
across big
it's kind of
tiles.
funny to see like we know the time
Look at
before
these gate
going
cycles
in
and
that he's
Right.
gonna
it's like back
get.
to what Dax was saying with
Makes it a
the
little actually more exciting.
just the gate cycles. I'm just playing it
Yeah.
safe here.
Must mean the
Miss
final
gate
boss
cycles,
is
you
a
get
minute.
Destroyed.
Yeah,
all of the robots, they all start firing.
Maybe
their
less.
rockets. All
I-
of the
I
robots
know
that
that there's
you
a
can't make
skip
through gate
for
cycles,
it,
and it's just a bad
but-
time.
And in general, like once a lot of those particle effects start going on, the game will start to.
Oh, it slows
shove.
down.
The slowdown is
It's
immense,
awful.
and coupled with Sonic's, I mean, he moves so fast, but he cannot get up for more than an hour.
Oh my
And
god.
he just lays there for a while, and it just drags. It's very painful, especially in again, we don't use any in-game timer unless it's doing an IL, so for RTA, it's a pain.
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Do you time out loads? How? No.
I mean,
I
I
wish.
wish.
That would be
I
sick.
can send someone recordings, and he can do it for me. I mean, if he wants to do that. Oh, there are dolphins over there.
Yeah. Oh, there's the dolphins. Okay.
I wonder if those are even visible
yeah,
at any
this
point in
game
the game.
isn't as easy as just adding up the in-game timers from the levels, just
Yeah.
because there is all the in-between sections.
And there's like little like aquarium looking sections there.
Right.
But
It'll never happen, but I want.
So this gate cycle's actually pretty
Final
hard.
Boss of Sonic is my favorite skip.
There we go.
Fine.
Yeah, we'll see if he does it.
Nice.
Yep, and this is the end of the stage. All right, so the final boss. All right, the final boss of Sonic 06 is probably the coolest trick in the entire game. So
Don't blink.
I don't even. We're not going to explain anything. You just got to see this straight up.
Okay, I'm not gonna
without
blink.
Any sort of explanation and just experience.
Don't blink, he
it.
said.
It's such a great strat. So yeah, don't blink. Get ready on time as well. It's
This will change
faster
your
than
life.
you think.
My, just like opened my eyes too much, and my eyes are dried out immediately because it's
So this is actually, I think this is the
So
fastest
dry here.
quick kill in the entire Sonic franchise. I'm not sure. Like faster than the team fights in Sonic Colors or Sonic Heroes.
Yeah.
there you go.
Not
I
sure.
want to see it.
Hopefully I can hit it first try.
I love if that was it somehow.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You press X
You
during
blinked.
the minute of the cutscene and you win.
We good? Ah, damn. Damn, I missed it. All right. Here we go. This is what's supposed to happen. And time.
What?
I don't even understand what that was. Just flies out and then it's over.
There must be like some sort of like Finnish
Yeah.
like invisible thing, right? That like maybe
Huh.
moves as the level progresses, and you're not supposed to like
Nice.
get
Nice.
to
That's
it, but they need to
so
put it
nice.
somewhere.
That was the world record.
They're doing some sort of box thing at the end of this. We could
Nice.
continue
Without
watching the
that,
rest of
that
this
soft
video.
lock
It's like
thing,
a couple
that
more
would've been
minutes.
so fun.
It's
That's
like
fine, yeah.
8. It's like 2 minutes or
All
something.
right, so I've been teasing
That's
the whole
fine.
box thing for a long time, and might as well reward all of your patience. Do we have time to go back to the main place? Really quick. They say no. Oh.
They said no, and now it's all quiet. That's so awkward. That is so awkward.
So I guess
I'd be like, boo.
Yeah.
it would take like 30 seconds, less than a minute.
We don't have time for that. Sorry.
I mean, they were underestimates, so I feel like that's only fair.
Please.
Yeah, they kind of put them in an awkward position.
While you're asking,
Yeah,
it's
got it,
already
alright,
been
cool.
30 seconds. I would have just
Fantastic.
fucking executive decision. Did
I'm
it?
sorry I put you guys through that. I didn't realize we wouldn't have time. But so I'm gonna go load up a save so I can go to the main town. And since the Havoc physics engine is so beautiful, you know what? I'm not even gonna explain anything.
Just do it.
Exactly. We have to go into New City because we have to do it on that box. So
Yeah, like it took them longer to reply in that 30 seconds to tell them yes or no. Like I would have just did it.
Yeah.
The Sky Gym
see.
launches you off the grab, and it just bugs out and clears the level. Yeah, I'm just wondering. There's got to be like a physical thing that you're
we're gonna go
hitting
into New City 'cause
that ends the level that maybe only appears at a certain point.
The suspense is building. What could this box have in store?
It's just going to be some stupid box that doesn't open or
A
something.
drum roll. Oh boy. Wow.
Maybe it's full assault, and that's why there's no MSG, you know?
Yeah.
Box back here.
It's a salt box.
And it's a very unassuming box. But hidden has very magical power. So we stand on the right spot. A spin kick in a specific way. There we go. My planet needs me. So you can do this infinitely and gain infinite height. And we can enter space. Here it goes. Exiting the atmosphere. Escape velocity. And
so
we're out of there.
I hope they put that in the game for fun and hoping people would
go.
find
That's
it, but
not like a
like I don't get why else it would happen.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
All right.
Amazing.
That is
Thank
the
you so
Sonic
much.
run there. Pause that video.
Hell yeah. That yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Not in a bad way. I'm not saying it was bad, but just like that's kind of what I was expecting. And there was enough bullshit that was like cool. I was curious to see how much actual like clipping and shit that was happening. But really, it's not as much. But it's kind of right where the ballpark I was thinking. But I could, based off the world record of like a minute and whatnot, and there's got to be some crazier shit. But
Yeah.
all right,
yeah.
so we're doing the second one.
Yep, the Silver Run, which is the same thing, no menu select glitch. I like no MSG for salt, but you know. We'll count down, we'll press play at the same time.
And this was January 14th, 2020. So this is before,
Before
all
COVID.
the people
So
sitting
they're
in that,
still,
in that room.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh. That's
Yeah,
right.
no idea.
Sometimes I think of it as like when COVID started, that's when it existed. That's just when we did things about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No, 'cause
there
I
could have been
remember-
people in here that could have had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they have no idea. I remember it was like early December, like reading about like, oh, like China's like shutting down some of their like grocery stores and whatnot, if I remember correctly. But then also one of my cousins is in Portland. So on the West Coast.
Right.
She went to like the doctor multiple times for ammonia or bronchitis, whatever. And like they said, like they kept giving her medicine, it wasn't working. And like in hindsight, they're like, you might have had COVID before they could test for COVID.
Right.
And being on the West Coast, a lot of flights from China come from obviously that direction. So
right.
it's like,
Huh.
damn, that's crazy. And this was like early January.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna hit play on the clap. 3,
Yep.
2, 1, play.
Joy of gaming and consequently helped me get my future job. The pain of losing my dad still hurts greatly, and I hope the cure for cancer gets found soon, so no one has to go through the same pain
I thought they were doing like a
did.
weird
Much love to you all.
I have no dad joke, but no, that's
Thank you
sad.
so much, friend.
Damn. Way
Yeah.
to start off.
Hey,
But
I
good
asked
God.
this once before, but are you all ready for some garbage?
Damn.
That's what I
it's
say
gotta,
whenever I go
We
and start
have
play this
Sonic
game.
the Hedgehog
God.
2006 with
it's gotta
focus on
hurt though.
Give It
Like
Up,
for the people who
friends.
made that game, they hear that kind of shit. It's like
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Focus. I've been
Oh,
running
it's
this game for 7
Robotnik.
years, as previously mentioned.
well, I wonder if that's
and
on
today we're gonna be
Instagram with
doing
our
Silver
with
Story,
our
no
account.
Select Glitch or no MSG.
Yeah.
We'll introduce everyone on the couch first. We have 3 commentators. There are
I,
5
we
people on the
follow
couch,
this
though. We
one
have
guy
Liam,
who
Turbo
like
Agent
he
over
does
here.
a
He
bunch
ran
of like
SGQ 2016, and we
he like
have
dresses
Diamond
up as
over here. He
Eggman and
ran,
does
Sonic
random
Colors
shit.
DS at
or goes a lot of
one of the
conventions,
other-
but
one of the
also
other
like goes
DGs.
out in
I don't
public.
really
I
know.
wonder if that's the
So on the
Interesting.
couch, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves really quick, you
looks
can go
like
ahead.
him.
Darkspine Sonic.
I'm Critical Sid.
And I'm Wake.
Yeah, all these are well-versed in Silver Story.
The guy on the
but,
far right,
we'll
the guy
see
that
to-
played
today how
the
well we
last
do.
run?
So,
Well versed and well rusty.
yes, exactly. So with that,
Couple years later,
why don't we have
maybe.
a countdown.
Before, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
They said their names, but I
1.
missed it.
Oh yeah.
Is it saying
So first thing you get, of course, is load.
couch
screens.
commentary is
Yeah,
provided
don't
by
worry.
Darkspine Sonic,
The first thing I want to talk
Blake,
about is
and
actually
Critical Sid? No, they're not.
a trick called
But
teleslinging.
wasn't
Teleslinging
Darkspine Sonic
involves
mentioned,
object
I think, in the
Yeah, he
last
was
one?
mentioned.
Silver has 2 ways of picking up or interacting with objects.
Hey, they said
One
3 names. There's
is
5
to
people
hold
back
RT
there.
from far away.
He's just
I
back there for
call
support.
that grabbing. The other is to press RT.
If you pay for a VIP
So for
ticket,
instance,
you
here,
can
we
sit on the
lift an
couch.
object, but we can also, while on an object, we can grab it as if it were from afar.
Yeah, why does
That
this look
allows-
already
that
so
allows
much
us to
better?
do something pretty neat.
Just like the animation of him
if I can
grabbing
do this
something just
properly,
looks so much better.
Basically, what happens here is Silver, the object always is pushed a certain distance away and above
Holy
from Silver.
shit! Now this,
So what
hell
happens
yeah!
is, the game just constantly keeps you going while you're on it. And because of that, we can beat that section that's normally like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, in less than 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
That's basically what you're going to get with those 6. Lots of load screens and lots of shortcuts.
Yeah, this is very much a.
Gives you time to relax. I've done calc homework in the middle of Sonic 06 runs. So now we have Blaze, the second play style in Silver's story. Blaze is the fastest in terms of base movement speed, nice. Everyone excited for Blaze. So we get our first frame perfect trick
Yeah, I was like,
here.
are people
If we
cheering
can
for
get it,
Blaze
let's
in the
see.
background?
Oh, shut up. You like
the first
rouged
trick
up
is called the
that.
AFC, although
Yeah,
it
'cause
should
he's
be called
cooler,
the ASC,
dude.
Because no one read the manual back in 2007 when DSS was around. Love you, DSS. The
Every
advanced
Sonic
fire
fuck
call
has a
AFC
fan.
Involves a, it is this trick.
Well, that was pretty perfect.
Damn.
That was frame perfect, by the way. So basically, there's a move called
How do
the
how do
spinning
they
claw.
know
And
it's
the
frame
spinning
perfect?
claw
Though? Like
is
you're
this
talking
move where
about
you
like,
hold X and then release X's blade.
like how do you know?
There are 2 forms
Hey,
of
just
it. One that's
practice a
airborne
bunch.
and one that's done on the ground. The ground one retains your ground speed but doesn't last as long. The air one has a longer duration but doesn't maintain your ground
I
speed.
need to lower the volume of the
Frame, you let
video
go of X
so that
before you
people
press
can
A,
hear you.
Where you can maintain your ground speed.
Yeah, I
and
did put it
duration of
down
the
too
air,
on my end.
spinning
Just a
claw.
little,
So really, it should be called an ASC, but we call it an ASC.
a little loud.
You know, we all love misnomers. Now, what I've done here is I've actually frame buffered an input on the previous screen. I pressed X while going into the section and let go on the loading screen. That buffers an input on the first frame when you enter into the next section. And what that does is it allows us to skip the automation, the automated fall as Blaze, and allows us to skip Silver's section as Blaze. So Blaze has a faster walking speed than Silver, so this is much faster than actually playing as Silver here.
Wow.
Once again, how do you figure this shit out? Like, what? I don't
You
understand.
just play a broken game like a shit ton. I feel like something like that would have been like an accident they would have found.
That is
You know?
definitely true.
We're still like, wait, why am I Blaze here? And then they just try to figure it out, you know?
There's
What
also
did you
been a lot
do?
of load screens, yet somehow there's too much time for. There is a lot of time to describe things, yet not a lot of time to read donations. Don't ask me why.
Because there's a lot of stuff to explain.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. That was the first stage of the run, and there was all that in just 3 sections.
I just thought of an idea
So now we have
for like a, I don't know if it's like a skit or like a movie, but you know how he was just saying like, oh, we need time to explain in between, but we don't have time for donations. I want a speedrunner who like sees his work as fucking art
because that makes sense.
So like he's like no one fucking says a word. Like you just sit in silence. The game is on mute, and it's just if someone coughs or something, like he gets pissed off because it fucks up his like.
He just
he pauses it quicker than you could like. His hand doesn't even move; it just pauses somehow. He's that quick. He's like, who fucking coughed? That'd be fucking hilarious.
You don't want objects destroying other objects. By the way, we call these Cocoa Puffs. I want to mention this very importantly. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the best RNG right there, so this isn't.
And like, yeah, the commentators maybe are like in a separate room, like whispering, like, and they doing golf. They don't wanna.
So we're just gonna wait for Iblis to do some weird
You
stuff.
see
I
here,
don't
he's
actually know
trying
at this
to
point.
throw the rocks.
completely forgot this fight.
Why don't we have a donation read if that's okay? Let's
He looks like Orga from Godzilla.
If there are any donations.
It's a Godzilla reference for you. The main villain in
looks like lava.
Godzilla 2000.
All right, so the host is currently
His head mostly looks like him.
I see. Okay, well that makes me feel much better. So
Yeah,
currently,
no.
this is actually not a great cycle for Iblis 1, to be honest. But Iblis 1 is kind of unpredictable, to be honest.
I can make up some donations. if
She's
you want.
unpredictable.
Why not?
Wow.
Greetings from Germany. Let's kick cancer in the butt. And good luck on the run. That's from
And
Al.
there we go. Woo! Still, we recovered it, but yeah,
Wait,
that was a bit rough.
Ethan, it says
And
Magfest
Iblis. Iblis is always rough.
Yeah.
on the left side there.
Demon Lord.
Pretty much.
Is that like an op for MAGA?
No, it's a Maryland something fest. It's in Maryland. It's a
Oh,
gaming convention.
I thought it was like MAGA Fest that they're trying to like
This is
sneak it in.
2020 January. This is prime. Stop the steal back our country. You know,
It can lead to
Nonsense.
you actually destroying everything you have in your grasp. If you have like an explosive object and you decide to throw it because it's the first thing you picked up, and then you lose 8 hits worth of stuff. So it's very important you actually manage things properly. I was also trying for a slightly harder strat there, which is probably why it had.
It's important you manage things properly in this terrible video game.
So yeah, okay, this is great because this.
You
is
don't
one
want to
section
fuck
that I
up
wanted
the
to do
terrible
donations.
video game.
That's all right. I'll let you know when she's back.
Well, I can actually just talk
Right.
at the moment. So Silver currently, his fastest method of movement at this point really is walking. Except hovering without stopping is actually faster. So if you hover and then hover onto a section where, for instance, you immediately start running again, it's actually faster. But yeah, let's start. You here?
Low key, that instrument, I think it sounds like a flute or whatever wind instrument it is. Doing the whoop whoop whoop. That shit kind of was toxic to me after a while when I'm like wandering trying to find out where the fuck I'm supposed to go, and I was like, shut up, please.
You just you're just slowly counting. I've heard this 10 times. It's looped.
Yeah, I've heard this loop
I've been
at least
stuck
30
here
times.
for this long.
This is the first instance of something a bit atypical for
Huh?
someone who's played 06, so we're not supposed to do this. The stun slap move, which is done by pressing X, has some really weird properties. There are some really strange properties, mainly with momentum conservation. So, no matter what the action is, basically, if you actually first, I actually do not know why we can skip on water like that, but I believe it's because it reverses the momentum, which is great.
It's based off of your jump height.
Ah, there we go. So, noting that the stun slap is very useful, we actually are going to do something slightly different than what's done before at AGDQ 2013. Instead of skipping on the waters more, we actually can use this to hover. Hovering over without stopping is indeed faster than skipping. And from here, I'm going to do something called levitation extensions, or LEs. So, Silver's not normally supposed to actually regain the bar in midair. What we do is we do a frame-perfect trick, which is holding X as soon as you let go of A there. That retains the momentum of your hover, while also letting you to regenerate the bar, because regeneration of the action gauge at the bottom right is done by pressing or holding X, for whatever reason. It should normally be like that, but you know, it's fun. It's Sonic 06.
And then another template.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. That ball was actually
I must leave. My people need me.
Price is sitting.
Yeah, right.
We didn't actually defeat enemies there. We didn't have to defeat them. It doesn't matter.
We used to ride on these babies for miles.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
The thing about 70s boulders is they're made of the strongest stuff. You take care of them forever, they take care of you. I watched
Yeah,
Fast
right.
9 like a second time after we watched it for the episode.
Yeah.
Not too far after, and I remember something about
I don't know if you saw, but Vin Diesel on Twitter and on which he never posts on Twitter. On Twitter and on Instagram, like every other day now, he's been posting like the old trailers for each of the movies in chronological order to build up till Friday. Which I guess we should say that we're hoping to probably do something for that, whether it's I don't know if we're doing a special episode or a live reaction, maybe on YouTube
We need to figure that
weekend
out.
or something.
Yeah.
Something, but yeah, Fast X trailer drops this Friday, coming Friday.
Which allows us to skip to this section of the stage, and from here we're going.
That's right. That's right.
And I do love that poster of him with him holding his cross necklace for it.
Nope.
I think that's gonna be
So Liam, do you want to mention the?
I wonder if that's gonna be the poster they're gonna have in movie theaters or not.
I am still gonna try for this just for the visual appeal.
Liam is now.
What are they trying to do?
Sorry, what would you like to
real mechanic? Here we go. Let's see if this is real.
I still didn't hear that.
Okay, here we go. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Skipping a stone across water.
Most people don't do it. I am not most people, if you haven't realized already.
Did you ask to explain loop mechanics, by the way?
So he's built different.
Rail mechanics if you go.
Oh, the rail mechanics.
That's what he said before
A
people
little bit
said
of a humble
that.
brag there.
The rails is really it's weird. You only
Rip to your grandma, but I'm different.
I could do the spin dash skip
It's
or whatever
actually
you want to call that.
X. So you can press X 3 times for every one turnaround, and you get 3 times the speed boost.
Damn.
Thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Liam.
No problem. Please hand the mic back to DSS then.
Sounds good.
That was 100% the guy from the other speedrun.
But yeah, no,
He's on a commentary because he doesn't have a headset. He took it
Of
off
course,
the other
that's
guy
what
to
we
say
just
it.
have to go for. I'm glad we got it first try. First try.
He's
I
like,
know
"Let
I
me
got it
speak."
without dying.
You're right on.
I played this game 4 years ago.
Yeah, okay, so while I'm here, this is a really good point to mention this.
Find the
Why
person
is it called
Amy's
no
looking for.
MSG or no mission select glitch? Well, so I believe in early 2014, DSS, was it early 2014 you found this?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I got it. Early 2014, DSS found that you could actually maintain a yes/no box from a mission while in the hub world by dying while it's on the screen. So from there, you can actually, at this point in the game, in any percent, we would actually, because we had to change the categories because that actually, well, let me just explain what MSG is. So if you get a yes/no text box active and you are able to take it into another mission, you can go into the second mission, the one that has the yes/no text box, while in the first, and then from there you can, once you're there, you can actually quit back to the first mission and then either fail it or continue it as whichever's quicker, honestly. One of those two, and then the game doesn't know where to put you after that. It expects to put you into a hub world, but it doesn't have a hub world because the second mission is registered. So the game is a failsafe, just warps you to the credits. Because, you know, 06. So I kind of skipped over one of the most important.
Yeah, I think you won. If you're able to do this, you win.
Great.
Basically,
No missed
he lives box,
selection, any
he clips
percent.
through wall. There you go.
That's pretty much it. But with any flat object, this is sort of an exploit more than like a.
Oh my
I guess
God.
It's an exploit. So with any flat object, if you can move it higher than the ceiling, and the sort of ceiling aligns with everything, you can actually clip through it, and it allows us.
This
And
is
then
the
you can
shit
use
I
the
wanted to
fucking door.
see.
Which is my favorite early
Yeah.
So that's Desert. Normally here we're supposed to play as Amy, and we're supposed to go through this section of Silver, then play as Amy, and then
This
we
is the shit
allow-
I
we
wanted to
hit
see.
a,
Yeah,
purchase
yeah.
To go back to Silver, we're gonna skip all that, which takes about.
Because this is actually something you could visually like really see. Because like some of the one skips that I've seen in like other speedruns, it's like they go too quick that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I just saw.
Yeah.
Like this is like.
And I'll remind everyone again, it's frame perfect. Hi, Silver. Say touch Silver, whatever.
Don't touch
Yeah, what happens when that happens? You know, just the
So yeah, now we're back here, we're gonna do yet another one of those.
Why did he go for that one
just
up?
the Matrix glitch.
This one is the same as the previous, but we need to be careful with these enemies. They can break the wooden box, or they can do that. That's pretty neat.
I think earlier I said
This just
wall.
feels like something any of us could do.
Go on a really
That's
small
how broken
Yeah.
this game
on a
is.
really small-
I mean, maybe not figure out where to go
that's not good.
afterwards, but
I'm glad I hit the checkpoint.
Yep.
It's cool. I'm glad everyone's happy with Silver's voice acting. This is the best part of running in English. We're still on good pace, don't worry.
accidentally toxic towards
So
the
then, of
voice
course, what
actor.
happens- I'm gonna be much more
Yeah, I
careful.
know,
I'm gonna
right?
do the same thing. I'm gonna try
Yeah, he's
to-
definitely more cockier. This is the kind of speedrunner I want. I want them to be cockier.
He's got a scarf. Of course he's
Otherwise,
cocky.
I won't actually be pushed through because there's a very-
Indoors.
Okay, I
If
apparently
he was
just
wearing a
don't know
parka
what
and
motion is.
sunglasses, it would be even more cocky.
So there's a very narrow seam. There's a seam here, very narrow. If you go too far to the right, you fall down, as I did. If you go too far to the left, you get pushed back in by the sand wall. So be very careful here.
I wonder how much of Dusty Desert we actually spend out of bounds. It's gotta be like a good 70% or something.
Yes, about 70%. So now we get to the final area here. That skipped a sand room and
I
a,
hated
enemy section.
this section
So
so
now
much.
normally
I would
it's
love
supposed
to
be
see
the
what
ball
the
puzzle,
skip
which
is.
was actually the incentive at AGDQ 2013. I'm not crazy enough to do that, and so instead, we're gonna do a variation of the same box trick. It's the same basic concept, except the ceiling's actually too high, and we don't actually want to clip to the ceiling, because if we clip to the ceiling, we would actually go back inbounds. That's not useful. So, I'm gonna put the box around the center here, and if it's gonna be finicky. Of course it's gonna be finicky. So, I want to align it with pretty much the center. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna hold RT. There we go. So basically, we land on top of the door instead of actually going to the ceiling. Because what happens there is Silver just
Crazy.
gets pushed on the door as the box rotates. Because again, nothing in this game, basically any sort of wall or door in this game is a suggestion, not a requirement.
Sounds about right.
And with that, we've completed about I would say about a fourth of the run. With that, do you mind? This is going to be a little. Oh wait, no, I know exactly what to do here. So I kind of like, there's this nice little. Soleon has a really good aesthetic, I think. There's this nice, it takes from Venice very, very, very strongly. So there's a nice sense of like flowing waterways and canals.
He's setting up a joke, and they're
town
laughing in the
people,
background.
Cafes and whatnot. And of course, my favorite part of any sort of Venice-based thing: a 14-year-old psychokinetic hedgehog pummeling a blue hedgehog to death.
Yeah. Dude, I've been to Venice once. It is actually even more impressive in real life.
I mean, I hope so. If I paid all that money to fly to Venice and it looked like fucking this, I'd be fucking pissed.
There we go.
Spent $1,000 on a plane ticket, 16 hours on a plane, and it's like, wait, what? Everything's so flat.
So notice that I get an A rank. So the really important part about RTA and Sonic 06 is that the S rank actually gives you an additional gold medal. These gold medals that happen here, those take 5.5 seconds to actually go through. So the thing with these is that they just simply
Just want someone in the background to go,
nerd. So if you're able to nerd in 5.5 seconds, like in a 13-second time there without getting any rank.
Yeah, how quick can you get kicked out?
Yeah.
James done quick. If you just say nerd, the only thing you're saying is nerd. Every once in a while, you just yell, nerd.
Or actually a 7.5. I should know this in a math major, whatever.
Oh, one important point is it's okay to get an S rank in missions because you only get a gold medal if you get an S rank on every mission, not the individual one.
So we actually skip a lot of missions. In fact, the one thing I did before Dusty did it, that skipped a normal mission, normally required mission, mission 8. That's where you before mission select glitch. It doesn't matter. We don't do that.
huh? What do you
So
say?
We don't do that here.
I'm actually just going to. We're going to skip the shock bracelet
allow
because
that
of this
here.
move that DSS mentioned earlier. The shock bracelet allows you to do a. I think it's called Psycho Shock, which is basically like a stun ground pound move. It's actually really useful for combat in general because it allows you to stun those enemies really quickly and pick them up and then put them down. That's the other easiest way to actually remove
Pick
most
things up and put them
individual
down.
enemies. But we want to skip it because it actually clutters up our X button. We want the X button to be held for fairly obvious reasons shortly in the run. With that, we can have a few more donations read out because we're basically just walking here.
Sure thing. I have $50 from Gas Slayer.
Hey, Gas! Woo, he's an 06 runner.
Hey, Focus, Liam, Wyke, and Sid. Good luck on the run. I'll
See,
donate
but, like,
50 more if you can roast
If you
my
know
own
any of the
indoor
speedrunners,
shadow
I could just
story for
pretend
me.
to be them.
Okay, well,
And then
Shadow
say
is
something
the
like,
boring
I mean,
story.
yeah.
oh, like I
It's
could do
actually clear
better.
right now. It's the only one
Right,
that
you
happens
cause
because we're
drama.
It costs fake beef.
So, yeah, it's objectively worse. As
Donate
compared to the
$100 to
GDQ
see if
community.
like I could cause. He wouldn't say that, would he?
Sorry, Turbo.
You're right. I just wanted the $50 because we need to. raise
Honestly,
money.
I should be on that stage.
We're doing it for the $50, Turbo.
So that's
Well, they're obviously vetting what ones to read, so you'd have to be very subtle about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Aw.
Well,
That's
we
nice.
will see her. She's just going to be an NPC and probably die in the final boss in a really, really awful time to die. But you know.
Hope you have good luck on your run. Even though if I was playing, it'd be a lot better. Because something like
again, they are
that.
frame perfect. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but there is an AFC at the end of this section. It is kind of risky to go for because failing it can potentially lead to losing 50 seconds.
So you're gonna go for it, right?
Of course. I have no shame now. I had no shame when I started running this game. So this is basically an automated section. Not much you can do. I align myself to the right here, or the left. Left. I don't know my directions. I align myself to the left here so I can get these speed boosts off these. These line up. There are 3 of them, so that means I'm currently holding X, and I'm preparing to turn the camera around me by pressing LT. The camera controls in 06 are really useful. And AFC here. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
An important point I want to make with
Wow.
this is
He
that
just cuts
in
right
06,
through.
Wow.
if you have the right speed, geometry's right, and you have the right
He
angle,
can
you
melt
pretty much
steel
do anything.
beams.
So that's really useful for when we get
Blaze,
to
in
the
fact,
silver.
can.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
this is gonna be fun. The second half of the run pretty much changes everything.
Blaze did
Over
9/11.
Here, the fastest way you can really move around is walking and LEing while we're in the air. So you can see that's a levitation extension, that's a levitation extension. When I fall far, that's not. So when I fall further forward, that's a levitation extension. And remember, that's frame perfect. I'm gonna need to use frame perfect a lot in this run, as already mentioned. So from here,
I guess we'll clap
we
for
got
that.
4 donations also read now.
In the background.
There's just nothing we can do to clip out here, unfortunately.
Has anyone like actually beat a world record on Games Done Quick?
Not that I've ever seen.
Like halfway through, he's like, "Wait a minute,
This is really good.
Fun fact,
Everyone
You're
shut
right.
up.
Silver Boss and Sonic
That's where you get your your skit idea. As someone they realize, wait, I don't think I've ever done this good.
Yeah, speedrunning, it's like the only break you get.
Dude,
And since it's it's a live stream, when he fails at the end,
This is the definition
Yeah.
of walking, by the way. Who doesn't love walking?
So no, my end of my skit idea would be
Speed
like,
jogging, yes.
Funny
enough,
he after he's done, he just walks up and walks away, and people clap, and then it just ends. It's like avant-garde, like the most glorious thing they've ever seen.
Pass this boss in this mission. That's a pretty good time right there.
great.
Sub 210 is optimal, honestly. Best I've gotten is 204.
God, I'm glad we're watching these.
I'm pretty
Yeah, I mean, this
confident.
is,
Bit of a
like I
stuff,
said,
but
validating
it's
that
always like that.
even bad games can be speedrun.
So this boss,
If anything, maybe they're easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not easier, but just they could be used differently. Like I feel like a Last of Us speedrun, for example, would be like less visually impressive. It's more of just probably like. But for this, it's like it's already so broken. I feel like you can use that to your advantage.
There are games I feel like that are built well enough that I've seen speedruns that are really just be really good at the game, not abuse any glitches, just be good at the game, you know? And like, those are impressive in their own right, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
remember, guys, math major.
So I'm gonna wait for the cannons on the side to actually activate first and release some, and then I'm gonna shoot the rest I have.
I can see The Last of Us being a game where it's just, you just gotta be good at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some parts you can skip, but like,
Gonna go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey,
or you just run around a lot. Like you just run a lot if you're just kiting.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a 47 or 46 even. This is a pretty good time overall, considering I didn't know how to do this boss 2 weeks ago. So we're actually gonna wait. We're trying to avoid lag here. Like that. And because the boss crashes down.
He says it's a 46 run. We know it's 49. Something must happen.
It may
He was talking about
lag the game and
just
cause me to wait a
46
second to have 100 milliseconds
seconds
pass. That's
on this
fun.
boss.
So it's best to
Oh,
avoid that.
I thought you were saying like I'm gonna get 46. I'm like, no, we definitely don't.
Heroes run from the
I
start.
definitely
I know,
did
I
like
see the
Game
future.
Freeze for like 3 seconds one time. I thought it crashed.
My game, I shouldn't set this up right now, but my game actually did crash in practice. 06, for how much people say it's bad, 06 is not a game that crashes often.
Yes, but thankfully there are places where you can make it crash on purpose.
Of course, there are, of course, because why wouldn't there be? Oh yes, here we go. So, remember how he said we could try to skip Amy in most things? This is the only mission you can't skip. One of 2 missions you can't skip, and the only time you have to play as Amy this entire run. So let's get used to her and her slow, unfortunate movement.
Look at her go.
Wow, he really just called Amy
So with
slow.
this, I want to bring up a point
He's a
about
math
In
major.
2020. In 2020.
So the PS3 and 360 versions were developed sort of together, but sort of separately. The important thing about the PS3 version is that it's bad.
And so was the
so
old
for speedrunning,
360 version, I
actually
can
have the game
tell.
downloaded to my console on 360. You're able to do this without hacking. You can go into the game options and select install. That improves the loads by 5 to 10 seconds per load. These are the fast loads.
Damn.
We should did that.
On
Fuck.
PS3,
Play a
it's about
360
10
version?
minutes compared to 360
Just
custom
to get
loads.
save us a couple extra time.
But 360 and PS3 have some other differences. For instance, 360 and PS3 have some differences in what is it? In spawning objects, draw distance, that sort of fun stuff. And for some reason, this boss is faster on this boss. Yes, this is a boss. This mission is faster on PS3.
Yaha!
There are a few spike balls that are on the
Screw
roof
you.
that actually force the boxes to explode, and that leads to them killing auto killing like 4 enemies. Which, as you can see,
Could we pay
hitting
for an
one
ad,
enemy
by the
takes a
way,
lot of time.
next time?
So we
Can
need
we
to,
do like
it's
a
the
Sonic
only
movie
time
show on there?
one of the
Oh,
few
sure,
on PS3
sure.
that's
We'll
actually
donate,
more efficient
you know,
on PS3, but it's
$5
not
grand.
worth the 10
Chip in a little bit.
For ILs though, it's nice.
Yeah, I wonder if we did
It
a
is,
donation
which
that was
means
like
that
5,000,
Roy
they would
Forsaken
read
in,
that during like the Sonic block and be like, and
Belgium,
just
he
chill
still
for
holds that
ourselves.
world record
Don't
because
talk
no one
about
owns the PS3
the
version
whatever
anymore.
the charity is. Don't talk about the run.
Super-
just
super-
pay for an ad to be read out loud.
Super selfish.
Just get ready. So this is the
Just
big
doing money,
breaking
so you'll
point
have to
for
hear this,
Silver's
but
story.
Sonic Movie Show is on
Here
all
we
podcast
get
platforms.
the ledge, which allows us to do something called a teleport dash. And because there's a few things, of course. So remember the stun slap has some weird momentum properties. Well, if you're able to cancel the teleport dash effectively by pressing X in the last frame of its animation.
Talking about canceling like it's a fighting game?
So
Uh-oh.
yes, it is again frame perfect. You're able to preserve the momentum of the teleport dash for longer than you normally be able to. Also that. So doing that allows us to do this.
First try.
Oh yeah.
We die so we can warp back to the start.
Oh, he does it on purpose.
Here we can clip through and skip mission 11. Basically, this makes Silver the fastest character in the entire game.
Okay, let's hold
So
our
with that,
horses
we
here for a
basically are
second.
all powerful.
We all know it's Sonic. Come on.
Frame
Yeah.
perfect every time I do it. But we're not even to the
Don't
worst
don't
part
shit on
yet.
Sonic now. Come
Or the
on.
best, I would say.
He's in the title
So remember how we
for a
skipped
reason.
the shock bracelet in before White Acropolis? Also, hi Blaze. Bye Blaze.
Hi guys.
God, the camera there, like it's like
So that's
fighting to
mission
go
11.
back
That's
to the
one
right.
mission you require to
Yeah.
have the teleport dash. You're supposed to have the teleport dash for, but basically none of the guards can see. It doesn't matter. This saves time because of load screens.
Yeah, what's worse,
Yeah,
Radical
because
Train
you
or
skip the shock bracelet,
CS:GO's
we're
Train?
actually going to after that, which
I
still
hate
preserves
Counter-Strike's
momentum.
train map, so
if I
I
can
will
get the
say that one's worse.
super extended teleport
I'm
dash.
not a fan of a lot of
Like this.
Counter-Strike maps.
Also
There's
frame
like
perfect.
two
It's not like
good ones.
there's not enough
Let me try that again.
train
There we go.
games that
That's
are
still frame
good.
perfect. It's the same input as
There was
before,
that one
but
train game that
that's
came out
This right
recently,
here
the
is
one
the
where you
wizard
fight
of
the
Oz.
demon spider train.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
makes Silver
Choo
the
Choo
fastest
Charles
character
or
in the game
whatever.
because you can
Yeah,
catch almost
and it's like a
anything.
nice short, like
Oh,
3-hour
you can mess
game.
up. Yeah, that works too. You need. This is where action gauge.
But like, there's no like
preservation is
Thomas the
really
Tank
vital.
Engine games,
Well,
you know, that really
okay.
slap.
Preservation
There's
is
a
really important.
series
Basically,
that's
the teleport dash
mostly,
always
if
takes
not
15,
entirely in
15
Japan,
points
called
of 100.
A-Train.
So you can do 6
That
in
is a
row
literal
without
train
against. You need to make
simulation
sure you actually
game
have enough
with
bar.
all of the
Oh.
buttons and the
SVT is
timings
the
and
figure
stopping
to teleport.
perfectly
It
and
recharges
stuff.
as you fly, so
Is it
I'm
available?
recharges.
Can I get it
So
like
more room to
in
do more
English?
ETDs.
I'm sure through fan translations and an
Every time I
emulator,
do
you can
this,
probably
it's
play
frame
like a
perfect.
PS1 version.
I
Because
will
I've
mention that
told
just to make
Bryn
sure.
that, and I think I mentioned on the
With that,
CS:GO
we
stream
complete
that
the
like
stage, hopefully in less than a minute.
I think
Hey,
a
that's
possible
not a good
career
time,
change
man.
I'm thinking is
So we'll
becoming a
start
train
with- let's
train conductor. I think I want to work on a train,
No.
Yeah.
No.
like do the light rail. You know what I mean?
So the reason
Or
why
be
that
the- like
happens, I
the,
believe, is so the trains that are there, they actually despawn as
The
soon
guy
as you
goes
touch
through
top of
the
ceiling there,
cities
the thing
with
there.
his little
What happens
train.
There is this is gonna be fun. What happens there is they actually despawn
So I can play
the
that game and
actual
see if
trains
like
themselves
it'd
are
be a good
still
way to
visible.
test.
Wait
if I
a
want to
second.
So
do.
you can actually go back and I can just
The
drag the
last
visible
one
train.
is
So I
on
believe
in
the train
English
actually
in
pushes
America on
you
the Switch
on the
called
result screen out of
A-Train
bounds.
All Aboard
So that's fun.
Tourism.
Oh, I'm gonna
Okay,
write that
Shadow.
down.
Shadow's arguably the most annoying
I don't know
boss
if
in the
it's
story,
good or
I'm
not, but I
interested.
know this is there are some
So, I'm doing
some
something
people
slightly
on
different
Twitter
than
that
most people, 'cause
have
I found this was safer just a few
enjoy
days ago.
very niche games, and
Shadow
I've
is much
heard
like
from one
Sonic in
person how
terms of
much
you
they
need to
love
have items,
A-Train.
and you need to manipulate them quite well, except Shadow has less items available.
Called
so frankly, it's harder to
A-Train.
fight Shadow.
All Aboard with an
You need to
exclamation
make sure to
point.
use these barrels
and
wisely. There are
tourism.
he takes a total of 24 hits, and there are a total of 22 in this main area and 6 in the other areas.
Cool.
Holding them like this is sometimes useful, but the issue with that is.
Oh, yeah, this
sometimes-
level.
Ooh. Nice. I pressed the Xbox menu. Never mind.
Nice.
I hope you all like soccer.
He
balls.
slipped.
It's RNG manipulation.
Sure. So I'm actually.
I
gonna
mean,
wait for
if
the
he
intro
if it
before I
bleeds,
hit
you can kill it.
and then I can
Shadow,
attack him once
please.
more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna wait once more. Come on. 2, 2. There we go.
I remember hearing that freaking.
Oh, this is a good position, I think. Yes. Perfect.
Just
Damn.
Stunting on him.
Damn. That's just rude.
Considering that Shadow is clearly better than Silver
Okay,
in
we're gonna
every
show the cutscene
objectable
here,
way.
which is an
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
O6 cutscene. It is the only piece of the plot I actually pay attention to, so you need to make sure you actually listen up.
Important lore right here.
Final
It is
Fantasy
very
Online.
important right now.
Yeah. Maybe we should play that sometime. I own it on PC.
Shouts to the lore enthusiast in the crowd.
Although you have to subscribe to play it, so.
I got an ad for the first time this whole thing. I don't know why I got an
Really?
ad now. Yeah, I'm pausing it. Hold up. Where are you at then on your time?
30 minutes, 13 seconds. He just back kicked Silver in the back of the head.
All
I know
right.
we. All right.
Count us down again.
3, 2, 1, play.
It's weird. Like it's the first ad I got.
Story you need to know in Sonic 06. None of the rest matters.
Then you black out and wake up in aquatic base.
I'm glad that they
So,
played the
I wanna
cutscene just
mention
for that
before we go
part.
here, this stage normally has,
That's a good
even
thing.
if I'm trying to do like a score tag, this is about 4 to 5 minutes. Let's just see how short this is now with the ETD. Oh, I'm gonna still go. LE's perfect, frame perfect, so I can extend myself. That sounds weird. This is the final room of this area.
Didn't until you pointed it out.
I'm gonna clip in here. Gonna kill these enemies and we're done. That's normally 4 to 5 minutes casually.
They just.
Pretty
That
decent
level
for
is
SDT.
very long. I mean, Silver is just.
Why not,
I
you know,
thought you
start
said
with a 1 frame
45
per
minutes. I'm
second
like,
with
okay,
a
like you don't need to like act like you're
Yeah,
like
don't worry.
chill. Like,
So,
it's not
again,
that long.
this is the power
It's
of
long, but
SDT.
not. And I
cannot, like,
understood that he
emphasize
meant to
this
say
anymore.
he did
But
say
there
4
is
to
some
5.
amazing
He
stuff
just
you can
said
do.
it
He
real
just
quick.
walked through a
Again,
wall, I
speed is all you
swear.
need to clip through almost anything. So unfortunately, we can't actually clip directly to the end of this section because there are death planes, there are kill planes, and those are unfortunate.
Oh, they added
They're
some into this
unfortunately
game
placed 'cause
finally?
They're everywhere. So we had to go through this section, unfortunately, but it's fine. I was ready to almost Ocarina Dive there because you can get Silver stuck. He can, if you actually hit a ledge as Silver when doing an SDT or EDT, and you keep on holding X, he will continue to hold X, and
Sorry, I had
therefore
to
he'll get
sneeze.
stuck. Oh yeah, also this. That was called Hope and Clip. We definitely hoped, we definitely clipped. That skips to the final room, and unfortunately, we actually have to defeat these enemies. Most of the time in 06,
Wait, you can just pick them up?
We are able to like
What?
skip most of the enemy stuff. This is
Yeah.
So we actually skipped the shock.
I didn't know that.
Prior.
Yeah,
as a
that's what I
result,
had.
we
I
have to
kept
actually
doing.
defeat these enemies with just the Sun Slap
It's
move.
the
And the
birds there that
Oh.
these,
are
they're
annoying.
called tricksters or takers. They are the most annoying part of all of Sonic 06. There's one
Really?
up there that I can't get.
That's
so
what you
I'm gonna have to
believe?
Go over here and wait for it to die, basically. That's still a very
Like it
good
just
time.
pops up. Like, alright,
Yeah.
it's done.
This is harder without the
There's no
shock
animation
bracelet
for it,
because
it's
if I had the
just
shock
there.
bracelet, I could hold X, ground pound, basically, and there would be a range of effects where enemies would be stunned, and therefore I could pick them up. Those are always vulnerable. So I should mention in 06, there's really an important a distinction you need to make when you're fighting enemies. When an enemy is vulnerable and how much life they have. So if an enemy is immediately vulnerable and they have a large health bar, stun them. If an enemy is sort of low on health, like one hit, throw an object at them. If an enemy only becomes vulnerable after they've thrown certain objects, just wait, or not just wait, try to try to kill them as soon as possible, or defeat them as soon as possible, because usually they're 4 hits, the golems and the egg golems, because, you know, Dr. Eggman is very, very, very good at naming things. They
And then Eggman behind him is like-
in order to be vulnerable. So if you're able to destroy them before that, great. If not, wait for them to become vulnerable and just have a blast with that.
Yeah, I think it is the guy.
To
Let me see if I can find this.
the other required mission in Sonic 06.
I like how he's giving 06 tips, like casual tips,
So
as
I
if
want
I will
everyone to
ever
pay
play
attention
this
to the
game
load
again,
screen.
besides
This is an
maybe
important load
wanting to
screen.
do
We
what
have
they're
a lot of
doing.
data being loaded right now. A lot of important
Yeah, his name on Instagram is
critical
Jack
data that is going to be
Jack
put to use
Botnick.
in the speedrun.
Mm.
And what we're going to do here with it is we're going to start it and immediately end it. That's it. There's no
Protect
point to that.
Anna.
That's just a long load
She
screen.
knows
I
the
like making
secret.
fun of that because it loads the entire hub world every time.
But he
It
like he
loads-
dresses
why it loads
as
so
like the OG
so now
like
Protect Anna,
Robotnik.
and so when we originally started, we actually just
It looks like him.
ended this
Probably.
Yeah, that well, I guess
Reason
it's
why is because it's
I guess
the
to be
same
fair, it could be
principle
any
as works now.
Robotnik, but
Because
because he has
Anna
a
here
look.
will
But
go to the
I
end
wonder if it
no
is
matter
him.
if she doesn't have any enemies. If she doesn't have any enemies, she will continue to go on to the end.
No.
The mission is finished by Anna reaching the end. So we do
enemies
nothing
spawn in
and we
if
win.
you
But
pass
we
certain
actually want
checkpoints,
to do
but she'll
something a bit
just
different.
keep
We
running
went
to
from
the
actively
end.
protecting her to neglecting her to actively threatening her. Because what we do here is we scare her so that she walks a bit faster there. And that it speeds up the time a little bit.
And this is a bullshit level too.
I hated
It's
this.
oxymoronic considering what we've just done, but whatever. Oh, by the way, I've just clipped out of bounds, and I'm gonna have some fun. We have about a minute to go through stuff, and I want to show off the colorful cast of characters that 06 has because there are NPCs loaded out here. I'm gonna try to make Barrel Captain if I can. Ooh,
Oh, perfect.
Oh, look
First
at that
try.
boy.
Woo!
Oh my god.
That's the barrel captain.
Metal Gear Solid
There he
4.
goes. We have Bob McFloaty over here. Obviously, he's floating.
What? Like.
And we have my favorite, actually. I call it Self-Portrait. Again, there's all these NPCs. This is my favorite one.
Wow.
The angel and the devil on the shoulders.
That's funny.
So we just wait for Anna to go to the end of the stage, and we're basically done.
This is like physical manifestation of the voice in his head or something.
Pretty much. Which is you now, Sid, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting camera angle. Hi.
Hi.
And that's the end of the mission.
So that's the shit I like.
So I also.
It's
God
crazy
damn
We
that
have
you
over-
You could just
we actually-
wait.
because
You
we
could have
have
just waited the whole
already
time.
end
Don't let any
directly
enemies
directly
spawn
actually
in, and
still
you're
keeps some
fine.
of those enemies spawned in, and therefore prevents Anna from moving at the beginning, but it's the same effect in the end.
There's
So-
accordion man.
Yeah, accordion man at the utter right there. The man in the background. He's very important, and he's unfortunately now blocked, but whatever.
He's our hero.
He's our hero. Accordion we need.
That's right. The accordion music only happens if you're like 3 feet away from him.
This is
Otherwise, then it stops.
I've
And if you
accepted
walk
it.
back in, it starts the
We,
music
there are
from the
many
beginning.
NPCs in 06 that are just beautiful. So we're now going to start. Oh boy. So this is the point where we have trial skip. So I'm going to save for sure.
Okay, we're under the 10-minute mark
Story.
almost.
We're supposed to, for some reason, go with Sonic. I don't remember why, because we just, pummeled him with tables. So
All
we should
right,
be leaving the hospital,
49-38. Yeah, we're
um,
close.
We go with Sonic to find Eggman for whatever reason. I don't actually read the plot. I don't watch the cutscenes anymore. But instead, so normally you have to do three missions. By the way, this is frame perfect as well, or near frame perfect, doing those. It's double tapping A really quickly in succession. You can do it easily up these slopes, but it's harder to do if you do it at other points. But basically, normally you'd have 3 missions here. You'd have 3 missions to do here, and you need to complete them all to unlock an eagle that takes you to the top of the tower over there. So normally that tower, you can't really access it any other way.
My God,
I'm
they're
trying
just
to
gonna
do
walk
this
on the
easy. Here we go.
rocks.
Normally you can't access that tower any other way besides completing the missions, but because this is Sonic 06, we can use the.
He's like flapping his arms like.
geometry here.
Yeah, like a
It's really easy
bird.
geometry to retain our bar and maintain our speed. So we maintain our speed that allows us to stay on the wall longer than we thought we could. And because we recharge our bar as we do that, we are able to hover higher. So you might think, oh, this seems high enough, going up this wall seems pretty high. This is one of 3. We have 3 walls. The first 2 are pretty easy, to be honest.
And this is quicker than doing the actual.
You can see the
Probably
mirror
with
up
the
there.
loading
On
screens
Trials.
being
the
2
mirror on the
minutes
right,
and change for.
even though it's glowing,
Yeah.
just
Going
because
in,
the
I'm
mirror is placed
sure.
in a hub world doesn't mean it's active. Just because a mirror is placed doesn't mean it's going to be there. We actually need to test them. We tested them all. This mirror is active, so basically touching it will take me to Kingdom Valley, skipping all 3 missions.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go up this second wall, and I'm gonna try to get to the very top with all of my bar pretty much intact. Gonna get right here. I'm gonna. Oh, that was a bit lower than I wanted. I'm being very precise here. Again, there's not much bar here. I'm gonna fly over to this steep wall.
Oh
because,
my
yes,
God.
this is the only way we can actually access the.
Like I said, this feels almost longer
At
though.
this point in time, I need to do quite a few frame perfect inputs in a row. So I'm going to try to. It's very steep, and I can't. If I mess up one, I fall off, and I have to redo this all over again. I need to get a full bar. Once I get a full bar, I can go up. And this is at a diagonal, sort of. Staying to the right tends to be safer, because the right is it's the right side of this wall. Which, by the way, if you haven't noticed yet, what you see is not what you get currently. The geometry doesn't match because they didn't expect you to actually do this. So the geometry doesn't match, but basically it's at sort of like a diagonal here. The right has a roof that can actually stop you, but the left basically makes you slide off, and that's very disadvantageous. So we're trying to stay to the right as close as possible while getting the most height. As soon as I get enough height here, I'm gonna slowly tap A up this wall. And I'm gonna go to this pillar here.
Oh my
And
god.
just one more set of
Like I said,
here,
I
and
almost
that'll be
feel.
done trial skip.
I don't remember the trials being that long.
And
I remember them being annoying, so maybe this is more
I
fun.
still lost it here though. And here we go. That was trial skip,
Let's
and that
go,
has never
Focus.
been done.
Let's go.
And I am the only person to have done this in a marathon now.
The fact that he even attempts this in a marathon.
Only one? He's the only one?
Insanity.
There's-
That actually makes it.
They're saying that
Currently
I'm the only one who's ever
currently
done
on
this
pace for
before.
what would have been previous world record. With that.
I like how, yeah, I like how
Next up,
he
all
said
this
that.
stuff,
Like
this
I was
takes
like,
about 2
I
minutes
think
to
someone on the
complete, but it's done
couch
pretty
should have
optimally.
said like, oh, by the way, he's the
Okay,
first person to do
is
this at a
amazing. This is why
marathon
I'm saying
before.
Jose is a packed
But he's like, he was like quick to be like,
Color
ah,
screens don't help at all.
your boy,
I'm gonna do a
your boy did
television.
it first
I'm just
time.
gonna do it first and see if I can get it.
By the way, though, I like that. I like that he's cocky. I love my cocky gamers.
Oh. There we go.
Jesus
so that
Christ.
Is normally 3 minutes. So what that is, telelaunching is based off the telefling. So the telefling from earlier, pushing it aside, pushing an object while you're grabbing it, so you basically fly on it. If you throw the object while you're teleflinging, you are able to keep it in its perpetual grab state. And while it's in its grab state, the lift function works strangely. It actually launches you up exponentially rather than linearly. Math major. Oh, by the way, prepare yourselves. We're Sonic now. I am. Wow. Okay, I meant to kick over.
Hit Robotnik's like doing that.
We are not exclusive.
I'm glad he's playing the character up.
Sonic, and we're going to finish this stage as Sonic. Liam's freaking out over there, probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he is.
See, I want to see Eggman
That
play
is a
it.
small little time saver there.
I want him to actually
the
pick up
left
the
and right,
controller.
to the left and up. That allows you to skip that.
Do they ever do like a tag team?
I'm not going to skip myself.
Like they have like
I've seen runs that are 2 people doing it at once for different things.
Like honestly, like a little competition, you know?
Oh yeah, there are
Like 2 people.
races. One of the coolest types of speedruns I've seen is Super Metroid. Again, best game of all time. That game can be completed in any way you want, and it's just so cool. And so like they'll do races where they will decide and tell the runners, because you don't need practically any of the items in that game to beat it. They'll just be like, you need to pick up this item, and this item. Go. And then you can see them all figure out their different routes.
This is crazy, by the way.
Oh, didn't they say in the other speedrun that the purple jump lets you just jump forever?
I mean, that's what this is. I mean, yeah, he has the purple gem.
Yeah.
You notice how there's an action gauge at the bottom right? It was supposed to drain, but one curly bracket in the code prevents it from doing so.
It's actually a misspelling.
I was told it was a curly bracket, but
regardless, one thing in the code.
And with that,
And then I was actually watching recently, people have made a hacked ROM hack of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time where it randomizes all of the items in different chests and stuff.
Yes, it was.
And that's a fun thing just to play. But then the speedrun was 2 different people playing the same randomized seed, trying to help each other find out information of where things are so that they can beat it as fast as possible together.
As Silver
That was
falls,
cool.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a fun run to watch.
Like a rock, effectively. And that's the case no matter what. Even when I SEDT, what happens there is it sort of goes like a parabola.
STD?
It starts off going really far forward,
What?
and it gets dragged further and further down. As we go further and further through, you basically need to make sure that, oh, am I going to be able to hit this or not? Most of the time, you can
Hurry to
just
Iblis.
really well. I was actually really worried at the beginning of Kingdom Valley, getting that miss. I was really worried I would hit the death plane because I wasn't high enough.
You were really low.
Hey, that's how it works. So I'm not. We actually found something recently here. Ontanishi, my boy again. He's back on his stuff. But actually here, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do the first version of it, but I'm going to do it in the second section. I'm going to attempt it. So remember how we were able to tele-launch off of rocks so far? We were able to tele-launch off of,
What?
you know, spheres, all that stuff. Well, boxes have always been an enigma because boxes are notoriously hard to tele-launch off of. You have
There's
a
that same
very
door
narrow
again that they
window to
mentioned
input
another
everything,
one that
and
you could just walk
Yeah.
through.
when you telelaunch, you actually have to account for the animations of throwing and lifting, which in of themselves takes time. So the importance is, with boxes, you have maybe less than a second most occasions, and we've never figured out a even semi-consistent method. But Ontanishi, after I found something already kind of crazy in this stage, which we were going to go for, he said, I'm going to try this. And then
He just
what happened
did it.
was
He
then
just
found
walked
something
into
that
the
was even
spring
worse
box.
and even better. Because that's what we are in Sonic 06, if nothing else.
Well-
A bunch of optimization maniacs.
He's literally just walking on lava.
Remember, the invincibility song ends before the invincibility does. So he was still going.
I'm going to try it in the second section. Oh, by the way, that door over there is one of the few doors you cannot clip through using the ETD. So instead, we're gonna just, you know,
Go around.
yeah, go around. Hey.
That guy in the background that
Cocoa Puffs right in front
they
of
said
Carol.
Dark Sonic or whatever his name is. In the previous room, they said he basically finds all these tricks. He's just sitting back there smiling like a proud dad.
These Cocoa Puffs
Like-
can go tricks even over here.
Oh yeah.
Hey. We can still get hit here.
He just held up a bag of Cocoa Puffs, a box of Cocoa Puffs.
Now I kind of want Cocoa
But that
Puffs.
was
I don't really eat cereal.
I don't. Yeah, for some reason, as soon as I got out of college, where I had like cereal a lot because they had like the dispensers or whatever at the cafeteria. For some reason, something like clicked where I'm like, I don't need cereal anymore.
I'm good.
And like I get like maybe 1 or 2 boxes a year, and I just it's more of like a
Same.
snack.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll just eat it plain. You know what I mean? Maybe because part of the reason I've stopped drinking like milk because we just drink oat milk now. So like maybe that's and it's like
You just don't have it
you
in
can
the
eat
house,
it.
so why do it?
And then 2 steps
Yeah.
forward towards the camera.
But like, I mean, I've had like oat milk, you know, with cereal before, but it's not the same. But I also just don't want to have milk anymore. So yeah, like usually I'll just get like mini wheats. I'll be like put it in a bowl and I'll snack on those.
Mini wheats are good. Maybe I'll buy some cereal tomorrow.
Go get some Cocoa Puffs for the.
I'll get Reese's Puffs instead. 'Cause let's be real here. It's just Cocoa Puffs, but better.
We're just gonna complete the stage normal. I'm glad I tried for it.
And mini wheats, I always did like mini wheats, even though they seemed like they were like an old person thing as a kid. Like it's old person.
No, I always liked
thing.
them as a kid. Yeah,
Same.
And I
Now
feel like yeah, people would be like, oh, that's stupid. But I'm like, I don't know about you, but
you
like
could just eat Fruity
they're good.
Pebbles. Like Fruity Pebbles suck. Captain Crunch sucks. Raisin Bran, that's the shit.
We were actually
Legitimately.
just two old men and
Yeah.
when we were growing up.
Now I'm not stupid or crazy enough to be like, grape nuts, that's my jam.
Oh no.
Like I don't know.
No, I always liked like
We can ignore this one. I'm just gonna clip through.
Honey Bunch of Oats where they have like the little like granola crunches.
And with that,
Yeah,
I liked those too.
Yep, same.
I'm gonna clip through here.
Although one of them made me throw up once.
But I did like Captain Crunch, but like Captain Crunch would also fuck up your gums.
Exactly. They just it's a man inside your mouth.
Very
stabbing you.
jagged.
And I'm
Yeah.
going to hover over. I'm going to get hit. I'm gonna
I hated this room.
I'm gonna pause buffer here.
So you had to wait for the pulses.
This pause button. Oh, not enough bar. Whoop, I'm just gonna hover. I'm gonna do his mellies. It's fine if we die here. Yeah, we're gonna die here. No worries. Not much loss. I hit the checkpoint. We're all good.
Not much loss. I don't know.
The best part about that
I came
is,
here to see
if you haven't
perfection.
noticed yet, if you
Right.
mess up pretty much anything,
No one's ever done this in a
fine.
marathon before. Okay.
I did all the
Okay.
movement there early really well, and then it's just like, ooh,
Sounds
well,
good.
okay, you wanted to beat the, we call this the massive puff. Again, we have great names in this community. We have incorrect ones, and we have great ones. Okay, I'm gonna align myself up here. I'm gonna do a pause buffered one here, and we get to skip that entire.
But like I want to know why that happens. Like I don't know like what is it in the code. that,
Join
like-
their Discord and they'll tell you.
No, that's right. Sorry.
Every one of these types of speedrun games has
Do we
Discord
have the
communities and stuff.
inaugural box here?
Oh yeah,
anywhere?
the box.
That's the only Discord channels I join is the Sonic 2006 speedruns and the NFT one
Cocoa Puffs,
Discords.
they're
You
really
know.
interesting. This final
To
boss
see what's hot on the
was
market
bane
right
of
now.
every Silver Runner's existence. This final boss is.
When NFTs really die, like they already are kind of basically
Right.
dead. But like when they're like,
the best I've been able to
I want to get a
versus
Bored Ape
the
when
one
it's like
to
2 cents.
The boss takes
Just
two
in case it
hits
does
because
get
one
hot
Cocoa Puff is
again
one
in like
hit.
20
God.
years.
You know, system of units. One Cocoa Puff is one hit. It takes 32. You have 19 available with the route I'm taking, and you have 20. You have an additional 10 from the automated section stuff.
Oh, this is what I wanted to see. This is my.
Oh, that didn't. Nope, it did hit. 1, 2, 3. I need 3 from luck in order to guarantee a 220. I need to get.
Is he
lucky
trying to do
here.
it before the big
I got pretty
meteor?
lucky, but let's see if any of them hit, because that's the most important part. 2 of them hit. I need 1 more from luck. You might look like you've done well, but you don't do well. This is why Iblis 3 is effectively a lottery. Yep. Iblis 3 is effectively a lottery. You just get lucky or not. You figure out what you need to do. See? Explosions are my favorite.
Yeah, that's what happened to me a lot too, and I was like, I feel like I have to like hope for them not to explode to like actually do it. But then when you realize you just have to grab the big one, then I was like, oh, it's a lot easier than it.
So the best time that's ever been gotten for this boss. Wait, why is no? Ooh, one puff just died. Ooh, I think I'm still okay. We'll see in due time. But I think you're fine. There is the only time anyone has gotten below 155, to my knowledge, is what we call and deem the stuff. Again, it's Summer Voyo and Tanishi. The stuff happened in a dead run, and it's the best thing ever. It's the best speedrunning moment of the 2010s because effectively, Tony was able to do what he couldn't do after 12 hours of grinding this boss, which is get a really good RNG and get a 125, a record that still stands to this day.
So he would have been done by now.
No one is able to be replicated because
That's crazy.
it is effectively. I wonder if all these things hit. You actually have to aim someone as silver when you have these objects. You need to aim towards the target, and when you have so many, they sort of just fling everywhere, as you probably saw. Also, Blaze is dying in 3, 2, 1. Yep. So I'm gonna go to the right here, left here. I'm gonna pick up a puff that's gonna fall.
I'll end this now.
Oh, that might be the killer there.
Or you could just also just beat it normally.
Oh, that's tight.
Right? Yeah.
I think we're fine.
At this point.
The time ends when we
Oh no, my headset turned off.
So I'll say time.
Didn't charge it.
So this is what we call
Plug it in.
Of course,
I guess I think we'll just try to do this.
But yeah, the stuff basically is something that will never happen again in speedrunning, and I'm so beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch. Let's see. Are we a hit away? No.
Nice. Time.
That is a sub 50. That is only 30 seconds off previous world record.
My goodness, Poker.
Very nice.
Only 36 seconds?
Going here.
It's not too bad.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
That was with, you know what the funniest thing was? If I had a better Iblis 1, this would have beaten previous world record.
That's crazy.
That was a pretty good run.
Very nice run.
That wasn't the stuff, but it was the stuff.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid right there.
You might have to change it in Discord
That's
itself.
the best time that's ever been got, by the way. When I can tell.
Why am I saying that? You can't hear me.
For this run. This beats the previous time showing at GDQ by 14 minutes. And none of that time was saved on loads. Remember that loads are still about 25% of the run, 15 minutes. So I managed to save, we managed to save all of us, really. All of us here in the 06 community, which is apparently only us 6, so that fits. Only us 6, apparently. We managed to improve this by 14 minutes. Without any additions, without any benefits from the loads. Without anything in 7 years, which is pretty great. Do you want to read some donations for the end of the run? If you don't mind.
Hello.
Yeah, I can give you one. We have one from Kirby Master finishing up. Kirby Master gave us $20 and says, Kirby Master with his last donation during the Sonic block. I hope this donation will be of some use.
Try to message him.
To focus his choice. Also, are we going to see the box showcase today?
Ooh. I mean, I have a lot of extra time, but we are behind schedule, so.
Good luck, Focus Site, and shout outs to the entire
Looks like a good run, though.
Let's see, I think I have it.
This was legitimately a good run. If I actually got world record, I actually beat my own world record in practice for this event. So before I got that 47.25, world record was 49.01. So this was only 37 seconds slower than previous world record, and it's only like 2 minutes slower than.
What's the rest of the video?
Record, of which I lost about
So like another
40 seconds and 30 seconds on 2 stages, respectively. So that's a pretty good showing, to be honest. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, that was actually crazy. I don't think anyone.
Oh, also, both buy and not buy Blaze because nothing in this cannon makes sense.
It can't turn on while it's charging, so I'm gonna give it a couple minutes.
Okay.
This is funny though.
You're still so naive.
Oh, Silver.
I'm gonna get food.
The funniest fact about all this is that this is the voice I associate with Silver most, and even though it might be annoying, it fits him the best.
Discord. Check
check
Discord. Or is it not in Discord?
You weren't even used halfway through the run. But that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Some really good.
Gonna get food.
Really good overall. I'm amazed I recovered that and got a sub 50.
Okay. I think this might be a good time to pause too, because I'm gonna run to the restroom. We'll be right back. We're gonna let this thing run out, and we'll be right back.
And with that, Silver Story
I also don't have a
complete.
standby screen for how this works, so you're just gonna see me stand up and walk away.
I want to thank everyone again for donating so much for this run. This is more than I could have honestly expected from the GDQ run. This is amazing. Also, yeah, this shows my estimates a bit maybe high. I don't know. Yeah. I had 110 for a run I got 51 in, but you know, it's just what it be. Now listen to you know, some basically what fits right in with like 90s Eurobeat, but
All right. Do you have any like cool glitches that you want to show?
do I still have time? Do you want me to still showcase some stuff? Why not? We can. I can go back and show some stuff.
No one's telling us to stop.
Okay, why don't we do some more?
Don't stop. Proceed,
Let's
'cause this
see.
is what you need.
Cool stuff I can show off, and I know all the stories really well, actually. So, can I get through it in time? I'm gonna try to see if I can get to my favorite strat in Sonic 06. It's in Last Story. It's in the End of the World, and it's my
Assuming he
favorite
paused
strat.
it?
I found this
So his headphones died, so we're like trying to text him.
accidentally. And it is undeniably the best strat in Sonic 06. So we're gonna go to the End of the World. End of the World is a really cool final stage for Sonic 06. End of the World is really interesting because you basically go through as all the 7 remaining characters, because remember, Blaze is apparently dead, but also isn't because Rush Adventure. So we're gonna play through basically 7 of the stages of 7 different characters. There's a crazy strat I could do here. I don't want to do it because
Got some
it is
kibasa.
literal torture. So I actually have to play as all
So we have
7
one more
characters together,
left.
But I'm actually going to go to Silver Section, so this is very fitting. My favorite strat in Sonic 06 is in Silver Section.
And
because my favorite
it's
character in
it's
Sonic
played by
06.
Gordon Ramsay.
As you can all
That's
see,
the name of
Silver
the
is at least an
speedrunner. I
ideal
wonder if it
speed
is
game.
the Gordon
You
Ramsay.
want to pick up a hard game? Pick up Silver. If you want to not do that, pick up Shadow. I can try to keep this as short as possible. There are 3 more sections to this. So I will get
Yeah,
to
this
as
is
soon as
the
possible.
next
If I
one
miss
is
it,
the
it's fine. If not, it's okay.
Shadow Run. Shadow
Omega,
Adventure.
by the way, fun fact about Omega. Fastest character in terms of ground movement speed. Sonic's slower than Omega. That kind of makes, so basically the fastest characters are individually Omega, fastest in terms of walking speed. Blaze and Sonic, fastest uncontrollable. Silver, fastest controllable. There are only 2 more sections left until I get to Silver, and I'm going to try my best to get this first try. If not, look it up on YouTube. I have it there. Whoop. Lava doesn't hurt me, so it doesn't matter. I promise this will be short. The load screens are actually the longest part, which is fun. Again, these are the fast loads. I'd like to mention that again. If you play on PS3, these would be about 25% longer.
Oh wait, they actually are doing the end of the.
Hey, there we go. That's actually frame perfect as well, retaining the screwdriver speed and the glide. So I'm gonna get to here. Oh,
I have this.
So this is the start of
All right,
Silver
now I
Section
should be able to
here.
hear you.
And this is my favorite.
Hello,
strat in
hello.
Sonic 06. So in
Okay.
this stage, there are
Good.
Well, we did
Yeah, I
not
was like, I
have
don't know-
this.
eyes of
I had
the
us
artist.
not on
Some
the
are blue,
stream,
and those are time
so we
dependent.
were not able
Those suck you
to
into them, and those
show
kill
this.
you on
So
contact. The
I guess
others
we're
are
gonna
red eyes of
go to
some
the
artists.
shadow one
These are
now.
position
Right?
dependent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that-
Okay.
No, they said at the end that he was 30 seconds off from like the world record.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's insane.
But like I said, 30 seconds is a long time when you think about it.
I'm already at 20% battery, and that's more than enough for an hour. This thing charges really fast and has a really long battery, and I always forget about it. So,
It's interesting.
okay. Yeah.
20. Well, actually, I noticed my iPhone the other day, or yesterday, was at like 6%. I plugged it in,
Mhm.
and I went to the bathroom, came back, and it was like 30. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Wow. All right,
All
so
right.
we have the Shadow Run now.
The one we really were looking forward to,
Right.
for obvious reasons.
Because of Shadow the Hedgehog, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. I have some Cheetos. I think I might eat them if that's okay.
Oh no, this is supposed to be chill. You know, we're not recording an episode, so it's like this is amateur hour now.
Right. All right, let me get all the crinkles out best I can.
There's a prize at the end, by the way,
Really?
of this video. Yeah, prize segment.
Nice. Little Tails hat. All right, so we are.
So this is remote, right?
This one is remote, yeah. And actually,
So we don't have the audience yelling or booing or
No,
nothing like that.
That's unfortunate. They are back to being in person. So Summer Games Done Quick last year was in person. But Awesome Games Done Quick from like a couple weeks ago, or less than a week ago, was remote. At least the stuff I watched was remote.
What makes it a summer game and what makes something an awesome game?
January is Awesome Games Done Quick. June is Summer Games Done Quick. They just hold two events.
Do they only do like Dead or Alive during the summer games done quick?
They also do
idea.
smaller stuff
Another
all
skid
throughout the
idea.
year. Okay.
Someone like me goes up there, but they hype me up as like a really great speedrunner, and it's just like I'm just fucking. And I have to keep making excuses when I'm up there, like, oh, I'm just not getting the. Oh, that wasn't frame perfect. That's why I did like. But it's like I'm just me playing the game normally and see how long it would take for me to get booed. That's the skit, or I guess to be more of a prank.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to one of these. Like hundreds of people, hundreds of thousands of people watching. Yeah. I need to like everyone else has to be in on it, like who run it.
Right.
But like for the audience, like how long would it take them to be like,
I'm the world's fastest Pepsi Man streamer?
Yeah.
Because what was I gonna say? You have to like submit. There's a process to get in it, and for every single one of these runs that we watch, behind the scenes, the day before, and again, this is a week-long event that's constant. So like your run, let's say your run's on a Thursday. On Wednesday, you have to do a practice run for people behind the scenes. So if your run is like a few hours, then you know what I mean? Like
you have plenty of time to like. Yeah, but it has to be a game that no one really would like think, because if people like, obviously if it was Sonic, be like, okay, I've seen Sonic speedruns in the past. I know this guy's bullshitting me. It has to be like, yeah, like the Pepsi Man game.
They've have like trash blocks where it's like garbage games.
It's gotta be something super obscure that like no one's ever bought. Like Babylon's Fall.
Oh, I got the platinum in that yesterday on PS5.
You're basically you are a speedrunner, I would say, because how many people actually beat the game and then did everything.
Yeah, I platinumed that, and well, technically, my first trophy was redeemed in March. So, but if we want to be fair, you just add an hour to my time, and I feel like I did it in not that long, you know. But okay, why don't we watch the Shadow the Hedgehog playthrough Sonic 06 speedrun by Gordon Ramsay himself.
I know, that's what I was saying. I'm like, is it Gordon Ramsay?
I think Chef Gordon Ramsay is SEY, and this is Ramsay, SAY.
Oh.
So, are you eating
SEO's gotta be wild.
Are you eating like kielbasa and rice?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
A little cheese, yeah.
I like kielbasa. We are at the 9 minutes and 19 second mark. We're gonna go ahead and hit play in. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Once again, please get hype for the upcoming excellence of Gordon Ramsay and his Shadow.
And I wish it was like they show a picture of Gordon Ramsay. Like they're like, wait, what?
Awesome. Okay, chat. Well, we're back to it. Sonic 06, it likes to crash everything it comes in contact with. Yeah, so anyways, we're back to it. We're recovering well. I'm not sure how far into my spiel I got, so let me cut it short. Basically, no MSG. It's a credit. MSG is a credit for it. We're not going to do that. Second thing, I chose the name because it's easy clout. Some of you are only here because you saw Gordon Ramsay was running hard at this point, but hopefully I can live up to your expectations. And to help me do so,
so he admits it.
By the Boys.
He's stealing the clout.
His mic is up, so it's hard to hear him. And I don't think he realizes
I'm
that.
Nick. I'm a Sonic fiend, but today we're focusing on Shadow.
Does he have behind?
Shadow is a fantastic category, especially after the whole year.
He's got real books.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
He has real books behind.
It's all the English classics.
Major tricks have been developed in this category.
Mice and Men.
Thanks to Gordon, and this is going to
The Kite Runner.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
You'll enjoy
Guilty Redemption.
The world record holder of Silver Story. Focus Sight.
Hello everyone, I'm Focus. You might recognize me from HDQ 2020 where I ran Silver's Story, and as we mentioned before, 2020 has been characteristically great for Sonic 06. We have basically had new world records.
And I'm Gordon Ramsay's dad, and I'm just here to support him.
2020 was 5 years old, now it's 3 months
I'm sitting in the
old.
other room on a
So
laptop.
it's quite incredible what we've gotten up to as a community, and Gordon has been a fantastic part, an excellent glitch hunter. I'm very excited to see what he's going to show off here in Breaking Shadow.
Another joke idea.
And the
is
world
you
record holder of
you let
Shadow
your internet
Story
lag out, but then you tell them, oh, I just beat the world record.
Liam.
Hey man, okay, I had the Shadow Story record like
I did. I beat it by
4
1
years
second.
ago. Okay, that counts for
It
something,
happened.
right?
The future is now, old man.
Anyway, yeah, like the previous two commentators have said, Gordon's a fantastic runner. We've broken this story completely, and I'm super excited that he got the chance to show off Shadow No MSG finally on the GDQ stage. Myself, I got to show off Sonic Story in Summer Games like 2016, and so we get to complete the trilogy now. Enjoy.
And one last quick thing before we get to Countdown. There's a lot to go over in the beginning and not a ton of time to do it, so I'm going to be talking kind of fast for the first stage or two, but I promise we'll slow things down after. Not trying to speedrun the commentary. Alright, let's have Countdown and get to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, first things first, you may have heard Cyberpunk 2006, Sonic 06, described as a buggy, glitchy mess, and you're absolutely correct. Casually, this game is pretty bad, but as a speedrun, it's amazing.
Everyone keeps saying that, like verbatim.
Just imagine what we can do when we actually try. And Shadow shows that off really, really well. He doesn't have any individually busted aspects, but he uses a lot of things to break the game, so I say he has fancy movement. The peasants would go around this half-fight, but we are just going to line ourselves up. And trying to get a trip animation here. There we go. Flip on through. This is a bit of a recurring theme in Sonic 06. If you have enough speed and the right angle, you can get through anything you want. Walls, doors, ceilings, even kill planes. So coming up here, I'm going to do a little trick called a pause flip. Right up against this door. If I jump and pause on the same frame, like so, if I don't hold a direction when I unpause, Shadow cancels his homing attack into the ground and keeps his speed. And it turns out that homing attacks go really
So
fast.
far it looks.
So if you have the right angle and do a pause,
I don't know. Maybe it's like at
you
the
can
actual
phase through
event.
whatever you
Maybe
want.
like their
There's a little
their
combat
streaming
boom back
software
there,
like
sometimes
makes the
one
frames
enemy's
look better.
down, one gets
Because like this
destroyed
looks
later,
closer to
again,
like
later they all die.
what we were dealing with, a
Here,
little bit
when we
closer.
play
Not
with
saying
Rouge,
it's
if you've experienced
as bad, but
he's
like
still
this.
playing
maybe remember,
360.
It's kind of hard to get Rouge off
So,
the pads in a
But I wonder if it's
speedrun.
like his system.
It's
You
not
know what I
much
mean?
better.
Like or whatever
So
they
if you
had
use
at the
fancy
actual
movement to do
in-person
something
events is a little bit different.
Right.
Instead of getting off the wall, we're going to phase
It's
on
my
through.
girl right here.
That's called Rouge Clip. Now, worth mentioning, the easier a trick looks in Sonic 06, the harder it is, and vice versa. Except for this one coming up here, maybe. See, there's a checkpoint, but I'm going to skip it for two reasons. Reason number one, I'm a speedrunner. I would never die or fail a trick. Please don't check my VODs. Reason number two, I'm going to leave to focus sites.
Yes, so Gordon over here needs to destroy these 5 searchlights in White Acropolis to finish the stage. Now,
Oh
that
my
spawns
god,
in
he
a
just
result
has the
screen, obviously,
fucking
and the result
angles.
screen acts like a respawn would. So the issue is that Gordon has
Oh
swapped
my
characters.
god, they
That's
don't
pretty cool
despawn
because
after a
you
certain
get to
amount of
play Shadow
distance.
now in Shadow Story. The thing is, though, the checkpoint corrects for this error that happens when you load the results screen. Essentially, at this point, the game is like, I don't know who you're playing as, so I'll just let you play on the results screen. This is results breakout. Also, hello text box, hello results screen. Goodbye text box, goodbye results screen. This is known as results skip. Essentially, that text box there, or any text box, hits
I like
the
how you just
same
you just
flag
win.
as, say,
We don't know what
results
you
screen
did. Here you
animation,
go.
and save 7 seconds RTA. Pretty cool trick, and all thanks to Gordon.
Yeah, so playing on the results screen has a lot of jank. One aspect of that is, if you pick up a ring, you get to carry every single ring you had into the next fight, which is incredibly useful for this boss, Exurb. I won't go into all the details of why Exurb sucks, but the base idea is he has a bunch of patterns he can go into at the beginning, and not all of them actually let me start the fight, only a few let me get on his tail. This was one of the bad ones. Whenever he dashes off, he can dash between 1 and 3 times. We got pretty lucky there, he only did it once. Just because I get to the tail, I'm not guaranteed to get on it. Just because I get on the tail, I'm not guaranteed to get on the back, not guaranteed to get on the horn. Any one of those parts can randomly fail, or I can take damage. If I take damage with no ring, it's game over. Is Herb going to be kind? Maybe. We might be able to clutch it. Up, there we go. Let's go.
Nice.
Now, in Sonic
Very
Story,
nice.
the fight would be finished here. Would you like to explain that, Nick?
Yeah, so in Sonic's story,
I don't think he ever
X-Cerberus,
puts the mic down.
He has statues on each
I just
side
kinda
that deal
try
2
to
hits,
peek
and he
ahead.
also has a much easier time getting on his rails.
You
As
can't
saw
mess up.
earlier,
It's like
sometimes when Shadow
when you
homing
start doing
attacks
things
the
well, you
rails,
can't change
he'll go
anything.
into
Maybe
his
that's
homing attack recovery animation instead of
Yeah.
landing on the rail. Sonic never has
Just going
that
back to what
issue.
you said earlier, where
So,
he
in
said,
Sonic Story,
and I couldn't
you
hear
can
it.
easily beat him in under 30
The
seconds
silver run was 30
consistently,
seconds
while in
off world
Shadow,
record.
you are forced to
And
do
considering
4
how many
hits, and you
things he
struggle
messed
to
up,
beat Cerberus in
like
even under a minute.
So it's probably like a run that has a lot of wiggle room to make it quote unquote perfect.
Now, a fun fact about this fight. The very first thing that Egg Cerberus's code does is check the arena for snow. If it finds snow, you're fighting Shadow's boss. If it finds none, well, you're fighting Sonic's. Literally, the only thing distinguishing these two is some check that's like, hey, is there snow anywhere around here? Yeah, Sonic 06 is, it's a gem.
I want to say, out of all of the
we've got some
people,
world movement
so
coming up
all the
here, so let me
speedrunners,
just talk Shadow.
I like his
Let me
vibe the
just
most.
talk
This is my
06.
kind of dude.
See, every single character
I like the first
in
guy.
Sonic 06 got some.
I mean, I liked my
some
cocky guy
aspect
because
of
I like
them
a good
that
villain,
was
but
completely broken. Sonic has
he's just
gems
very chill and
Cross
just
Bracelet and spin dash. Silver has psychokinesis, so he can throw himself.
he has
across
his
the stage
jokes
on
too,
objects
so
or
like
pick up
I like
enemies.
it.
Shadow
Makes me
has
giggle.
vehicles and was designed for combat. Because this is a speedrun, we're going to skip most of the combat, which means Shadow has probably the blandest kit on the surface, but he can use what he has in some very, very interesting ways. For example, his homing tap goes about twice as far as Sonic's. Optimal movement is RSI, I mean spamming the homing tap button. If I'm on the ground and moving, I can also press X to do a spin kick like that. Spin kick keeps my momentum and gives me some invincibility. And Shadow has access to one more trick that Unleashed in Generations runners might know, called M-Speed. So here's a little lesson in how Sonic 06 handles speed. There is no speed cap in this game. However, depending on what state you're in, the game will enforce a maximum cap. So for example, if Shadow's running, he can only move at 15 meters per second. That's very, very slow. A homing attack goes about 3 times as fast. If you hit a dash pad or something to make you go faster, the game will let you do that, but then it will quickly slow you back down to the 15. We found out, though, that if you're walking, the game never enforces that speed cap. So I can do something like cancel my homing attack into the ground, which breaks the speed cap, and then use spin kicks, because I'm moving, to keep my speed well above it. That's very, very useful. We'll use it for some sick tricks. Remember, if you have enough speed in 06, geometry becomes way more of a suggestion than a rule.
I think it's Mario 64 where Mario's backwards
like I said,
momentum has no cap to it. So if he does a long jump and then like you angle it in a way to go backwards, he could just zips
We'll see the hang
really
glider
fast.
3 times total. It's probably the least interesting one, honestly. It's basically a glorified auto-scroller. So this is playing itself. I can move up, down, left, and right. But the main thing here, if I double tap and hold A, I'll do a boost and travel at 3 times the speed. Normally this section takes like 40 seconds to complete. By boosting, it only takes about 14. Generally a good time for donations. Though.
Yeah, those levels
very nice,
suck.
very fast. Now in section 2,
There's no
I have 2
purpose to 'em.
options. I can either play as the developers clearly intended and phase through a wall and finish it as Shadow, or I can do some fancy movement as Rouge. Last time my fancy movement was clipping through a door. This time, something a little more aerial.
Yeah, just a quick note. I don't think that the developers intended for you to face to the wall, so I think you may have gotten a little backwards there. But anyway, so what Gordon's going to go for now is a trick called a moon jump. This trick is really difficult. It's frame perfect and there's no clear visual cue, so we don't tend to go for it in runs, but Gordon's going to go for it to try to show it off for the people. Basically, the way that the gliding works... Oh, nice, he got it. The way that the gliding works in this game, instead of just lowering the gravity when you hit the glide button, which is what you would expect it to be programmed as, the game actually applies an upward force to you equal to the gravity, so it counteracts the gravity. However, when you let go of a frame before you touch the ground, you don't have any gravity, but you still have that upward force, which can shoot us up into the air and skip the whole section.
Jesus Christ.
That's awesome.
Shadow Story, it's changed.
That's one of those awesome.
Before 2020,
like,
it was
just
mostly
things.
just movement heavy. We had some tricks like pause clips, but for the most part, you didn't do too much that's flashy. You just kind of played stage as well. We've managed to break almost every single aspect of the category since then, but Kingdom Valley Section 3 is one exception. This stage is almost entirely unchanged from how it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
So that's cool that like they're constantly still trying to like find new ways to.
So what I'm going to do? Yeah.
And hey, we watched that 2016 run where they found a new glitch.
So I want to line my
Yeah.
He was just spinning, you know.
And
Maybe they can use that somehow, you know.
That skips a very long set of stairs.
Yeah.
We had to take another one there, but it's significantly shorter, much more lenient. Those stairs collapse as you go up them, so there are a lot of things that can go wrong. You can have so much speed that you just phase through them, or maybe you trip on them and fall to your death. A lot of fun things. Managing to skip stairs is very, very useful. Let's see if I'm high enough. I'm going to give this one more try. That's the right spot. Couldn't make it. So if I elevate myself using that bot properly, I can skip some combat. Saves a little bit of time, but that's okay. Now, if I don't hold a direction here, I'm actually not going to hit that dash pad. And then I can skip some very lengthy automation by just using Shadow's completely broken homing attack to dip on through.
Yeah, because he said it has
Now, Sonic
like
06
twice as
really
much
likes to
forward
revel in
distance than
spectacle.
Sonic's
So up here,
homing.
we're going to hit a dash pad, and some fun things are going to happen. By that I mean Shadow is going to take off at Mach speeds, use spin kicks to keep my momentum, and jump around that castle to skip some combats. Now, it's worth mentioning, light dashing is like the second fastest form of movement in the game, behind Mach speed Sonic. Light dashing is nowhere near as fast as that dash pad. It's so absolutely insane, and I love it. Also, side note about dash pads, they add on to your current speed rather than giving you a set one. So if I could do like a pause clip into that dash pad, the speed I would get would be absolutely insane. Now take a hit there to try and avoid an S rank. We're almost at the end of the stage. Pause clip on.
What do you think about it though? Speed runs, like as an idea, really, if anything, Sonic should like that's the whole Sonic's whole thing was back in the day. You know what I mean? So if anything, if this game is even if you know they didn't intend for it to go like this fast, you know what I mean, because you're breaking it, but in a way I kind of like maybe I would take that more as a respect thing though. Like yeah, maybe the game we made wasn't great, but like at least people like speedrunners are still playing it years later, decades later, really.
Skippable. But if you can avoid an S rank in less than 5.5 seconds, you
One of my favorite games of all time is an indie game called Fez, F-E-Z. Beautiful.
That is the best
I would say almost nearly perfect.
run and the worst moment in an OSG.
Very small developer. Essentially, 2 people work on that game.
All right, so
one
coming
person
up
really
here,
does
another
it.
stage,
There's
Precious
just like a
City.
programmer.
This is where Sonic Team said,
And
Tornadoes carrying out
speedrunners
Sorry.
helped
I'm
them
This is the
find
stage
a
where
bunch of
Sonic Team
glitches
said,
and fix
"I paid
them.
for the physics engine, so I'm
And
gonna use the
in
full physics
quote unquote
engine."
payments,
And I
they
absolutely
added in
love
a
it.
speedrun
So the
mode
IL
where
or
actually then
individual level
tracks
for this
each of
stage
the things
is like
that
a
you're
minute
supposed to
faster
do
than the
and
best
puts
times
timestamps
we're going
on
to
all of them
because it does
and actually
two
gives
very
like
stupid
an
tricks
official
that
start and
involve
stop
exploiting the physics
time.
engine. Nobody should go for them.
That's cool.
So naturally, we're going to do both of them. But first, we have to clear through the buggy. Now, vehicles in 06 get flagged for being hard to control and whatnot, which is absolutely fair. Like a lot of things in this game, they have a lot of consistent rules, and once you learn them, they're not too bad, but the game never really explains them. For example, if I go over a jump, I want to make sure that my front or back tires hit first. That way I avoid spinning out. And if I'm exiting a half pipe like this, I want to build up an insane amount of speed so that I can fly. Oh, there we go. Right to the rail. Perfect.
Oh my god.
You have to practice that so much. Once again, the loading screen, so like you get to have so much patience to be a speedrunner for this game. Or in general, speedrunner in general. I feel like you have to have a lot of patience.
Because you cannot install the game to your console natively, but you do get a few surprises on PS3, which I like to call small little presents for playing the worst version of the game. One of those presents
Confirmed
is
again?
effectively the fact the buggy, for whatever reason on PS3, is lighter. Meaning that because it is lighter, you're able to launch from the half pipe all the way to the end of the stage in one motion.
Huh.
Yeah, the PS3 version, we do separate the board, so if you have that, don't worry, you're not technically running the worst version of 06. You have your own category to compete in. Everything you see me do in this version on the 360 will apply to PS3. PS3 just gets a few little gems like that of its own. If you ever get the chance, experience the PS3 buggy. It's so very, very good. All right, now
I think I'd rather just never play the game again, but yes.
Yeah.
But I will say, this trick is called the lamb sauce. I didn't name it. Somebody in the community, Yale, said, "Hey Gordon, call the next trick you find lamb sauce." And then, well, I found this. So first I need to angle Shadow very slightly to the right here, then hold forward, and if I did that just right, this automated section should break. There we go. Now I just need to select my champion. Let's see, this one looks good. And Breath of the Wild.
What the fuck? No way, dude.
Let's go. Beautiful. Nice.
And I won't take the ladders, I'll spare your hearts.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we've got some donations coming up in Section 3, but real quick, Sonic 06 uses a little physics engine called Havoc. You might know it from Breath of the Wild. It is my favorite engine in video games. It's so very, very good. All right, Section 3 comes up here. We've got another hang glider. We can probably fit in a donation.
Sounds great. We have a $20.06 donation from Labris.
There it is
See,
again.
I joined the 06 speedrunning community and started running the category as my first in July, before the story absolutely exploded. I had to catch up with all this new stuff coming in through the latter half of 2020. Cancer shouldn't have to be a fight on such a large scale. So here's to this drop in what might become larger and larger bucket. To Liam, thanks for making me a VTuber with this donation. And to Gordon, may the loads be ever in your favor.
We love you, Labris. We love you.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
we do
dude
love
is
Lab.
making a thing for us to remove the load times and timing. He is the
Oh.
best.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Sonic 06 has variable load times. These are on the slower end. The fast ones are actually not too bad. But yeah, it's really annoying for speedrunning. Anyways, coming up in
Even if
section
just
four,
to
we have another one of
practice,
those,
like,
rough
you know what I
patches,
mean, like
but
to
this
get
one
rid
is
of
a little more
the
difficult, but high rewards.
Shave
See,
20
I actually
minutes.
forgot myself. Previously, they spawned
literally.
right there. I didn't get jump, but this might still work. Not quite.
Crazy how they know
one
right
more.
away too that
We'll
it's
see if
not
we get
good.
it.
Like,
If I hit this, we skip the
you know what I
entire
mean?
stage,
Like,
so
I still
it's
probably would have
not
like, oh, maybe,
very
maybe.
much so ooh, that one is in a very bad spot. But that's okay because we have backups. Yeah, we have backups to the awful strats in this stage. It's pretty darn nice. So that's what we call Section 4 Rock or Sharu Rock.
That's good. That's smart too. That like, okay, my first strat didn't work.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Homing attacks are hard, guys, okay?
I need to have like something in my back pocket to like maybe
We'll call that divine intervention. Let's break this rock.
instead of trying that same thing again after the RNG or whatever, that you're like, okay, well at least I can. Oh, there it is.
Oh, perfect.
You can see how close he got. See how close he got to screen. He's like, ah. He was in his bag right there.
You have to land perfectly on that rail. He had no homing attack.
He's like, "See, I gotta get close."
Saved 20 seconds. 20, 25 seconds.
Those rock launches are absolutely insane. You can get one to send you all the way over to where I am right now on the second set of rails. That saves like 40. The rock launches in this stage are so good. They can take a bad run.
I want to see
to
a
an acceptable
task
run,
bot
they
do
can take
this
a good run to a great run, or they
tool
can take
assisted
a great
speed
run
run where they
to an awful
basically
run because
feed
you
it
missed
all
the
of
rock
the
launch and
inputs
just
on a
lost
frame by
PB
frame
pace.
basis,
Now,
and then it just plays
Oh,
out
yeah.
the game like quote unquote perfectly.
You love the rocks in Crisis City.
Obviously, they need to know
I
what
do.
perfectly
I
means.
don't
You
know
know.
if anyone else does, but I do like them. So, for reference, we got a 3:38 here. The absolute best times you'll see with normal strats are something like maybe sub 4 minutes. I don't know if that's ever been hit in a run or at least a PB normally. But yeah, so that was 28 seconds faster. It's very nice. Crisis City is a stage that absolutely got destroyed in 2020. Flame Core Section 1, on the other hand, which we're about to load in, not so much.
Yeah, when was this again? Oh, this was
2014 moment.
January
This was,
25th, 2021. It's another year,
Uh,
a year
this is
later
one of
after
the
the
stages,
other
much
one.
like Kingdom Valley Section 3, where it has resisted every single attempt for us to break it further and further. Don't worry, Flame Core Section 1, your time will come. We will find a glitch with you, but for now, we're gonna go through automation the only way we know how, which is not. At the very start of Flame Core Section 1 here,
It is also cool that like they have a whole group of them, so it's not just like one person. Like they're like
Yeah.
all trying to help each other to see
It
like
isn't
what
like a-
can you do.
Again, it is
They're not like
essentially
trying to
the case of the way
withhold,
we got
you
here.
know,
Lots of
strats
homing
so that
attacks and
they
a lot
will
of
win, you
well-timed,
know.
hits.
Yeah.
You may notice that there's a jump panel over to our right. Yeah, no, Shadow's homing attack is long enough.
There was a
Another
Super Mario
important thing
Brothers
about Sonic
3
6 I'd like to bring
race
up is that
between
it does have certain
two
points
very,
where it
very,
spawns
very
in
well-known
enemies or other
speedrunners, Mario
objects.
speedrunners.
So
They
if
play a
you
bunch of
avoid
different
those
games.
points, that means they
And
won't
they're playing on
actually
actual
spawn, so
NES
it's important to go
hardware.
back there in order to
And
get
the cables are not very
spawn to
long,
unlock that cage.
so the
Now we've
systems
gotten
are on the
the
floor,
Activate completely
kind of
full, we
nearby,
can use our
and one of them
favorite
accidentally
power-up,
kicks
save
the
it,
NES and hits the reset
Red
button
Shed.
in the middle
Oh,
of his
no.
thing. So he's just like, "I'll just start playing again," but like, "I'm sorry, I messed up our
earlier in the
race."
run called Chaos Boost. As you can see right here, this upgrade allows Shadow to teleport to enemies and phase through walls to its target right through charging a Chaos Snap. To charge a snap, you just hold A while you homing attack, and as you can see, this allows us to skip some combat.
Oh my god, I got an ad.
Up to saving
Oh,
a
no.
amount of time. However, you'll see
30 minutes and 5 seconds.
All right, count
Ready?
this down again.
All right.
So we're just one.
3, 2, 1, play.
the combat uses in a mission near the end of the run. Here at this section, we have to avoid these meteors falling from the sky, which us 06ers like to call Cocoa.
See, now I know all the lore. Now I can
Yeah,
like
we know
be
the
in the
lore,
scene
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I
You
can.
get hit over these gaps. You have a very slim
There are some
chance
speedruns
of
that I'll watch
recovering
every year.
because there aren't very many paths that
Usually
you can take to
Zelda and
recover,
Metroid
and
stuff.
at this last gap,
Pokemon
if you
ones
get
are
hit
fun
here,
to
you just
watch,
die and
like
lose about a
once,
minute and a half if you didn't get
because
that
they're
last
hours
checkpoint.
long. because it's a turn-based RPG. But like,
Section
there was a
one's kinda
Heart
stressful.
Gold, Soul
And
Silver
again,
DS
it's just a lot of
Pokemon
really clean movement.
games.
We do have one
Speedrun
glitch when
where
it's basically Taz levels,
and they like
pull off
it
and
took them
doesn't take that much
forever to
time.
set it up, but like
Section 2, on the other hand,
they use
this section is
the game
absolutely
generates a
amazing. I don't
random
wanna
number
spoil it,
generator, a
just
single
sit
seed
back, relax,
that
and
is
let me show you
somehow
the
used
power
in reference
of
for
Chaos Control.
everything, for basing
Brought to you
off
by Dot
like
Hedgehog
random
from
encounters
2006.
and just stuff that happens in the game.
Yeah.
Wait a second,
And to get the
there's no Chaos
specific
Control
one
in
they
this
need,
game?
There is
the
now, boy.
Pokemon games on the DS use the DS's clock at the time the save file was created, down to the millisecond. So like their strat was set the DS to this time, wait until this beat, try to do it, and if you can, then you can guarantee the first Pokemon you'll fight will be this. And if you do everything correctly, you will know exactly what happens. That's
Wow.
randomly. It was a fun speedrun to watch, but I don't know if I could watch a bunch of that same several hour
Yeah.
Pokemon. Like the action ones are fun because some of it's more Twitch based as opposed to like Pokemon being like more strategy based and just can you master the menus quick.
Hit a death plane, we fling our corpse into the checkpoint. Our corpse is still active, meaning we hit the checkpoint. We reload there immediately and save 10 seconds RT. Also, GoldenEye 006, forgot to mention that. All this is happening.
Yeah, don't worry about all that Rouge movement, going up to the top of the stage,
See, I don't even
flying
like
through
Rouge.
walls over all of the...
No, see,
out-of-bounds
Rouge is
stuff, playing
clearly the
those off
best
screen. That's all
character
intended. That stuff...
in speedrunning.
There's too many glitches in this game.
Ever.
We can't keep up with it with the commentary. Just don't worry about that. However, this next stage... This is what was hyped up in the interview. This is Iblis Phase 2. So I have a bit of a story to talk about in Iblis Phase 2. So originally, what we were planning on doing was to have some donation time in this boss fight, because it's a lot of downtime, and then Gordon was going to go for this ridiculous 7-second fast final hit variation at the end. If he had missed it, we'd have to redo the whole boss fight over again. We on the couch didn't want him to go for it. It's very much not consistent. Don't let him fool you. He's going to tell you it's consistent. It's not.
I promise.
However, instead, Gordon found this. Now, this was found 3 weeks ago. It is the
3
largest
weeks
single
ago.
time save ever found in Shadow Story. 1 minute. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Iblis despawn.
Let's see, so 45.3.
He's like
Alright,
doing
two
math in
things
his
over
head
here.
with this.
The first, there are no kill points in this arena. However, if I fall too long, in this case 21.5 seconds, I will hit a failsafe that will instantly kill me, because the game doesn't want anything to get below there. So what I'm going to do is stop myself in the air with a Chaos Spear just before I hit that. So, okay, I'm going to let myself lower down.
Because you hang in the air
this
forever.
camera pan. Okay, I don't want to go any lower, at least for the
Please
sake
don't
of
go
couch.
any lower.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Oh man.
every time you see the camera pan, Iblis is taking an action. At some point, about 126, 127, he's going to take an action where he dives underneath the lava, becomes intangible, meaning we can't interact with him, and for some reason, the game just moves him below us. You normally can't see him, you can't do anything with him there, but the game just said, yeah, okay, we're going to move Iblis here. And it turns out, it's really, really useful if you can get a boss to go wherever you want. Remember how I said the game doesn't want anything to go below that failsafe? Well, in just a second,
Oh
there we
my
go, we can see a bit of Iblis. Iblis will pop up. Now, the next time he tries to take an action, he's so far out of bounds that the game doesn't know what to do, so it deletes his boss data, and then the game says, well,
That's
the boss no longer exists.
he's my favorite speedrunner. I told you.
That's awesome.
And takes
He
us right
found
to
this
his
3
off
weeks
screen.
ago, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna show this off real quick," and it's
Great job.
that is like
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, I would like to say here, Sonic 06, we give it a lot of crap for being buggy and glitchy, but honestly, I just want to highlight
Damn.
how solidly programmed this game is in that it will not crash. We deleted a boss, and the game said, okay, no, you're fine. We're just going to take the results.
That's
You
fair.
can get away with so much in this game. Because
I'm literally blown away
it
by
won't
that.
crash.
Out of all the ones we've seen today, that one
You gotta love
easily is
consistency.
number
Speaking of
one for
Now
me.
he
consistency,
said
go back to our
they
old
discovered
favorite.
this trick
Back to
2-3
the back.
weeks prior to the filming
so
of
now
this,
we're gonna
right?
load up into
Yeah.
Tropical
So
Jungle.
still,
So
they're just
every
keep
story
finding
has a stage where
major
the music
things.
plays.
You know
In
what I
Shadow
mean?
Yeah.
Story,
Like,
we have
so
Tropical
this,
Jungle
even though the
Rouge.
game
Now,
sucks
earlier in
ass
Kingdom
as a
Valley,
game to
we
play
explained that there was the trick
and
called
just
the
in
moon shot,
general,
where we frame
it is
perfectly
neat that
release the
it's
glide button,
so
and we get shot
weird
up
and
into the air.
mysterious
We're gonna
that
try
they're
to do
still
that again.
finding
So at the end of
shit.
Tropical Jungle,
And like,
like
we
he
have the
said,
goal ring
like
that
there's
surrounds
like
by
there's a
a
lot
haze
of
of
weird
lasers
fail
on all
safes to
sides.
like so the game doesn't crash. Like we
the
deleted a boss, and it's just like so it's like you. That's I mean, obviously every video game has its own unique code and all that shit. I'm not a programmer, so I'm sure there's ways to describe that better. But you know what I mean? That like it's like you're cracking a code. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
no good visual cue for that,
like that's crazy.
Also, there's this trick we call
Like,
a
damn.
quick climb. When Rouge flies into the corner of a pillar, she will try to grab and hold on to each side of the,
Right.
with both the left and the right corner. And yeah, instead of holding on to either one of the sides, you will just zip right up. Now he's gonna go for a quick climb.
I was
And
trying.
that's
I remember
and
when and you can see this in our
Now, there's
video
also a third
for
way
the
to stick
game.
lasers in this
I
case,
tried to
and that
see
was
like
found
I
by
bet you can
accident by
get
Dark
over
Side
this. I bet you don't need to kill the
the
enemies, and I couldn't
progenitor
figure
of
out
the
how.
entirety of the
Now I'm
OC speedrun.
jealous because I
And
wanted to do what they
what
just
happened
did.
was
I'm like I
he
bet
was
you
past
can.
the
But
ending of Tropical Jungle Rouge. He went go eat dinner or something, came back 15 minutes later, and the lasers had actually moved. So it turns out that these lasers move ever so slightly, enough so that after 15 minutes of waiting, you can actually just
Crazy.
clip through the lasers, but not before, only after. So yes, that is the third way.
And remember, we separate the boards between 360 and PS3. 360 is the main version. If any of you want a really good world record, just play PS3, get to the lasers, and go make dinner or something. When you get back, you should still be on pace.
So like no one's really playing the
All right, now
PS3
coming up
version,
here,
is what
we've
it
got
sounds
Mephisto
like.
Phase
So.
1. I wonder if we'll see him again. The goal of this fight is simple. I need to fill up my action gauge in the bottom right-hand corner.
This
by
took me
taking
forever to
out
realize I
these
just
miniguns.
had to keep
They'll periodically
killing him.
spawn circles on them. Do I get friends?
Someone needed like they had to have
Take
someone
a last
say
one, too.
something to like tell you to do
Anyways, once
that,
my gauge is full,
because
I
or
can
else you
take
just
Mephisto
wander
out of the shadow.
endlessly.
You can see him down there. If I see him slide into my DMs like he did here, then that means I'm on good pace. I get a few more tunes in each circle, and we should be good with the next one. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, perfect. So I just want to do one more cyclone.
He's making it look cool. You know what I mean? Like, like this shit wasn't cool when I was playing it. He's doing freaking spin kicks as they're all attacking him. That's great.
Speed him up a bit. He goes somewhere else. And somewhere else again. Camera's kind of fun. Camera's kind of fun. And boss
Oh my
dead.
god.
Ike. There's Mephisto Phase 1, Part 2. Now this is where the fight gets fun. See, this fight is heavily RNG. For reference, the world record for this fight is something like 1 minute and 8 seconds. Here's why. Every time I hit Mephisto, he's going to choose one of 7 locations to go to. That includes wherever he's currently standing. If he stands in place, I save some time because he just doesn't move. Like that. And I also save time because for whatever reason, when he stays in place, these shots hit him multiple times. So you can deal an insane amount of damage if he just doesn't move. The IO record for this fight, individual level, had it happen how many times, Focus?
It had to happen a total of 8 times. So for reference, because it can appear in any of these 7 positions, an equal amount of chance. That is a 1 in 5.7 million chance, and it was gotten in the middle of a run by Turbo, the former world record holder.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the kind of luck you would only see in a dream.
This game has a story to it, and it's not the story the game tells.
Yeah, I'm taking back my opinion on this game. It's actually
we
a
need to
masterpiece.
amend our episode 150 part 2.
Yeah. After watching various speedruns, I realized that this game is a work of art.
Beautiful. But no, I don't want to play some fan remake of it. I don't want fixed. I want this version.
Put this game in a vault. Put this in the was it the Iron Mountain there? And I think it's in Pennsylvania, where the United States puts like all of like what they consider like important art for when like nuclear fallout happens. Yeah.
Like that.
I saw that in like
behind Washington's head in Mount Rushmore.
Cutscene means load arrows, and I don't want to deal with that.
Maybe that was like that sounds like a national treasure kind of thing. I don't know.
No, there's something truth to that. Like they've done simulations, and like the last man-made or altered object that would survive just if we disappeared and just the world left to rot and just do whatever would be Mount Rushmore. Though its location and angle, it would erode slower than anything else.
It said it came like a kick to the head. Good luck, Gordon.
Yeah, I remember when America was like, "Hey, let's carve into this sacred mountain that Native Americans." You know, this is what they.
We did.
Right. Yeah.
They just picked some. They could have picked better people.
And let's go Hades.
I'm just gonna say this right now.
They could have just not have done it.
Possibly.
Could have just not have colonized. Hot take. I know.
Non-solid, so I have to jump immediately. We can probably fit in another donation or two.
All right, sounds good. We have $250 for
Matt
Matt
McMuscles.
I watch
He
him on
says,
YouTube.
Sonic 6. Oh, sorry. Sonic 06 hype. It's no use. What happened with that donation?
I watch
Thank you so
him
much.
on YouTube. Does some
Oh, do you?
some
The English language, I find.
kind of somewhat documentary
It
type
does.
things, figuring out what happens
Speaking
in
of
some
breaking
video
things,
games.
we have Radical Train. So the goal of Radical Train is simple. Eggman's on train, Shadow's trying to stop it to get information, and the way you're supposed to play this stage is by putting up laser gates, speeding up Eggman's train, it'll go to another checkpoint, you'll do the same thing all over again. That's slow, that's painful, that's boring. Now, if I just ignore my objective, after about 55 seconds, the game will automatically take a life for me, respawn me at a checkpoint. That just means there are 55 seconds in which I can completely ignore my objective and try to book it to the end.
And just get
So
to a
that's
farther
exactly what we're gonna
checkpoint.
do. I went for a little loop skip there. If I had hit that dash pad I tried to homing attack just right, I would have skipped the loop entirely, but it's a bit finicky. We locked onto the train. This is conveyor skip. You jump off a guardrail, you homing attack up to a bot.
Wow. So an enemy that
and
moves towards
make it
you.
safety. Alright, we should be on pace. Few seconds left, but we're almost at the very end. Activate Chaos Boost here. And as a quick note, it was mentioned that we can snap through stuff like spring boxes. That's actually intentional. Sonic 06 received DLC, and it is good. I'm not just saying that as a speedrunner. It's pretty good, but one of the things you have to do in Shadow's DLC is clip through boxes and laser gates using Chaos Snap. It's really, really cool that such a jank mechanic got adopted officially. Sort of.
What? This
And
must have only
speaking
been
of
on
jank,
360.
the way you're
Yeah, I
supposed to do
remember.
this
I
is
feel like
jump
we
on
would
a third of Shadow's
we
DLC.
would have mentioned that.
heard
I
about
saw it.
Jump down
DLC.
Eggman's train as it runs away, but that's kind of difficult. That's kind of hard. Motorcycle's hard to control. So I'm going to try to do something a little
my
bit
God.
different. This is a bit
He's gonna
tricky,
launch
but
it,
hopefully
right?
We'll have success. I need to get the front tire of my bike to hit the back of this jump pad. That's okay. That's okay. We start and give this one more attempt. And if I do it just right, we're going to see something truly magical. The vehicles in 06, they are
Just like there's no get on
No,
the
they
bike
have jank,
animation, they
honestly.
just
They
have
are
him
kinda
slowly
buggy.
jump up and then just he's on.
Yeah.
buggy. Actually, I think that's the least jank one. But we just line ourselves up. Dang it. Is this going to work? I really want to show this off. We have one more attempt. One more.
Come on, make it work.
There we go.
Finally.
This will probably let me live, right?
Hopefully.
There is track.
Oh.
You got it. You got it.
No, there's a kill plane there. Oh, absolutely
Wow, that kill
scammed.
plane.
Do it again.
Scammed live
I
on
tell
stage.
you from 2 years in the
Alright,
future.
so the way that works, if the front tire of the bike hits the back of the jump pad, for some reason it just sends you into the air. If that had worked correctly, we would have flown in the right direction to completely skip the trigger to start this train. But since that didn't happen, we're just going to play it normally. I'm just going to boost on up here, try to shoot down the front of the train. If we wanted to be really risky, we could fly off into the void and try to hit the front there, but the angle's kind of weird, so we'll just play it from here.
See, there here's like the few
Hitting this
times
train is
you'll
really
see a
annoying
speedrunner be like,
because
just
you
play a
can't
game
hit the front
normally.
tire. You have to hit it on the side. Is the game going to cooperate? That is the...
I'm scared.
I love
It just
Sonic
This is what
06.
happened. That's what happened to me though.
I love Sonic 06.
That's what happened to me when I was like, I was trying to do damage and then just, I thought it wouldn't take any more damage, and then it just exploded, and then it was over.
We have time to do this. I think setting up another moon jump is just the safest course of action at this point, so we'll try that again. We can read donations until my sins are atoned for.
All right, sounds good. We have X coming in with a $10 donation. They say, can't believe we got the real Gordon Ramsay to speedrun the 2006 Sonic the Hedgehog game. That's incredible.
Thank you.
I believe...
Come on. Gordon? Gordon,
This
no.
stage is great.
The stage is very
good.
generous. I should talk
It
a little
is.
bit about Radical Train, though. Even though this is showing truly what Radical Train is, the opposite. Radical Train in
The
all three
opposite.
stories is kind of funny because it has almost no purpose in any of them, and the consistency between them, Gordon's favorite word, doesn't exist. So in Sonic's story, you're supposed to save a train, then chase a train which has a princess in it. In Shadow's story, you beat up a train, then you beat up a train as bike.
There we go.
As for Silver's story, do you want to mention what we do there, Gordon?
Yeah, so in Silver's story, you jump on a shovel and you throw yourself to the end of the stage. There are no trains involved. Well, shovel train if you want to count that.
I suppose.
But yeah, Radical Train, it's a very fun stage. Now, speaking of Silver, we're gonna load this fight up. You may remember it casually because, haha, it's no use. And truly, it is no use, but this time...
Look how they always make fun of that.
Every time we have to fight Silver in a speedrun, we soft lock him. Well, we don't soft lock him, we stun lock him. Bit of a lengthy load, but once this spawns up, we're just gonna beat up Silver through a train.
A tool that can
And I believe the incentive for the
automatically
kit cutscene
pause
was met.
the timer
That
when the
right?
loads are
It was
happening
indeed.
does sound
some
very
chaos
useful. And
Let's
if they
do
say
it.
that the loads aren't
Alright, so
necessarily
Silver's on the other
consistent
side of
for
the
what
train.
the
The way
loads
this works,
are,
every time a
then you
homing
couldn't
lands,
just be like,
Yeah.
for this load,
agents
subtract
ability
this amount of
punches and
time.
kicks called
Like,
chaos attacks. They function kind of like a second homing attack, so they'll look for a new target. So my initial homing attack targets the train.
You're not
the
supposed
chaos
to be on
attack,
the other
then
side, I don't
targets Silver.
think.
And every single one I use locks in on him. So we just kind of beat him in 17 seconds. It's wonderful.
God damn that, and I struggled with
The
him too.
unavoidable
And he beats it in
because we
17
cannot
seconds.
dodge some bosses. Most stages we can avoid the S rank end. Sadly, not the bosses. Sit through 2 gold medals, and well, I'll just let the cutscene speak for itself. We're in for a cinematic masterpiece, some would say. Speaking of
This makes me
cinematic
cry every
masterpieces,
time. Oh, Gordon.
Oh,
he's
no.
got a cat confirmed!
This is why the load screens in 06 are pretty cool, everyone, because you could do gags like this.
Oh man.
goodbye 2020.
No,
Cinematic
Silver.
masterpiece.
See, he's a fan. He's. I'm just saying, he's clearly a fan of Sonic. So the movie, he's a man of good taste.
Again,
Yep.
and there we go.
Telling you,
No, I
he's
don't
my.
wanna hold the control.
Out of all the 3,
Yeah, we love
I
the
vibe with him the most.
Anyway,
Oh, I think
so
that ruined the
now
autofocus
we're
on
in
his
a
camera.
fun place. This is one of the most broken stages across all 3 stories in this game.
No, it did.
Normally,
Oh, no.
You're supposed to do a bunch of combat as Shadow, switch to Silver,
fix
and then
itself.
do like 2 more minutes
Should.
of combat. Then finally switch back to Shadow and finally finish the stage. Instead, we're just gonna clip through a couple walls and finish the section in under 20
Gotta
seconds.
do this.
In what would normally take about maybe 5 minutes.
I turned the autofocus off.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I'm never
base
gonna
is
move
I think
the
mine
camera.
is
hilariously
off
broken.
too. I think.
In Silver Story, you flip through like a wall right behind you at the very beginning and just fly to the end of the section. In Sonic Story, you do actually have to play video games. I know it's a bit disappointing. But still, you clip in Shadow section, you skip a very annoying ball puzzle. Well, I say it's a puzzle. You're bouncing on some giant magnetic ball. You skip playing as Tails. Shadow, of course, we do what we just saw. Now, we have the second, and again last, appearance of the motorbike right through this door. Each door clip's a bit different. Every copy of door clips are personalized.
He has a very
Now,
dry
the
sense of
motorcycle,
humor.
every brand is very, very finicky to control, and that's fair. Because again, it was never explained how to do so. Instead of holding left and right, or up, left, and upright, you need to just periodically tap left and right to kind of guide the bike. If you do anything else, you're going to spin out. It is going to be a horrible experience. But if you just gently tap, it's not too bad.
And it is not explained in the game that this is the thing, except for in one location which almost no one has checked, which is the manual. And the reason I know you haven't checked the manual is because it is a thing of beauty. I can trust the manual most of the time, except for when it tells me to exist the game by quitting.
Yeah, the manual is arguably more broken than the actual speedrun. See,
It also
it's
says there's
riddled
things
with
in the
typos.
game that
It
aren't
has things
there.
Like, you did not miss your focus. If you press quit, you will exist.
You will
the
exist the
game.
game.
There are a few other gems. You have any on hand?
Oh gosh, Shadow is an agent for the capital F federal, capital G government. It says for Silver to lift up, pick the object, it will take him to higher areas. And it also says the in-game text of this game, which is perhaps my favorite 6 words in a row.
I love the in-game text of this game, don't you all? Alright, speaking of things we
Yeah,
love,
it says
we
that they
love
has
hub
the
world movement, and
green
we
bubble
love
shields
load
from
screens.
Sonic
Thankfully,
Adventure
we've got both of those in
in this
abundance
game, and
coming
it
up here.
doesn't.
And of course, skipping
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
when we load back into
clearly
the
it's just
our
clearly
goal
rushed.
is to find the Scepter of Darkness, and according to our load screen, we need to collect information on the Scepter of Darkness. This involves talking to an archaeologist who has the secret. Only she knows where the Scepter of Darkness is, but she's currently being attacked by all the Mephiles monsters, so we gotta save her. Except, we're speedrunners, so we already know where the Scepter of Darkness is. We don't gotta go save the archaeologist. We can just go
Let her die.
So what Gordon's gonna do when this load screen ends is he's going to jump right around to a pole and jump onto a house to skip the loading zone. Normally, if he walked directly forward, he would get taken right into a mission, but he doesn't do that. Jumps around, nice, and then we can go right back to where the Scepter of Darkness is located in the back corner.
God, this gives me anxiety watching him jump over water.
I know.
Because you just instantly fall as if there's no viscosity at all, you know.
Interestingly enough, if we did go into the mission with the archaeologist and just left her to be attacked by the monsters, went back here and spawned in the
Oh no, he
it would still be
didn't
there.
get perfect.
And collecting it in the mission actually counts. So even if you do the mission, you don't have to do the mission. Also, we'll be quiet and we'll just let this voice line play.
Yes.
The best.
We talked about that in the episode.
Yeah.
They didn't cut. He did a
so if
second
you
take
guys
because he
didn't hear
screwed
that
up
or you weren't
the.
listening hard enough, that's
He
actually
said
a
the
fun
wave
voice line that was
ocean,
left in
and
the
then he
game.
corrected
We
himself
just had to
saying
take a
wave
couple of
ocean,
extra seconds to
and he
show it
redid
off.
the
It's
line,
just
and they
another
didn't
one of the classic
cut
Sonic
that part
06 lore
out.
aspects. Now, consider yourselves educated now.
It's so good.
The thing with the Scepter of Darkness is that it only spawns in that spring that you saw Gordon take to Wave Ocean. So even if we never collected the Scepter, we could theoretically skip it. But currently, the way that we do that is much slower than actually getting it, so we get it anyway.
Yeah, and Mission 14 spawns both the mirror and the spring, but you can't go to a stage out of mission. But we can go to donations.
All right, fantastic. We have a couple of people watching the run who have been thrilled with the action-packed event so far. $50 from
Sigma?
Sonic X, saying nothing stops this train except for a hedgehog on a motorcycle. Thank you so much. And K-Turn sends us $25. They say the only way the roundhouse kick could be better is if Shadow just randomly said action movie catchphrases. Thank you so much.
Action movie.
And how about one more?
Go for it.
Get to the
We
chopper.
got $50 from Drum Basher 004. So let's go, Gordon. Our boy Shadow.
Our boy Shadow on the big stage.
Let's go. Thank you, everyone.
It's a rare opportunity.
All right, speaking of great things, we have a pretty bad thing. We have to play as Omega again, but this time we actually get to control him. Now, fun fact about Sonic 06, who do you think the fastest character is? And Mach Speed Sonic doesn't count. Is it Sonic? Is it Silver? Is it Shadow? No, it's Omega. For whatever reason, they made Omega
Yeah, I feel like you can
fast.
move really
The
quick
reference
with
on
him.
how fast he is, well,
Yeah.
and also how weird this game can be internally. Grinding on rails is generally the fastest, like, continuous form of movement for any character. With Omega, grinding on rails is literally slower than just running. And remember, in Sonic 06, if
Just
you
a
have
robot
speed,
skating on a rail is so funny to me.
pretty optional. So, what we're going to do is just completely finish the stage right here, clip through wall as Omega. Like Liam said earlier, every character got a Amigo stage. Sonic has Tails play through Wave Ocean, Silver has Blaze play through Wave Ocean, Shadow has Rouge play through Tropical Jungle, but basically also
Nicely
has
done.
Omega play through Wave Ocean.
Very nice.
Under 10 minutes.
That might look easy, and as Gordon mentioned earlier, the easier something looks, the harder it is, and that is essentially one of the hardest clips in the game.
Yeah, that clip also saves a ton of time, by the way. If you miss that clip and you hit the spring, you get loaded in as Shadow on the complete other end of Wave Ocean, and you have to take a very long hovercraft ride all the way back here. So that saves an insane amount of time.
I got to experience that in one of my first runs. I was like, I'm going to do box clip, and no, I should not have.
So how do
Absolutely
you
should not have.
practice? God, like I said, like to practice, you have to go all the way back to that point and then keep
doing it.
Most of
I
the
mean,
in Shadow Story,
if
but
this was a
Mission
game, well,
15
this is
it's a bit of an
360 games.
exception.
They're literally
And
playing
this
it on
one is
360. But
absolutely
like, if this was an
amazing. It
old
works like a
game,
puzzle.
they could
So
just
I'm
do it
gonna
in
get
emulator
Chaos
and just
Snap
have a
almost
save
immediately,
state.
and we're just going
okay, right to that spot
straight
again.
through the rest
Okay,
of
right to that spot again. But
Now,
here
there's
they
a lot
no,
more
they
out
have
here,
to
But the two things you need to know: if I
keep
hit a wormhole
playing
somewhere
it
around,
over and
it'll
over again.
instantly appear. And the second, Chaos Snap isn't buggy. It's just the most convoluted ability I've ever seen in a Sonic game. So let's see. Do that. See, every time I press the A button, Shadow does 3 attacks, depending on the rhythm. Like I can alter my rhythm.
Jesus.
You can do different
He moves so quick.
I don't want to try to explain it here.
If you want to, just read Gordon's thesis. It's posted in the 06 server. It is at least 20 pages long, and I'm not joking about that. Gordon has pretty thoroughly researched this exact
He wrote his thesis.
Yeah,
That's
written
awesome.
essays longer than some college students have written.
I was very bored one day and had a lot of anime.
Yeah, for reference, by the way, just with better combat, he lowered this IL world record from 51 down to 46, so it saves 5 seconds just doing interesting movement with Chaos Snap.
Also, fun fact, if you ever want to flex your friends about your time in Mission 15 and Bad Hedgehog game from 2006, finish the mission and then hold down the start button. As soon as this load screen finishes, you'll do a pause. Save the game. And the next time we load this back up, which we will because I believe which exhibition was met, you will immediately talk to Lord Regis, and the game will say, well, you finished the mission, but you also didn't play the mission, you'll have a time of 0 flat. That also goes for anyone who wants to snipe a pretty fun time on the leaderboards, because I don't think anybody's actually submitted that yet. Intent.
It is illegal to submit.
Do
not clearly.
You beat it in 0 seconds.
There's a similar mission in Silver's story where if you put 50 apples in a barrel and then die, because that's the only way you can succeed in life, you basically get the game to respawn. It sees that, oh, you've hit the condition you need to win. I guess you've done it, and then gives you a time of 16 milliseconds.
I hated that apple
Game
thing.
asks, are you
I know you
winning,
didn't do it, but
All right, we're closing in on the end
I
here.
spent
We've got
forever. I
Dusty
put
Desert
more than
and
50 in
that
there,
was-
and
sorry,
then it said I
almost
got
spoiled
a
this
D
final
or an
boss.
F or whatever. What do you call this
Sum that
rank?
up by Focus. How many grains of sand are in Dusty Desert?
There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay,
6,
well,
7,
while Focus counts the grains of
8.
sand in this desert, this section, you're supposed to drive this hovercraft.
This is what I did. I like went off
for
the
about
road because I thought I had to like
the
go
entire
find something,
stage,
and then I
but,
realized I was supposed to follow the
That's
pill.
really long and unnecessary, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to drive this hovercraft all the way to the end, and, well, the hovercraft doesn't allow Shadow to manually get. Oh, that's a death.
The hover vehicle's very, very weird.
Anyway, so this section also doesn't allow Shadow to get out of the vehicle by himself. You have to brake the vehicle first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to take him all the way to the end, and for some reason the sand is solid there, so we can stand on it, and we're gonna flip the vehicle over. Once the vehicle brakes, Shadow will be able to get out, and you can probably guess what we're gonna do after that. We're gonna pause clip to this last door, and we're gonna get to the
Just let them blow the thing
the bird
up.
hitting that,
Yeah.
that resets the timer for the vehicle to explode, but not too bad overall.
Crazy.
We got on through 37 seconds. Not too bad.
Oh.
Alright, we have 2 ways to play this next section. We can either finish it as Shadow with some fun movement, or we can play as Omega. So, Focus, pick a number between 4 and 7.
30 million. Wait, no.
What?
I was already
Okay,
grains of
fine,
sand.
fine. I see how it is. Look,
I'm sorry,
humans
I
can't
checked through
count.
both of my geometry textbooks to look for this for you, okay? I can't find how many grains of sand there are in the world.
Both of them you should have checked through 3 at least. Fine, we'll get a robot to do our counting, so it looks like we're playing as Omega. Gosh. No, I promise, Omega's pretty fun. So just pause click through this door, we're ignoring combat, yada yada yada, basic 06
Basic
stuff.
06
Some
stuff.
attack is very, very long, skip all this. And once we kill this enemy, we're gonna get a very fun camera. And
Yours
back
is
to rolling.
crotch.
Now,
Yeah.
like I said, Omega's very fast, Sonic 06 doesn't like speed, so we can just do this. Oh, am I back in bounds? That's unfortunate. Alright, camera's a bit weird there, but basically, I can run at that floor, clip out of bounds, and then just fly my way to the end as Omega, where we have one last little surprise to show off. One last thing I think you'll all enjoy. But, of course, we can probably fit in one more donation while I make my way back to Omega Man.
Omega Man.
We do have an appropriate one from Kira Kusai with $10. They say, the desert. Count how many sand is there, Omega. That's your first mission. Thank you so much.
Let's go. Alright, there we go. Sufficient...
Very clean clip.
Sufficient clean. Clean? Sufficient clean? I can speak English.
Sufficient clean. Again, 06 breaks everything. The stream, our hearts,
Our minds?
the English language,
Our minds.
Sufficient clean. It's the OxyClean knockoff.
Yeah, how do you know how to like keep hovering this long? You know what I mean? Like it's.
You don't need both, but you know about it now.
here with
Alright, so I promise there are kill planes here. Sonic 06 just has two varieties. There's the very good kinds, which are like Flame Quarry. If you clip out of bounds at all, you pretty much die. And then there's Dusty Desert, where they made the stage and then just put a massive box of kill planes somewhere out in the distance. If we fly long enough, we'll probably hit it. Maybe. I don't know, no guarantees. But the goal ring's right here, so let's just flip back in bounds. And if you're paying attention, we swapped characters. We didn't hit a checkpoint, so we can do something a little bit cool with text box. Just gotta wait for the right time, and the reset.
Oh, and I got a fucking ad. I'm gonna miss it.
Just kidding, we skipped the gold medals.
Ah.
Gold
medals. 1 hour and 6 seconds.
Oh, back up. Oops.
I'm having a lot more fun with this than I thought we would, especially this last one. It's been fun. I would actually like to. I think it'd be more fun. I think it would also be fun, not more fun. I think it would also be fun if we did this with other games too. But like, we have to make sure we would like know what we're watching.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna watch a game I haven't played really too much of. We could start whenever.
3, 2, 1.
Bam.
That's a scary one.
Yeah, it's useful when the all gold medals.
Like I said, I want to see Call of Duty.
Those still collect, even though they aren't shown on screen. They still register, and it saves like a minute.
I know there is a Nier Automata one, but I don't want to watch that beautiful game get broken. Nice. I don't know why. Like, very nice. No, I don't want to watch that game.
Figured out how this boss works.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Couch?
Yeah. So now we're in the final boss, Mephiles Phase 2, or Mephiles Part 3, I guess. Why not?
The third.
Yeah, the third. In this boss, the entire premise of this first half or portion or whatever is to build up Shadow's meter to activate Chaos Boost or Red Shadow. Once we get Chaos Boost, Mephiles will start attacking us. So what we do is we actually used Omega's huge hitbox to homing attack off of him to get enough height just to reach those mini shades or goons at the very top. They actually do give us meter, very small amount of it, but you can see that we have a very tiny bit down there. So now we're going to wait for these bigger absolute units to show up. These give a significant amount more than the mini shades do. So we're going to hit them in specific ways so that we can skip certain attacks that allow us to get meter faster. And for this next cycle, they're going to spawn in a certain pattern of 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go ahead and hit them in a different pattern of 1, 3, 2, because the second one will attack faster, and we want to be able to get meter as fast as possible. This should be enough to get Red Shadow if you don't mess anything up.
It's a bit tight, so I'm going to take the last one.
All right. So right here, he's going to activate Red Shadow right after he gets these little bits, and we want to hit Mephiles in a certain way to where we can skip his clone cycles. So here, we want to get him to about 50 HP.
Time is coming up, by the way.
Yeah, time is coming up.
That's good. All right, now we want to get him to 3 HP. This skips very many clone cycles that take a lot of time. I think you missed by 1.
Yeah.
That's all right. After this last hit, time will be up.
So, time.
Oh.
It's looking like a 50-something.
Nice.
All right. Not too
Very
bad.
nice.
15.
He hit all the tricks.
Showed all 50 minutes, 26 seconds, 0.6 seconds.
This for reference, everyone who didn't see the interview. Gordon has only been running for 8 months. I've been here for 8 years, and I have not seen the stuff that Gordon has found. So everyone, please give a lovely round of
This guy's the GOAT. He's a GOAT in the making, and he's just so casual about it.
All right.
Wow.
Fantastic run.
And he's humble. See?
Now, I believe the glitch.
He could have been like, "Yeah, I started 8 months ago.
Right.
I just did all this shit. Fuck you." But no, he's humble.
Wow, so he
He's the
wasn't
GOAT.
even around for the last one that we watched. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one knew who he was until he put on
the mask.
Yeah.
Huh. Looks like
there's a
lot more to this.
Yes, Gordon, that incentive was met, and that was an incredible run. Thank you so much. But everybody, the stream will be going down for just a moment while they do some tech maintenance over at the GDQ Nerve Center. The glitch exhibition will occur once we are back.
Want to watch that?
The glitch? Yeah, sure, why not? Glitch exhibition.
Pause it and jump to the 108.48. Like 48-second mark. 8 minutes, 48 second.
108.48.
Yeah. Ready?
All right, I'm good. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh my!
Because I'm going to send it
Oh,
over to Gordon.
you're probably a second ahead
Let's
of
see
me.
some
That's fine.
glitches.
It like didn't actually start.
We're back.
And then it
basically just added a very long load screen to GDQ. Don't worry too much about it. It happens. We didn't crash the game, but we did crash the stream. All right, so glitch exhibition. Sonic 06. You saw a lot of the really cool and fast glitches that make it into the run. But this
Actually, I have
game
a
has
360
so
in a
much
box
more to
somewhere.
offer. It really is the game.
He has a cat that's inside him on the cat tree.
There are a lot of glitches that you just don't get to see in those funny Sonic 06 top 10 glitch highlight montage reel things. Those are typically just, hey, look, Sonic can stand on top of loops. Isn't that a fun quirk? There's so much more that this game has to offer, so let me show you some of the true jank in Sonic 06.
Yeah, we, in preparing for this glitch exhibition, we tried to decide whether or not to take a bunch of tricks that everyone's seen and they're very flashy and they're very quick to set up, or to go for the really obscure tricks that we know are nowhere on the internet.
Do they have like a secret library they're just holding on to?
A little bit longer than you might be used to in a traditional glitch exhibition, but trust me, the payoff is going to be worth it. If you think you know how broken Sonic 06 is, you have no idea. Yeah.
Didn't even know there was a back. I didn't even bother looking.
Here's how rings are coded in Sonic 06. Every single ring has a path to either let you light dash on it or prevent it. I've got to set that back up. So that means sometimes you can't light dash on rings you think you can. Sometimes that means you can light dash on rings that you really have no right to. And generally it works okay. It's just like, hey, travel in this direction and at this speed, all that good stuff. But sometimes a few things fell through the cracks, as we're about to see. So I need to flip the hover vehicle over yet again. Not gonna work. Let me see if I can fix all these boxes.
You
This is a
definitely
little
can.
finicky.
You can actually go bump up into one of those pillars and make that work that way as
All right.
well.
I'll try that one last time. Nah, not quite. I'll give it a quick restart. So basically what I'm trying to do is flip the hover vehicle over so that I can get to those rings.
Right, we can
From
get
there,
out of it.
Gonna do a little light dash, but things are gonna go maybe not.
What I want
ideal.
is like someone to be like, hey, you know, you found that glitch, you know, 2-3 weeks ago. I found a new one just now. If you press the Y button, he gets off the vehicle. It's like something like that.
It's real.
Something super simple that no one thought of.
Very nice. Sometimes the vehicle can glitch and think you're still in the air when you're flipped over, and it'll never destroy. So anyways, let's get over here. Light dash in 3, 2, 1.
What?
To the end of Sonic
It's Sonic section? Oh my god.
Oh man, I love this.
This is, we don't know why this hasn't been shown off more. Maybe because it's just really obscure. You have to get out of the hovercraft and get there. But yeah, our theory behind this is that we think that the devs kind of copy pasted the last ring trail from Sonic section over here, and they never thought that you would light dash on it because you usually collect those rings with the hovercraft. So, so yeah,
I could see
that's like
that.
the only
This is
ring
a
trail
mistake that was made, and no one would have been able to
after finding this,
troubleshoot that.
every single ring trail in the game, hoping that we had something else. But
He was saying how like our trailer rings has the property of a direction and a speed. So if they copy paste it over, it's like you're going there. And that
I only check them on normal mode, so we might have a stream of me going through them on hard and very hard, because those are different. Anyways, you may have noticed throughout the story, we can't freely move between the hubs, but we know from looking in the files, there were a lot more hub world instances planned, like the story was going to be way longer. Usually the load zones were removed, but in a few cases, you can still access them. We're not going to load average, everyday, normal New City here. We're going to load advanced New City. This is the point of the story right
This is
after
gonna be cool.
15, by the way. Then once this finishes, we get some cars. Suddenly
What?
the 60 signs make a lot more sense. So these cars are very poorly programmed. There's a reason they're not in the final product. They'll crash into each other. They'll crash into
I like
people
the
if you
hordes,
wait
like
long
get
enough.
out of the way.
You know, it's like it's
They
just
have it
chaos.
and launch them into the sky. It's glorious, but sadly we don't have enough time to show it off. If we get over here, we find Crisis City and Flame Core mirrors. These are never used because you always access these two stages through story events, but for some reason they're just vibing here in New City. And if we go over here, we hit a mysterious load zone.
What? There's a load zone in the unused hub world?
There's blank?
So, Sonic 06 has something like 50 unused missions still on the disc. Most of them you can access through hacking, and they're in various states of completion. Some of them work, some of them don't. This one is just freely accessible and only glitches required. And It's complete. I mean, it's a combat mission. We could play it all the way through to the end.
What?
There's dialogue at the start. There's dialogue at the
Just shows how
finish,
much like it was
there's
unfinished
a
too.
save
God
point.
damn.
You can save the game. It gives you rings. Also, all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, so this mission, so normally Shadow only has 15 town missions.
He's like,
this
shut up,
mission
the two
actually
controller.
became mission 16, so you can completely complete it. We have leaderboards for
Does he need to sign out?
Also, the rest of the unused missions are really incredible. Gordon's
Well, here's your multiplayer, Ethan.
So I'm going to talk about the other unused missions really quick. One of them, Sonic plays soccer. He kicks a ball around. One of them, Silver, like has to navigate via the sound of heartbeat and looks into people's memories. And then one has Shadow stop a bank robbery, and the people are running away, and they have health bars, and Shadow Chaos attacks them, and their death lingers on his soul for the rest of years and years later, and he has to go to therapy. No, that's not
Which
part
is
of the
why
mission,
he
but
builds a statue. They decide, hey, have a statue for defeating these bank robbers.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
another one of Silver's. I want.
Oh, that's why he had the two controllers. He's gonna
in a cage.
It does.
play as both.
The unused missions are really something special. And speaking of something special, we have multiplayer. Again, from checking through the files, we know they had so much planned for this mode, including online stuff. It really looked like actually fun. What we got, this being a rush game, was, well, it's still special to me. So, we've chosen Sonic, we've chosen Silver. Sonic has gems, Silver has psychokinesis. You might have a guess of where this is going. It's gonna get real fun real fast. So first off, I need to steal these rings so that Silver doesn't get any.
For half a second, I thought he was about to play them both like perfectly. Like, I'm like, what? Like, this guy was unknown 8 months ago to the community. And he's like now playing with two controllers at the same time too.
Silver's dead.
No. No, Silver. What happened?
Silver dies. Don't worry about it. Alright, now when Sonic dies and respawns at the same point, I'm gonna grab him with Silver, and you might notice he's kind of small. And if I spin dash, you might notice he's kind of wide.
It's Sonic.
Oh, I love this trick so much. Everything Sonic does at the current moment is wide. Look at the green gem. Look at everything. It unfortunately gets ridden over if you walk at all. Kind of, even if you try to do like M speed position, you cannot move the control stick at all. But before then, you have flat Sonic, which is kind of fun.
And this is Red Gem. See, Red Gem slows down everything by 2, except for Sonic, and then tries to multiply everything by 2, except Sonic, to fix it. If you die while Red Gem is held in multiplayer, for some reason, everything gets sped up, and if we grab Speed Shoes, we're going so fast that we can just kinda, you know, fly through whatever we want.
It's so By the way, this version of Sonic is like borderline uncontrollable.
Yeah, people say
It is
06 has bad
ridiculous.
controls. This is bad controls.
And that's Sonic 06, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Quick plugs or shoutouts. I am
Hey, go give him a follow.
twitch.tv/Gordon Ramsay. Gordon spelled with an I because, I don't know, some fraud took the
Damn,
actual
calling
spelling,
Gordon Ramsay
I
out.
guess. I stream this game, Project 06, and I'm learning Sonic Unleashed and apparently Sonic Shuffle because I lost a bet.
You lost a bet to me. Do not bet
Yeah.
against Sonic Shuffle. Or do
I
not
bet
bet
it would
for
get
Sonic
Sonic
into
Shuffle.
Shuffle is their
the-
Mario
I bet it would
Party
get into the
type
event
game
if
on the
it not.
Dreamcast.
If the couch wants to,
I've actually wanted to have
I
Yumi and
just wanna
Dathan
say,
play
everyone,
that as a
Gordon,
charity
thank you so
thing.
much for that. That was
An idea I've
incredible
had.
and amazing way to
but-
end the Sonic block,
wow.
and we are really thankful for.
These
how
were
amazing
these
Glitch
were
Hunt
interesting.
has been for
I'm
our
glad we
community.
watched these.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
are curious
They
to
were
see
all
what
different
the
too,
rest
based
of
off how the
Sonic 06
speedrunners
looks
are.
like, what we found in
Yeah.
2020.
Like some felt
I do
quicker.
pretty much every
I mean, obviously, I
cast,
think
so
it's just
please, like,
whatever
follow me.
they
I
have
am
available, but like, it's just
twitch.tv/focus site.
you can tell like the personalities kind of show
I am
in
also
their
happy to help people
speedrunning,
in
if that
pretty
makes
much any
sense.
category,
Like
so
how they're
what I
describing what they're
specialize in
doing.
Silver. Speaking of
For
Silver,
sure.
But yeah, I think this
For
is my
sure.
favorite guy. I think he's the most chill and like,
Yeah.
and I love his dry humor. But no, that was cool. That was cool. I know we talked about doing this when we've. I don't think when we finished Sonic 06, we were like, "Hey, this game's so janky. I'm curious to see if there's any good speed runs out there." And it's cool to see that Games Done Quick did it because I wasn't gonna guess that they would have done it. Like I thought they would have done,
Yeah.
newer-ish stuff or like the more popular things. But I don't think of Sonic 06 as like a popular game necessarily. So yeah,
Very
it was cool to watch
interesting.
these.
Yeah. Maybe someday in the future we will react to more speedruns from some. Maybe we'll do maybe there's a speedrun like of all of 06 or something. I don't know. We'll see. There might be other
Yeah,
fun things to
maybe.
do. But yeah. I think we're gonna call it here. Thanks guys for stopping by. This should stay up as a video on YouTube, I think. That's how that works. So